Unclicked, Glenn PP Milligan, Patrick Peter. Piss Pocket.
I've never disclosed. Piss Pocket is a real one. That came from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, right? So like when you're coming up, you get shit on, and that was the shit on for me. I was Piss Pocket. And there's dudes in Pennsylvania. I swear, there's a couple guys in Bethlehem who probably don't know my name.
They're watching this right now and be like, "It's not Piss Pocket."
Yeah, it's not Piss Pocket.
I bet you Butcher will laugh at least. He'll be like, "Oh, Piss Pocket."
DeMarcus Paul sitting in.
Thank you for coming.
No, thanks for having me, man.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I mean, we were just talking about how to start this podcast, and I guess I will start with, is it true that you stole your first video camera?
First of all, where'd you hear that? And then I'll answer. But yeah, where'd you hear that?
You stated it somewhere else.
I probably did state it. Okay, yeah. Yes. True. Yeah. Fuck, that's a weird one now because I'm so old and I feel bad about it, but I didn't at the time at all. And that it was just, look, simply put, there wasn't enough money to get into what I wanted to do.
Right.
And so it wasn't my first camera. My first camera actually worked at the United States Post Office for 6 months as a full-time employee to get my first camera.
Okay.
And then when everything switched from high-8 to digital, that's what I couldn't afford. And I had borrowed permanently a camera from an institution. How I did it was insane. I wore the baggiest pants I could wear. It was a studio camera. So I took it apart, put it in my pants. Yeah, I put all the pieces in my pants. I rode off the campus with it. Totally security stopped me. Like, hey, you got anything in your bag? I said, no, you can check. Meanwhile, I'm carrying 40, 50 pounds of equipment in my pants.
Like taped it to your
There's
legs or something?
Just put it in. Yeah, back then. I think I literally was wearing this is the 90s, so I was literally wearing like snowboard pants to school or something, right?
All right.
So like, and then went to B&H Photo, and this is B&H Photo before they were what they are now. They were like a little place, and it was all the Hasidic guys, and they knew right away this shit's stolen, but they didn't care.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, I'm just looking for an even trade on this DV camera, and then they were like, okay, but can you prove that you bought this? And I went, absolutely not. And they were like, okay. And they took me to a different room, wrote up different paperwork, and traded me for, it was I want to say PC7, Sony PC7 maybe. It was like the square. Remember they made those square cameras that were more like vertical, like this, like the lens was here, and it was that one. And then I got it, and I went and filmed a very good friend at the time, Louie skateboarder, at Kings Plaza parking lot that night to test out the fisheye on it. And then the rest was history.
So that's it right there.
But I have to say, PC7 right there.
All right.
See, I hate that I did that, but at the same time,
B&H got a good deal.
Yeah, B&H did get a good deal. They did get a very good deal. That was a very expensive camera, but I got a good deal because this is what got me in, and this camera ultimately is what got me shooting for Standard. Because all of a sudden I was making better stuff, and they saw, because the problem with all this shit is you still have to always be of the quality of what's out there, even if you're better, even if you're the best filmer in the world and you have some shitty camera. I mean, now that's different because there's kids who like retro shit and they can get away with it, but back then it was like DV was the thing. You had to be DV or you weren't serious, and I wanted to be serious, and I wanted this so bad that I was willing to do. I took a fucking chance at going to jail. I took a chance at losing my job, getting kicked out of school, everything, which I don't think you should do, but I did it. And it's also the 90s. I was younger and stupid and poorer, and I just thought it was okay. And I don't think that's okay now, but I did do it. So I got to own up to that.
Yeah.
Well, you've had, it's funny looking into research for this stuff because, I mean, you've done so much.
And we know each other.
We know each other.
I'm going to take a pickle juice. Can I take one of those?
Yes. Okay. So I did a bad job with sponsors.
I love them.
I've drank them, but I'm not I wouldn't say I'm big on them. But.
So this is the new sponsor for the podcast. We still got Dale's. I actually put them in the fridge and I forgot to bring them out. I'm going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
But we got Dale's. X Games is on for the month.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So we could plug the New York team.
We can plug the New York team.
Even though not really
Sacramento is kicking off in pretty much about right now when this is coming out. So go get tickets, and then they got Japan and then New Orleans the finals, and then Fast Pickle on board.
Fast Pickle, that's sick.
Just pickle juice. I love. I'm talking to AJ, who's a writer who owns the brand. It's funny seeing their social media and stuff because it literally is like no apologies. It's just pickle juice. It's about electrolytes. It's about rehydrating yourself. Right. It's something you can carry with you. You have water readily available. this is 3 servings per pickle juice. You're
Yeah.
not supposed to drink the whole thing.
Okay, good, because I
Yeah.
was about to, and that would have been terrible.
No, you'd be good.
No, but I've actually read about this, and I do know that like pickle juice is supposed to be really, really good for you.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
especially
Yeah.
post workout. I'm not post workout. I'm post sitting in a fucking car doing nothing. But it's,
Yeah, either way, yeah, it's like good for you, especially like if runners, cyclists.
Yeah.
Like it's extremely good. Lactic acid, stuff like that. If you like, and 2, we all drink a lot of water, but realistically, water don't just always hydrate you.
Yep.
So having a little fast pickle in between.
Oh, it definitely doesn't. A story about that is I was getting migraines for like 3 years, and I tried everything to get rid of it, all medicine, whatever, nothing. And it really, in the end, turned out to be hydration. And I heard, and I was drinking enough water, but I need the salt and I need the electrolytes, and then cured.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
more migraines. So you start having migraines, kids. Look at hydration.
Cramping,
Hydration,
migraines, all that stuff.
Yeah,
So,
and this is supposed to help with it too. That's actually how I tried it before, was because when I was trying to get through this migraine thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
Boom.
you do a lot of nutrition stuff.
I've tried.
Like no, but you pay attention to it. Yeah.
Well, now more so than ever, because I used to like even with cramps. And I was a lot younger. If I would like, I was like ride all day.
Yeah,
Or if
yeah,
I would go to like a contest, like between being nervous.
Oh, that's the
and then my
yeah.
body just would lock up. And
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, I don't know what to do. So I was always taught like, oh, salt is bad, but not really understanding like,
Yeah,
no, like
yeah,
too
yeah.
much.
Yeah,
Too much
salt
is
on your
bad,
mashed
yeah.
potatoes is bad, but
Yeah.
salt in the water is okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
now, so yeah, I like just try to be more considerate of it. Like try to get the stuff that I will overlook. Like, oh, if I don't eat these particular things that have the nutrients I need, then I probably should try to figure out how I can get them.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like
yeah.
that
No, it
now.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. That's funny you said the contest thing, because even though I was always at contests as a filmer mainly, occasionally a couple small ones when I was younger, but yeah, same thing. I wouldn't drink water the whole time because I didn't think about that
nervous.
shit. And
You're just like-
you're just doing shit, and then you next day I'm just like fuck. like,
Yep,
just
just
dead,
locked
you
up.
know?
Yep.
All right. So, have you ever counted how many full-length videos you've done?
I always try, and I can't.
I mean,
But-
it's like 15 to 20 plus
crazy.
20.
oh, it's plus 20.
Plus
Definitely.
20.
'Cause-
Also being featured in them too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
No, the
got
feature,
some in it.
that's a very nice way of saying it. But all right, so any video I was in, I probably put myself in. So like,
Hey.
because there was no high demand. High demand for filming sometimes, but never for
Yeah.
riding. But
You're like you piece it all out and you got 15 seconds. You're like, well,
here.
there I go.
look, I think it's probably different for a lot, and I'm not knocking any filmers now. I think it's different for them because I think a lot of filmers now probably come in as filmers, and that's where they want to be. And so did I, but I was a rider first because everyone who, back then especially, anyone who was in BMX, you rode. You didn't
Right.
just. There's people now who are in it that are like adjacent because they're not riders necessarily, but they're part of it.
Yeah.
I would never take that away from them. But I was a rider first, so like yeah, when I look back now. The fucking handful of clips I have are the most special thing to me.
Yeah,
Only
yeah.
because it's like I'm 50 something years old now, and I'm like, damn, I really just nose wheelie down there. That's crazy. Like I was like not that I wouldn't even try it now, but it was just like that was actually made me nervous, or that's something other people can do, and it just feels cool, like.
As like the media guy, like you do hold on to those clips. You're like, damn,
Yeah.
I'm proud that I actually like did
That's
that and
sick.
filmed that. So
Well,
Yeah.
like, remember, so one of the ride videos, Drop the Hammer, we put in a section on the DVD just of the staff, and it's like it's weird, but like even in my mind, editing that section, it was as much pressure as any of the rider sections, just because like I know how much it meant to all of us to be
Yeah.
in there. Like Fudge went out and killed. Fudge did OD shit as always. My man,
OD for
crazy.
real,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, fucking high shit. Like definitely get broke off shit. I was never a get broke off person. Very, very
I have it
rare.
somewhere. Did I post it on
More
Instagram?
my mouth than riding.
But where did it all start? I guess is a sense of like what your crew was, how you were like, all right, this is some shit that I want to do. Like obviously, as you said, you're a rider first, so you ride for a couple of years, or is it riding and the video camera?
Yeah, I could speak to this pretty well, pretty accurately actually. So it's interesting. Like I played basketball a lot, and it's funny I'm wearing the jersey because fuck yeah, Knicks.
Shout out to
But-
New York Knicks.
Thank you. But the thing was, I was like, I just was a kid like anyone else playing basketball, sports and stuff. And I had a friend who's makes it sound so bad, but it was Brooklyn in the 80s, 90s. My friend stole a bunch of BMX magazines from a store, and he was like, we should do this. And I was like, this is stupid. Like straight up, I just thought, that's clown shit. Like, what are we going to juggle for the rest of our lives? Like,
Yeah.
I don't, why do I want to do this, But that was that crew. And then that was like 7th, 8th grade, right? And then, but it was cool, and I had a bike, and we had jumps near our house that the original base guys had built. And they weren't jumps like today. It was like, you know, like really small shit in comparison. But those guys could kill it, you know? Like old school guys like this dude Brooks, Mike Hollywood, Billy Irwin, and then eventually Mike Itzkovich, and all these guys from Brooklyn, like early bass guys. And then eventually Enos came in and dominated the bass game. But from there, like when I got to high school, I'd grown up in a very small neighborhood in Brooklyn, and when I got to high school, I just wanted shit to be different. I wanted to make new friends and stuff, and I made friends with this one kid. And it just so happened on the back of his binder, he had Woody Itzon doing a handstand on a pink Hutch Trickstar, and we just started talking about bikes because I had a bike, whatever. But we also played basketball, and then so I would go to their neighborhood. So my neighborhood was pretty small and pretty, I'd say, closed off. It's like a peninsula. It's called Garrettson Beach in Brooklyn, and
like South Brooklyn.
Yeah, very South Brooklyn. Like trains don't go there. Like you get off the train stop and then you have to take a 20-minute bus to go to where we were. So like from there, I was leaving the neighborhood and going to a whole new neighborhood. It was like, you know, in a video game when you open a new board, it was like a whole wide and open, like oh shit, there's girls everywhere. Like this is amazing. Like I'm a kill it at life. And then I was playing basketball with them, and then one of the guys, this guy Rob Altman, was like, "Yo, you should ride with us too," because they rode too. And I was like, "Yeah, but my bike has a flat or something. Maybe I had a broken brake cable." And he's like, "Well, let's go get a brake cable and fix it." And I was like, "All right." And he was like the mechanical dude of all of us. And he got me into it, and it was literally like this 1 week where my bike went from complete shit. I never thought really of BMX as something I wanted to like do on any type of regular basis. But then the first week riding with these guys, we had so much fun. We met with this other crew, and then it was just on. It was just like every night we're riding, and it was mostly like, you know, back then it was so different. Everyone did a little bit of everything, so it was mostly flatland for us because that's all we had. There was no ramps, there's no skate parks at that time, and so like, you know, we just had fun. And it was I would say we were equally skaters as bikers, not so much me, but like the group. You know, there was probably like 20 of us all together, and then we started doing that, and then that just kind of progressed, and you just keep meeting people in new neighborhoods. And then we hear of there's ramps in the Bronx, and the Bronx is so fucking far from us, and we go there and we're like, what the fuck? Oh, we hear about the Brooklyn Banks. The Brooklyn Banks was actually you heard about the Brooklyn Banks, but you didn't know what it was. And then early days, just like most people, we thought it was in Brooklyn, so we would try to find it, you know. And then and then
I was one of those people.
No, totally. I had one time I couldn't order a bike from Trend Bike Source. I was in the middle of ordering a frame, and they got into a conversation with me about the fucking banks, and then said, this is a fake call, this is a fake credit card, because the banks are in Brooklyn and you're saying they're in Manhattan. And I was like, no, they're in Manhattan. I live here, I promise. And they end up not taking my order. Because back then credit card scams was so easy, you know? Yeah. And so like I get why they were like that, you know? I was probably using my dad's card too, so I was like, you know, like Larry Milligan, you know? It's like, hey, how's it going? I'm Larry, you know? Like, so it was like some weird shit like that. So I didn't get a bike from them. I ended up ordering from Dan's, actually. It was Dan's. And then what, you know, it just slowly progressed. And then, you know, it's so funny how things happen. You just don't realize, like, the little, like, I always think about this all the time, and I hate it because it gives me anxiety also. Is like every decision you make and everything you do influences like the next 10 years more than you realize it. Like, you know, just something you do, some conversation you have, and it was really like that. Like, I was you know, we were always riding. It was always just for fun. There was no business out of it, whatever. But then, like, I would steal my mom's video camera. Like, she would not let me take it out of the house. And I don't blame her. What the fuck am I doing? I'm 16 years old, taking a video camera to the Bronx. Like, I'm begging to get robbed, especially in the 90s, you know? I mean, because, you know, Mullally back then was super funny because Mullally's not a super dangerous place, but it could be weird, especially back then. And there was dudes who just walk around and be like, give me a bike. And everyone says no, but someone will say yes. And they won't even rob. They won't beat you up or rob you. They'll just take your shit. And if you leave your bag down, they'll take your shit. So you gotta be very vigilant all the time. It's a weird thing now being older because I find myself very like squirrel-like, always watching people. But I'm like, I don't have to worry about any of this shit anymore.
Yeah, especially compared to like what it used to be.
Yeah. Plus I'm old enough and big enough. I'd drop an elbow if I got it. I don't want to, but
drop an elbow, break a hip.
Like something that's like a pretty big mission for you, like you and your friends, like going from Brooklyn to all the way to the Bronx.
It was all train, and that was the thing too. You would really like you would like posse up because you didn't like. I did it a few times. You had to, but like you hate being on a train by yourself with a bicycle. That is a bad place to be for sure. Because I've definitely been on and seen dudes in the other car scoping me and pointing and being like, "We're gonna get that guy." And then you got to do this thing where you got to go to the end, wait for them to run into your car. You run to the next, then you get to the next station and you run out. And I've done that like
And
good
it's like
15
I
times.
picture like the typical like '90s graffiti line.
Oh yeah, and it was
like
like
Subway,
especially
and,
when you got up to the Bronx. Like when growing up in New York, like my dad used
They're
to
like
take me up.
PP, come out and play.
That's
like Warriors.
It fucking felt that way. You know, it's like there's moments that I look back and they're funny now, but they're like if those dudes caught us, it wouldn't have been funny. You know what I mean? Like it's not funny. But like when my dad growing up, like my grandmother was in the Bronx anyway, so I was familiar with the Bronx. But he would take us on the train up there, and there was train cars that the doors just wouldn't close. So like the whole train through tunnels and on bridges, that shit's wide open. And when you think about that, like a slightly packed train, that's terrifying. But 70s, 80s New York, and then into the 90s was like that. You know?
Raw.
Yeah. I mean, how much do we focus on those early days? Like
I'm down to talk about all of it.
Like you guys were kind of thugs too, in the same sense. Like you guys were fucking around.
We were fucking around. Everyone was fucking around.
Fire extinguishers in people's faces, destroying stores.
Faces.
Those are, I mean,
they were far away.
Okay.
No, we weren't. We definitely were not thugs. We were mischievous.
Yeah.
Mischievous. I'm not saying that right.
Mischievous is probably
mischievous.
A better word.
Thank you. We were definitely mischievous. We were definitely like, you know. But the thing is, like, you know, it's funny. Like when you look at like, and I take nothing away from those guys, but like Bam, Jackass, all that shit.
Yeah.
While they got super famous for that. Prior to that, that's what everyone did. Every skating group, every BMX group was like that. I mean, you listen to like Dennis McCoy talk about the shit him and his friends did, like straight criminal shit. Yeah. But they weren't, you know, they rolled a bowling ball down a hill in OKC, and it's like that fucked someone's car up. That could have killed someone. But I know those feelings. Like you laugh yourself to piss when you do that. Like it is when you and your friends do something stupid, it is the funniest thing in the world. But you know, you look now, I would never in a million years do 90% of the shit I did back then, but it was fun. I'm not hating it.
Okay, so you weren't mischievous is a better word.
Yeah,
for
mischievous.
Sure. Yeah. When you guys you're making videos, like who was the crew when it? You know, I feel like I've seen New York hardcore, but like
no, that's hard. So it's interesting because during that time. All right, so first and foremost,
Base Brooklyn video
that came later.
Superheroes down the road.
Everything for me is New York hardcore. Back to the decisions you make and how it goes.
Is it online?
It did not by me, but it's on. It has to be on there.
Yeah.
I really had this just one goal to make one BMX video because at that point in my life, I really wanted to do like commercials or maybe a movie or something. Right? Well, I have no idea how you do any of this, but that's what I'm thinking.
So you knew that that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, because you know what happened. I wanted to be at one point a cop, and then I wanted to be a fireman, and I wanted to be an astronaut, and then I just realized I just wanted to be what I saw in movies and TV shows, and I realized like, no, that's what I want to do. I want to be the thing that helps inspire the thing, right? Yeah. If that makes sense, and I thought I could do that, but I didn't know. Yeah, there's Rob. We call him. That was right when he got sponsored by DK, so it was DKNY, right? So that was a big thing, like using that because at the time. In New York City, DK was becoming a big clothing brand, and they had this huge mural that was in downtown Manhattan for like, that thing was up there for like 15 years. Oh, that ramp is so awesome. Ryan Smith's ramp. I used to work at a skate shop, and I'd literally just close the shop for 4 hours and go ride that ramp, and go back, and then the owner would come in, and he'd think I was there the whole day. And then there's Mullally, and that's probably like. I don't know how you could put it in Mullally in the terms, but that's probably like third generation Mullally because Mullally started like very small ramps and then grew, and then that was like I'd say peak Mullally. That's Newburgh. That was a fucking sick ass skate park up in Newburgh, New York. But yeah, but Ryan's ramp, Robbie Road mini ramp, pretty good for back then. I gotta give him a lot of credit on that actually.
So you filmed this?
Oh yeah.
So was this like? I know you were getting into like your first video and. Knowing that you wanted to like do commercials and stuff, but this is where you started.
Yeah, this is where I started. And the funny thing about this video anyway was this is the only one I wanted to do. But this took like over a year only because at one point I had enough footage to finish it, but I just had some bad instances with some people in BMX, and I kind of quit for like 4 or 5 months, and I was just over it. And then at some point I got over myself and was just like, no, fuck it, I want to finish this video. And I got in touch with everyone. And the other thing was there's no computers, right? Like there's no computer editing during this. This is like two machines, jog, shuttle and shit. So I was going to school. I had just finished my 2-year degree, and I was friendly with the guy at the media center in Staten Island College, and he allowed me to go in and use their editing stuff. So I was able to go, but I would have to get locked in for the weekend.
Yeah.
So it was real crazy. So for over 3 weekends, I went in and made this, and then he just locked me in for the weekend. And it was I literally just slept there and got it done, and then that's how I made my first video. And then shady shit. I don't know if I've ever told this story, but this is a good one. So back then, UPS, there's no like. Things aren't like they are now, where you have like shop and Shopify and all this crap, right? So like everything's COD. So when I ordered the videos for this was I didn't know how I was going to pay for them because I didn't have no money to do this, and no one was chipping in. I was on my own, right? So the UPS guy I was super friendly with, he just tells me, he goes, hey, because people, you had to pay a fee for cash on demand for every box you sent. So the video company sent all the boxes free and one box with the main price tag. So he goes, you can decline that one and accept all these, and they're yours. And I was like, done.
Wow.
So I got 1,000 copies of New York Hardcore for free. Well, it was really like $9.70 because it was another box that went back. But and then that was it. And then the shop went out of business, so that bill just went away.
Because you didn't pay him.
Yeah. No. He has a shop. That's Dom DeLuca, the guy who has Brooklyn Projects in
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the video.
No. The video company did fine. We were small potatoes. And dude, there was just no way to get this shit done. So I was like, let's do it. And, shady, yes, but we were able to do it. And I didn't make any money off it. I gave away most of the videos.
Yeah.
So
you had to, then you had to edit like 3 minutes at a time or something like that, right?
Well, no, there was no computer. So this was all tape to tape. So that's why like when you look at the footage now, it just looks so shitty. It's a little better on the original tapes, but it was like the worst part about this is that some of it's shot on high 8. So I had to transfer it to VHS, then edit in VHS, and it's like copy over, right?
Yeah,
copy over, and you copying over clips. So you're getting like 4 or 5 generations in on your edit. So some things just don't hold up well over years. But so that was it, and then that's really how it went.
So you only made that round. Did you ever make another version of it?
No.
Do you have an original copy?
Yeah, I have like 3 or 4 original copies, and I recently just refound the Masturbator.
Oh wow,
Masturbator! Oh my God, that's gonna end up on BMX Come. Masturbator, and then the New York accent came out so bad. It's the beer. Dales, what are you doing to me? It was a beta cam tape. So it's this huge ass tape for a beta machine. That's how they used to do all the masters. So yeah.
Masturbator.
Yeah, Masturbator.
And then, so New York Hardcore, and then back then, would you get a magazine review? Did the video get around?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, yeah, I wanted to force it, right? So, like, I was calling the magazines, like, will you review this? Because I'm like, I don't know how you do this, right? And I remember I started talking to Chris Hallman on the phone because it's right around when he did Thread magazine. And I was like, hey, could you guys... And, it's funny, thinking back to it, the way he was talking to me, he probably was like, why the fuck is this guy calling? Like, they sent us the video, of course we're going to do a review. Like, that's... Because I'm thinking...
the game.
I'm thinking 7,000 videos are coming in that, and I want to make sure mine gets to the top. Meanwhile, it's probably 5, and it's like, of course they're gonna do it. And he's like, yeah, it's a good local video. And I was like, no, yeah, okay, great, because I also knew like the video wasn't like didn't have the best riding and stuff. And dude, you know what? Honest to God, still to this day, the only thing I really wanted to do was show people that New York was involved because it's a good.
I mean, that's why I started my San Diego site. It's like you just wanted to plump. Like, dude, it's so sick. I want to show people.
I remember you from that because I remember you before you went to ride, and I remember when you did the San Diego scene report and props and things like that. And you were pro San Diego. That's the same thing. I just wanted people to see New York because, especially out there, and especially the East Coast at that time, we weren't attached to BMX the way everyone is here. I mean, shows would come through here and there, but even then, I mean, there's at least 3 times in my life I went to see a horror show that got canceled. And it's like, you want to be a part of this thing because when especially when you first start riding, you just want in. Like I want to be a part of this shit. I want to be I want to ride with that guy. I want to do this. I don't care how I fit in, but I want to be in.
Like there was, did you sell them at mail orders too? Like I remember hearing stories about like the I'm not gonna say who it was, but the somebody would call and be like, hey, do you have this new video? Do you have this new video? Do you have this new video? And then like a day later call and be like, hey, I'm selling this video. Like just to plump up the demand before you
I left a lot of videos at random stores on consignment.
Okay.
So there was that. And I think I even got a bunch of Dan's at consignment. So maybe Dan's at some point might give me money. But at that time I had met Enos, and I think I had given a bunch of videos to Enos to just take care of. Because like he was already selling shirts, so I was like, I don't want to do this shit. Like I don't have an infrastructure, and I'm not home to do this. And you have to answer. Back then, there's no messages, pager. No one's paging you for a fucking video. So it's like, you know, there was no way. Like I couldn't do that. So I was like,
emails.
Yeah. There was no email.
Yeah.
When I first got an email, that was like a thing you felt like you were important suddenly. Now I have like 17. I don't know what the fuck they are and who's emailing me. Christ, everyone's trying to loan me money. What the fuck, man?
So what comes? I mean, I don't know. I feel like the New York scene, it starts to build and build and build and becomes this, you know, revolutionary like circle of street riding, and but you are part of it, and then but you end up piecing out.
Yeah. I had to piece out. I mean,
you like laid the foundation in a sense, in a you know, you Enos, you know, like
the Mullally guys, big time.
Yeah.
Mullally was to me. And,
that's what I was going to say. What, Casio?
Cassio is a huge part. Listen, Cassio, as crazy as he might seem these days, and he was
crazy back then.
He was crazy back then, but he was very involved. Like he would announce contests. You wouldn't imagine, but he's pretty good at it. He's like actually great personality. But you know, those
Have you ever met Cassio?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
You would know. And then,
you would remember him.
Never forget that. Cassio's great. I just saw him a few weeks ago. It was awesome to see him. You know,
Cool,
I mean,
yeah.
I want
he
him
was a great
to be,
dude.
I want him to be doing better in life. Oh yeah, you hung out with him when we did the quad thing in New York.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later. But yeah, because that's crazy. That's a typical New York thing right there. But yeah, so the Mullally guys really, and there was dudes before the guys I knew at Mullally, because there was like Louis Perez was probably my best friend out there. But before him, there was like Victor Ortiz and this guy Tony Diaz, and I don't remember a lot of the guys' names, but all those original guys like who really got it kicked off, because they had their own like Rad Dogs freestyle team, and they were like promoting themselves. They did shows, they went to contests, they went to races. They were just, you know, again, want to be a part of BMX. You do everything you can, and there was some stuff like in Jersey there was occasionally contests, in PA there was definitely stuff, you know. But
so what year does New York Hardcore come out?
91, 92, but most of it was filmed in like 90.
And then when did you end up like working for Standard and kind of going that way?
Yeah,
how quickly did that all that evolve?
I always get confused about, but it's probably within 3 years.
Okay.
Let's say
roughly.
Short
amount of time.
Really was. Because what happened was at that, you know, because it's funny because like, and I will say this to every kid always, because I back in the day working at the magazine, the one thing I do miss is like the emails and the phone calls and the letters that are like, how do I do this? You know, I love giving that advice, because I think there's so many ways that you can get ahead or get into something, but like me, I always think like, just finish something, just finish your first project, whatever it is, because for me that's how it worked. Like once I did that video, Enos, who I was already friends with, was like, hey, do you think we could do a bass video? And I'm like, fuck yeah, we could do a bass video. Yeah. Like, well, I can make the video. You know, it's so funny too, when you get older, you're like, how much? But when back then it's like, you'll let me make it? Yes. You know?
Okay.
Are you talking about the Shady Bunch? Was that?
Shady Bunch. No, the Shady Bunch. Yeah, you're right.
That's 96.
I had to make sense. Oh,
so
is it?
This says 96. I mean, I don't know how much we can trust Chad. I feel like New York Hardcore
98. So it's
domination, like all this stuff. I feel like I'm like gonna get porn if I don't add BMX.
But dude, that's how it was. But that's how it was. Oh, dude,
it's like just crazy.
In work life now, I can't like wear shit. Like I can't show up with an S&M shirt. I can't show up with a King shirt. Yeah. Like it's just I have this S&M jersey I love wearing. I can't wear that to any work thing because it's like, S&M bite. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know, I can't be doing that shit.
Stands for Scott and Muller.
Yeah, so maybe I have it a little wrong. So 93, at the end of New York Hardcore, it's definitely in there.
Okay.
So, because I wanted to be so professional, I always put like the year at the end, like copyright year. I just made these things up, like copyright, blah, blah. Like, there's like real business stuff for that. But like, I'm just like, I want to be one of those guys. So I don't know what the fuck it is. Oh my God, this video is fucking old.
It was like
so
New York Undercover.
Yeah, I probably was inspired by it.
Yeah.
Definitely anything I've ever done was inspired by a TV show or movie. I really, you know, it's funny, when I got real into making videos, when I was like in the groove of making BMX videos, I hate to admit this, but I really tried not to watch other videos anymore because
Oh, yeah?
I just noticed that if I watched a video and I like something, I would do it that way, and I didn't want to, like, unconsciously sometimes.
Like you
right?
want to be unconsciously influenced.
And I've seen
yeah.
it too, because like I remember after I did Domination, I saw like three different videos that literally did the exact same intro, and I was like they used Enya music, and I was just like, you didn't listen to Enya before this. I know you didn't. Like, I found it. You know, like,
It's an interesting. I mean, we could talk about it a little bit down the road, but like the imitation, and then also the, like, I try to not be spoiled by it. I try to not watch something so then I don't feel like I can't do something.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it totally does.
Because then like I can go like, hey, I actually never saw that. Like, he didn't invent it. I didn't invent it. You know, like it's all good.
But I'll just say I've always been weird about that, even in like my professional life now. But I've gotten better about it because I really don't want to copy anyone. Like, I truly in my heart don't want to. And so I want to be original. So sometimes I try to separate myself to be original. And straight up, when you do that, that comes with making wacky shit too. Sometimes you make something that's like, oh, I could have thought that out better, you know. But I'd rather have those fuck ups than the other way of being like, well, they did it this way, so if I do it this way, this will work. Because then that shit's mediocre. Period. You can't tell me otherwise, right? Like, so it's like, so it was always a weird thing, because definitely I got influenced at one point by skate videos. Like, digital interface for Ride was probably the biggest example of, like, I was seeing skate videos that are doing all this tech editing, and I was like, I'm doing that. That shit's dope, you know. And I tried to put my own spin to it, but it did come from other videos I saw.
What was the first time you started narrating videos? Because I know, like, in Neighborhood Superheroes, like, even when introducing riders, you would, like, voice over a talk, and even in, like, Flipside, like a few other ones.
Yeah. So Flipside, I'll give you a different story on, but Neighborhood Superheroes was probably the first time. I'm honestly, because to me, I did want to tell stories. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that was probably I don't want to say frustrating. Like, making videos all those years was great, and I love every second of it. But I do wish there was more context in it. You know, like about the time and stuff. Because moving on later, especially when it was internet before social media, it was like, I don't know for whatever reason, it felt like you could do that more. Like now, because you had to fill that space a little bit, so you could do an interview with the riding. Props did obviously a great job of that. I mean, I did shoot for there was this video magazine, because Props I couldn't get in with. Those guys, they just didn't like me. That's not true. I probably didn't even try that hard.
Stu, so mean.
Oh no, this is before Stu. This is before Stu even shot for them.
But I'm just saying it. I'm just blank. It's just a standalone statement. Stu, so mean.
Oh man. I'm gonna ask about that in a second.
No.
No, okay, got it. No, yeah, he is actually a really nice guy. No, before Standard, there's nothing to that. But I just didn't know those guys, right? And then that was it. So, but I had somehow hooked up with this dude in Colorado, Kent George, and he did a video magazine called 20-inch Video Magazine, and they did. I
remember that.
They did a good 20, 30 episodes of that thing, like, and he was hyped to get the Mullally footage. So that's what really got me. Actually, really, when I think about it, that's what really got me started, because I realized, oh shit, like, I could make something and it could get out there, and that's all I wanted anyway, right?
Was that the first time you got paid, or when was the first time you were like actually made money for filming something?
It would have to have been that. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know if he paid me. You know, if he watches this, he'll be like, "Yeah, I fucking paid you." But no, he probably did, but he probably didn't at first. If I remember, I really hard to remember, honestly. But I think I sent him one. He used it. Then there was an offer like, "Oh, I'll give you $100 to film the next one," or something,
okay,
you know, something like that. It probably wasn't even $100, honestly, you know. But they're also 90s, so $100 went.
Well, you weren't filming it to make money either.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't even. That wasn't even a concept in my head. You know what I mean? Like, to this day, the fact that I was able to live off of film and BMX for, like, I don't know, 20 years or so, really, it was probably a span of moving to another place, meeting my wife through BMX. Ultimately, I'll even say I have a house because of BMX. It's not, when I left BMX, I was definitely in debt, but that all built it up, right? Like everything I learned in BMX is what I use in my professional life now. So it's all because of BMX anyway you look at it, you know? That's the awesome part. And that's one thing I wish more people would realize, because it's one thing I'll say, and I don't want to knock anyone, but it's always bummed me out when people, like, leave BMX and they're pissed about it, or like, oh, fuck BMX. You know, once they leave, they're like, fuck it, because it doesn't help you. It just fucks you. It's like, no, it doesn't. Like you get what you put in, and then you have to work with that. Like it's no one's fucking making $1 million doing this shit. Very few, I should say. There is a couple, but not many, you know. And it's like, but if you can make a life out of it and get somewhere with it, hell yeah, that's sick, you know.
Yeah, I think life experience. I think until you get older, the life experience that BMX brings you doesn't like land. The value doesn't come in until later.
Definitely.
Like, whoa, I got to
like
do
you were
all
saying
that
earlier
shit.
about like what you're doing now 10 years later.
Yeah. You
said
definitely,
earlier, yeah.
you definitely think that. That is true. Yeah, it's always. I mean, and that's the only thing. I have zero regrets about all of it, even the bad stuff I did. But I do wish I stopped and enjoyed it more, right? Because it went by so fucking quick now when I think about it. And the weirdest thing now is like working in like professional settings is a shitty way of saying it, but working in different settings, nothing to do with BMX, like tech industries or like marketing agencies and stuff. It's so funny because like when I hear these people talk about their lives, I'm so glad of what I did, because a lot of them just worked their ass off in school and went through internships and just 12-hour days from fucking college on to get to a point to get a little bit of money, and I'm right there with them now. But I was also able to travel around the world and have fun with people and see a whole different perspective on the world. Because one thing bikes of all sorts, but especially BMX, and you guys know this as good as me, you go into a different city. I can go to Barcelona tomorrow with my wife. That will not be the experience I had in Barcelona 13 years ago when we were just riding around eating sandwiches on the street and all that shit, and seeing the neighborhood for what it is and really experiencing a place for the people that really live there. That's the sickest shit ever. Yeah. So go do it.
It is. It's funny because in Barcelona, I think that was the first time I ever like had pickle juice again.
I'm actually into it now.
It is good.
I'm gonna be buying. I don't want to say it out loud, but I'm gonna be buying Fast Pickle.
So good.
I remember being like Nathan and Corey, and we were just sitting there, and we weren't doing anything wrong, but I could see these older American people, and they were like kind of just like grumpy that we were in this nice place looking like whatever we look like.
Yeah.
And I just remember having this thing. I was like, hey, I live my life to this point where I got here at the same time that you did.
That's right. That's right.
And I'm not mad about it. You're just mad you're not here earlier. You know, like one of those things. And I was like, and it's like those life experiences, like they may not, you know, when you get to be 40, 50 where you're not doing shit anymore, it's like that's the shit that you're like, damn, I didn't do too bad. You know, like I may not have made a fuckload of money. I may not have did this and did that, but like, holy shit, I got a story for every fucking thing you can talk about at a point, you know?
In work situations now, I find it very hard to just shut my mouth because I also don't want to trump people, you know, and I hate to use that word, but like, you know what I mean?
You don't want to catfish people.
No, but it's that was funny. That was legit humor. No, but you know, like even the weird shit with like cops. I'll someone tell a story like, oh, I got pulled over going 75, and the cop was like, I hope you have a good day, and I'm like, no, I hope you had a good day, and I'm like, I pushed the cop, like I've straight up pushed the cop and got punched in the mouth for it, like. I can't tell that story. You know what I mean? Like that's just not a story you tell at work anymore.
You sip the martini.
Yeah. Like, oh, all right. Yeah, you told him.
Yep.
Also, don't push cops. You lose every time.
Yeah.
Fuck. Or I've had a cop one time. I was filming like this with a fisheye, and the cop came behind me, gun out, put it right to my dick, and aimed it right at my balls. And I wasn't scared. I looked down, saw the gun, and I thought it was someone trying to rob me. So I was about to hit him with the camera. But I looked, and Rich Hirsch was with me, and he was on the stairs about to do this. It was a wood rail in downtown LA, and he had like terror on his face, and I thought there was 30 people behind me in his face. And then I look and I see a badge, and I go, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah. Like, you know, like a real quick cop story. I love this because this is, you know, like back to the 40s and 50s and not doing anything. So the other day, the Knicks win the championship. I'm gonna plug the Knicks all day, like as if I'm sponsored, and then. So I get hyped, wake up in the morning early, take the wheelie bike out, SC Brooklyn Flyer, gotta keep it New York, and I gotta find a spot that looks New York-ish, very hard in Long Beach, but there's some. So I go down to the fucking the containers. No, I go down to the containers. I go down to the containers, down the the ship and everything. And I fucking park my truck down the block, and I go and I just set up a GoPro, and I just want to get a wheelie shot real quick. So I'm shooting it. I see a cop, Harbor Patrol cop, sweating my truck. So I'm like, wave him down. I'm like, oh, that's my truck. And he's like, so now I'm fucking 53 years old fighting with a cop because I'm doing wheelies. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And he's like, you're not supposed to film here. You can't put your car there. We could tow you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, my man. And he's like, well, you got to leave. I go, okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to ride that way 15 feet. And I'm going to ride this way. And then I'm leaving. He goes, why you have to do all that? I said, I told you I'm taking pictures. The next one. and then the guy's like, he really didn't hear me. And he's like, just don't be here when I come back. He's so mad because also I'm a grown man. What is he really going to do, you know? Yeah. So but I was so happy. I was like, oh, I love that I still have this ability to fucking talk back to these dickheads. Yeah. But whatever, yeah.
Going to the demo, he has like 60 coin responses. You know, like when you have these random interactions downtown, it's funny watching you go. He goes through the Rolodex of like, hey, what is it? What response does this person deserve right now?
What's your favorite?
My favorite is when a civilian try to kick you out of spot, right?
Yeah,
I say civilian because it's like that that generalizes all of us, right? And if it's a spot that multiple exist, and it's like, you can't be riding your bike here. And if it's like myself, maybe 3 or 4 other people, and I look at them, and it's like, you pay taxes, right? And they're like, I sure do. And it's like, well, we all do too. This rail is my rail, and that's your rail over there.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's like, good that they respond that way.
It sounded kind of strange when I would say it, but when I think about it, I was like, oh, that's what they like to hear. Like they can kind of get on board with that because it's something that kind of like they hear and it's like, oh, I feel heard now because like he's speaking my language, as opposed to like, you can't tell me what to do. I'll do what I want to do.
Yeah,
but that's one of the main ones.
He's got smart ones, and then but like response number like 22 is like, oh, you like this? You want to see a backflip? And
the backflip one.
Give him the old middle finger behind the back.
Well, yeah. That was like,
so
funny.
he's got like full spectrum of of like actual responses, and like
the backflip one is pretty funny because we all get it.
That's a good one.
We all get
it.
it.
That's a good one.
We all get it. Like, do a backflip, and it's like, I can do a front flip too, but we'll go to backflip today.
I forgot about that one. You're like, oh, now do you want to see the front flip?
Yeah. They usually make them laugh or they look real confused.
Yeah. I can see people getting heated.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny having that because you've had such intense interactions over the years that when somebody kind of comes in hot, you're like, all right, I've been here before like 40 times. Yeah. And you're like,
you already know they're on edge.
Go
through
the motions.
They don't know what they're going to get themselves into, so it's like...
And that's the shit that BMX gives you that maybe you can't quantify in a certain sense, and it's like that sense of like fight or flight, you know,
you obviously have traveled the world, and you've done a lot of stuff. You've filmed a lot of people. You've just been around so much, and then the typical person that may come and kick you out or come like talk to you, it's gonna be on edge, but like you're so relaxed.
Yeah,
and they're like, why isn't it so serious to you? Like you told the cops, like, I'm gonna go this way.
15 feet.
I'm giving them back in his head.
This is what's gonna happen.
Like, this guy's crazy. Like, he's like, listen to anything I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm being I'm giving you specific instruction. From me.
Yeah, it is funny how we got here because of the leaving BMX, and people sometimes they don't realize the non-tangible stuff that they get from BMX, and I feel like it comes. Maybe I hope that it clicks in later at life. Like, whoa, look at all those life experiences that I didn't work for 5 years of my entire life, and every single other person around me was just fucking swinging a hammer or whatever. So clicking a keyboard.
And I think being honest with yourself too. Like at a certain point, I did feel like it was time for me to go too, right? Like it was like I was getting older. I was doing team manager stuff. I'm in a van with a lot of young kids smoking weed. I'm going to jail when we get pulled over. This is before it's all legal. You know what I mean? Like I'm starting to think, like, I'll never forget, we were on a Nike trip, and Garrett's like fucking 16 running around the goddamn house with no shirt, and I just felt creepy. I'm like 32 at the time. I'm like, yeah, bro, put on a shirt. He looks like a little girl. Like, I am not into this, you know? Like, I've told him this. Like, I love the guy to death, but like, I was like, this is uncomfortable. You know, I'm not that guy. Back to coin responses. I just want, one time I had a coined phrase. I had a phrase ready to go for people, and it backfired every time, but it was awesome. I would go, no, Jesus said I could. You want to see people fucking lose their... They talked
to Jesus last
every
night.
person I ever said it to got so mad.
Oh, man.
I would just go, no, Jesus said we're good. And then they would just flip.
So how do you combat that?
Fuck? Like, it's like, what are you, the defender of God? Like,
I can't talk to Jesus too? Like,
yeah. But then I stopped doing that.
That is a left field. That is
Yeah.
I
But
might have
mostly,
to
I always
take that
tried
one
to.
on,
I always
bro.
tried to diffuse it. Like I always just try to calm it down because at the end of the day, what we really want another try, another 15 minutes. Like
Yeah.
I just please
Yeah.
make them happy. Don't fight. Because I have friends like my friend Giovanni Retta, photographer. We grew up together. He fucking fights with everyone. And I remember one time we were in downtown New York. He's fighting with the security guard. And he tells the guy, "You see this fucking flash? This is more than your fucking life. This is more than you make in a year." What they do? Took all his shit. And I was like, "You fucking begged for that one, bro." Like, turned out he wasn't a
Had it
security
covered.
guard. He was a cop. You fucked up. You know, like, he didn't enjoy that. You know, like, gotta try.
Wow.
All right, we'll circle back. Standard. Do you move out of New York to go work from Standard, or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So here's
Davenport, Iowa.
Yes. So here's what happens. I move. I get, first of all, the first time Rick, this is all through Robbie too. Shout out to Robin Rouse for this because Robin Rouse did put all this together. Selfishly so, he also wanted to make sure he definitely had a part in the next video. And if I was making the video, he had a part in the next video. If someone else made it, maybe not.
Maybe not.
So,
That's called smart.
That's called smart. But I don't. But at the same time, motivate. Everyone has those motivations a little bit. And some people I'm a little more obvious about than others. But like Robbie fucking hooked me up royally. Thank you. That will always be the case. I'll make jokes about him all day long, but that is still the case, right? And so Rick just hits me up and is like, "Yo, we're gonna start this little road trip in Tennessee or Atlanta. I can't remember now. And then I'm gonna send you a ticket. And this is when you get paper tickets, so it's even weirder. No, the ticket would be waiting for me at the airport. The day before this trip, I call Robbie. I'm like, "What the fuck am I supposed to do? Just go to the airport?" He goes, No, I'll pick you up." And I'm like, "You'll pick me up?" I'm like, "So what do I do with my bike?" Just turn the bars and take the pegs off. And I'm like, all right. So we do that.
What a time.
But like, I didn't believe any of it because I've already had people, when you're young, especially like guys who go, "Oh, well, I'll drive to that thing," and no one shows up.
Right.
Not that they stiff you, but it just doesn't happen. It never comes together, right?
Intention is there.
Yeah. So I was like, is this real? And it was really crazy because I got on that plane, went down to wherever we went, and we went on like a 2-week road trip, and that was like Jerry Bagley, Punjab, Brandon Pundai, Rick. I feel so bad from forgetting anyone else. Terra was definitely there. Keith Terra.
Bobby.
What's that?
Fisher
was not on that because this was like, it's funny because when Rick wanted to do the domination video, Paul Sika, we bumped into him when we got to Iowa. We ended up going to Iowa. We bumped into him in an elevator. Dude, this is the funniest shit ever. I'm with this guy, Nate Schaefer, a racer for Standard. We're walking into the building. I'd not been at Standard yet. Standard was on like the second or third floor of this building in downtown Davenport. And Paul Sika comes out of the elevator. And as far as BMXers were concerned, at that point, that would be my worship guy. Like, that's a guy who I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, mystic human being.
Well, I don't think he walked by me. I still to this day claim he floated, right? Because I just remember he was like, "Hey," and it just went through me like, "Oh my God, that was Paul Sika." It was crazy. So I was like freaking out, like, and I remember like hating myself, like I didn't say anything, The only other person I got that way was, and I saw him on here, Dave Volker.
Volker, yeah.
Oh, nice.
At the ride office years later, because that's Lord Volker.
Yeah.
Fuck everyone.
Yeah.
That is the best best
a
BMX.
random
ever.
aside is Kaczynski last night sent me photos of the boulder from the 50th issue. You need to chill on that. Is it supposed to be all right?
No, he's good. He's good.
It's still half left. I'm just taking.
Oh, okay. It's the same one.
It's
I
bouncing out with
honestly
the
thought it was a new one. That's why.
No,
that was
would
right.
I
You never really drank pickle juice, huh?
Of course I do.
Okay.
Am I gonna shit myself? Am I gonna shit myself? No. It's
Just
so
imagine.
good. It's so good, actually. I forgot.
It's really good.
Yeah, Kaczynski sent me photos of the boulder with the Google review. He's like, "Oh, apparently there's a good hike. There's a swing there." He's like, "I want to go see the boulder," And I clicked on the Google link, like second photo. Is Volker doing the Abubaca
Oh, wow.
on the
That's
Google
awesome.
reviews?
Does
of,
Losi- I hope
of
Losi
the
knows
hike.
that. I hope Losi
Yeah,
knows
so
that.
funny.
That's amazing.
Just random aside because I was literally last night. I was dying. I'm like, Volker's on the Google review of the hike.
that
level.
should be that as it should.
It should be the first one.
It should be
the first
Should
one.
be. Yeah.
I got my job at Ride when that happened, and I was driving out when that happened, and I was so bummed I didn't make it out in time to film it myself.
yeah.
Losi put it on a tripod, and that's how they got it. So,
Yeah.
but I was like so pissed that I didn't get to be there for that, because then I didn't meet Volker for like a year later. But when he came in the Ride office, I literally went into my office and hid. I was like so starstruck. And I've literally sat in a room and filmed Martin Scorsese. But I was Dave Volker. I couldn't even talk. I couldn't even speak when I saw him. I was like,
That's amazing. Especially because of the Banks footage back in the day, probably.
dude.
Yeah.
But my wall was Dino ads, Volker. You know, like Volker Unchained and all this shit. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's the best. I think it's amazing. His kid rides, and his kid's fucking sick too. You know,
Dude.
Yeah,
that
sure.
nose
Kills
wheelie?
it.
That nose manual.
Kills it. And he like switches. He is very complex. A very complex rider.
does he switch feet and nose wheelies too?
I think he can.
That's
I think he do it with bar spins. Like bar spins, switches feet, whips. He switches feet the other way.
I could
So,
never even try getting into nose wheelie with my other foot forward. That would be a death. Yeah.
It's weird even pedaling
No,
and stopping.
I
with
could
the
never
wrong
do
foot
anything
forward.
switch foot. I don't think it's
Yeah.
it's the way I am. This is the way I am.
Talent was passed down.
Yeah. That's crazy, right,
Yeah.
kid?
Is this?
That's dude. That was like that was maybe one of the
you
greatest
here?
moments in New York history. I'm there. I'm actually right behind wherever this camera is. I'm like right over there, definitely.
Who was it? Who is it?
That was McCoy.
Oh, it was McCoy.
Yeah, McCoy. Fuck, I don't even know who that is. I'm trying to find
There's
these
Volker.
pictures right now. Yeah, he fucking killed that. I don't know. I don't know if that 360 off the wall is pulled in any video because I know it was
I've
in
seen
a,
it.
it was
I've
in a
seen
few
it pulled,
videos
yeah.
like foot down, but I know he pulled it. I seen him pull it. But I mean,
backwards over the wedge box,
Dude,
like
he's
the wedge
so
landing
good,
where it was
yeah.
like. Gook.
dude, that day was like what the fuck, you know, like every single thing you saw. And you know, we never had these pros come to New York like this, you know, like here and there. McCoy came through, a bunch of people came through, but you never saw it like this.
On this level, yeah.
And it was like, and then not to mention the way, look at the way the Banks
that
was
Pete?
taken over.
Is that Pete Augustin?
It could be very
It
good
looked like
chance. He definitely was there.
Ooh, I don't think that's
No,
Pete. Yeah.
that's not him. And that's the other thing. There was so many dudes from that you never heard of again, right? Like there was dudes who
Yeah.
did sick shit. The wall ride
there
really
you go.
popped off that
Yeah.
day. Yeah, it's fucking three. This is still the craziest shit ever. Oh, dude. I mean, by today's standards, yeah, whatever. But
Still,
back then,
that's still wild.
and those bikes back then were so shitty.
Yeah,
Yes,
not designed
Nah,
to like. Yeah,
he pulled it lovely.
that was amazing.
All right, so sorry.
Yeah,
just
no,
had to-
I knew it was
Yeah,
awesome.
but-
Like there was just a Banks Jam a few weeks ago, you know.
Yeah.
And oh god, dude, that makes my heart melt. Like you don't know. Like I went back just because I have nothing to do with BMX anymore, but I wanted to fucking like that is what I wanted to feel
Yeah.
again, you know.
Yeah.
And pretty much, you know, like
Yeah.
And what's even crazier too, like looking at how far back that is, and then being able to go and see the one like a few months ago is pretty wild.
crazy. It's
Like,
crazy. It's
to
crazy.
have that like circle of fulfillment, like
yeah, it really does. Like, honest to God, in my heart, mean a lot. And what I still and like the Banks is also such a special place because like it ain't a skate park. It just ain't. It's just something that naturally happened. It is like an ultimate street spot that and somehow has come back and is allowed to be that way. That is so
Epic.
good. Like it really is. Yeah. Once again, the good people win. Yeah, like the Knicks.
So I can't remember. But that was Starstruck or whatever. So policy.
Oh, policy. So we're at Standard. Yeah.
Policy.
So I go on this road trip with Standard, and then it didn't stop. Like then I didn't really go home, and I pretty much like I was working for the city of New York. I worked for a college. Maybe I shouldn't have said that because I told that whole story about the camera in the beginning. But
it was a different spot.
yeah, it was a different place.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter now. It's well past 7 years. They can't get me.
You're so old. The professor that would know about this has probably passed away.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. I know he still suspects me, but I've thought about telling him and copping to it. I've even thought about paying for it because I was like, fuck it. Like I want to feel good about it, you know. But I shouldn't bring that up. I'm making that the story. So now.
2 stops down, 1 to go. X Games New Orleans, the final stop, July 24th to the 26th. I know for an absolute fact that is going to be the biggest and best of the series. Bigger park course, bigger street course. Everything is on the line for the first ever X Games League. Go over and get your tickets over at xgames.com. And if you see me there, say what up.
So that it just was like a nonstop road trip right from there, and then I didn't really move there as much as I just spent the next year with Rick. Yeah, we just went on trip after trip. I hardly was home, and then at some point he's like, "Do you want to just move out here and help out with like team stuff, and we'll just keep filming videos and blah blah." And he also like Rick was like, you know, for as good as Rick is, I shouldn't say was because he fucking still kills it. He definitely like. He had to film when he needed to film. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't like ready to go all the time. With like ramp stuff, definitely, but like not street stuff. Street stuff he wanted to work up to and he wanted to feel comfortable. So he would like literally just have me around, and we would go like days. Sometimes he'd want to go film something, and he'd be like, "Oh, I gotta do this. I gotta do this." And plus the business was getting in his way a little bit. But then he'd be like, he'd call me up one morning and be like, "Let's go now." And then it would be like, we go and do it, and he would just hammer, you know. And then like, you know, and it was like an interesting thing because now suddenly also, I never really left New York much before that. So I think everything's New York. Now I'm living in Davenport, Iowa. Everything is not New York, you know? And then there was like, I had like some saving graces. Paul Seek ended up becoming a really good friend. And every time I could, I would drive out to Chicago because it wasn't that far. It was like 2.5 hours, 3 hours from Davenport. And then I'd hang out with him. And then Aaron Nardi ended up becoming a really good friend too. Aaron would more come to Davenport and I'd hang out with him, but it was also nice having people outside of Davenport, because Davenport was a small town, and you know, if things weren't going great with Rick, everything was going bad, because it was like that was your whole world, was the standard, and then if he said you were bad, the team said you were bad. So it was real. It was a little nutty back then. So like
So I mean, like
cult-ish.
standard country. It was literally like everything revolved around Rick at that point.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were the biggest. Were they the biggest? I don't know the biggest company, but like the biggest rider-owned company for sure.
Between them and S&M, in fairness, because I was, you know, it's funny. It was very territorial. It's very much like politics. I think you know, you just had certain cities and states that were like S&M place, and then other places that were standard places, and then a little mixed in between. There was other companies, obviously, but not. There was standard was bought. Standard definitely had, not to pun it, but a dominant place in BMX history around that time. I'd say like definitely 97, 98, 99, right into about 2000. Then you just had companies start popping up, Volume, Metal, all this stuff, and then it just changed drastically. We, you know, European companies were coming over. It just really became a different thing.
Hit me with some Rick stories.
Which ones? Those are so hard. There's so many random ones.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
look.
Let's be. I'll be real then. So
I'll be real too on it, 'cause it's hard.
I feel like you've turned a little bit of a leaf in the sense of like, I don't want to destroy people anymore. But you spent a lot of your time that I knew you being like, fuck Rick Molinterno.
Sure. No, look, there's no doubt that when I left, it's not that I didn't leave on the greatest terms. It just, working for Rick was hard, you know? And I don't know how Rick feels about this at all, right? Well, although we've chatted over the years, like 3-4 years ago, I got a custom built frame from him because I just felt like I wanted my last bike in BMX to be the bike I, you know, industry-wise started out with. But then I just recently swapped out for a rooftop because me and rooftop are so tight. But now I can't wear it. Now I can't ride the fucking thing because we both have pink bikes together, and that just, I got to stop. Like, I can't ride with him. I love Mike, but I cannot. Yeah, I'm like, until he switches his frame, because I'm not, or if maybe he gives me another, but I like the pink, I'm not riding with him. There's never going to be a time those two pink bikes are together, or I'm taping mine up or something. But no, the thing about it is there is two sides to that, honestly. Like, as mad as I was at Rick, and as mad as a lot of people were, because there's a lot of people who left that team.
It's a common story back then.
It was definitely a common story,
yeah.
And I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but I mean, like, when I first started working for Ride, I went to go film a professional rider, and he had a sticker on his bike that said, "The spell has been broken." And he had been out of standard for 2 years, and he still had that sticker on his bike. And that was about that. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's how it was, you know? Like the thing is, the best part about BMX and the hardest part about BMX is it's not a fucking job. And no matter how much money anyone made, it was never a job. It's your life. And you live it, breathe it, and it's every day. And, you know, Rick is a very strong personality guy. And 6 people living in his house. And it's his house, and it's his money, and it's his shit. And he's also combating, I don't want to lose any of this. So anyone fucks up or steps out of turn, he takes that very personal. Mm-hmm. I can look at that now and very much understand where he's coming from. I wish he could have dealt with it differently. I wish we could have dealt with him differently. But we were all juveniles. You know what I mean? Like, we don't really know everything in the world. We don't know what we're doing. I'm just standing. I mean, like, true story about Standard. This was a good story. And I'm not trying to knock the guy, but like one time I came home. I don't know where the hell I was, but I would always try to just avoid shit. And then so like I come home in the house. Everyone shaved their head. And he hands me the razor. He goes, let's go. Now, I used to rock long hair religiously. So I was like, I ain't shaving my fucking head for nothing. Like, that ain't happened. So I didn't. Motherfucking guy didn't talk to me for 3 days. At work, I have to get him to sign paperwork for stuff we have to get paid. Oh, you're too cool. I'll talk to you later. You know, like, and that's how he was. He just was like, you know, if you didn't fit in his program, he wasn't down for it. But I also think there was... You know, I would just go out and say a person who acts like that, that's insecurity. You know what I mean? They're a little worried about their situation and how they feel. And he probably didn't want to look like, you know, if he thought we should all be down for whatever he wanted. But not every, BMX is also a very individual sport. So you get a lot of this, you know, and it's like, even Robbie, when Robbie tried to quit, I remember I sat with, look back then, and I remember siding with Rick being like, oh, look at him. He fucking said he wanted to be on the team and then he went and quit anyway and blah, blah, blah. When I think back to that situation, I'm like, I'm an asshole because how the fuck was Robbie going to sit and tell that guy, no, I don't want to be on your team anymore? He might have fucking killed him. And he probably wouldn't have. The truth is, he really wouldn't have. He never punched any of us. There was none of that shit. But like, you thought it could happen, you know? And he was an intimidating guy.
So you get like angry and shit or whatever.
Yeah, like one time there was this weird thing, just drama in the neighborhood, and somehow it got to him that I had been very rude to his girlfriend at the time. And he came at me fist fully clenched. And I remember this very distinctly to this day. I leaned back with my fist behind my head, but my fist behind my back, scared to fucking death. I was like, I can hit him as hard as I want. I know I'm fucked. Like I just know how strong he is. He is a strong fucking guy. And I wasn't older, you know, like I was what I was. I was scrawny. And I was like, I'm going to try to show up, but I'm gonna get fucked up right now. And then it was a misunderstanding, and he was totally fine after. But you know, it was just contentious sometimes. But I think ultimately it was just a lot of inexperienced people together in one place, and you know, you're dealing with all kinds of things. And there's stupid shit like hormones. We're all out trying to hook up with girls, and then there's that beef. Like that always happens in BMX trips. You know, like, oh, you fucking took that chick I wanted, and you know, and then the people get all fucking weird, and it's like butt hurt, and you know, it's just like this part of it, and it's like that combined with everything, and trying to like live like you're not making money really. Like BMX, you're never rich, you're just getting by. So it's like, oh yeah, you know, it's like, and then you're fucking starving in some guy's house, and you're like, hey, can I get an extra $5 because I'm really hungry? Yeah, you know. So it's like there's just so much to it, and you know,
it was like this stuff like where it was, you know, there was something like that where it's like, oh, can I get $5? And he's like, no, and then he's like, oh, check out my new fucking exhaust for my Mustang or wheels or something like that. You know, like it was Taj or Joe's have had stories like that over the years.
One time, Paul Seek asked for a raise, and he handed him a bucket of change, and that's a fact. I was there. He like,
I mean, that's savage.
He was like, there's probably a few $100 in there, you know. And at the time, Paul was making a few $100 a month, so it's like it wasn't cool to do, but it was giving him money. I mean, you know, as the person I am now, if someone handed me a bucket of change, they would have that bucket of change back.
Yeah,
you know, like, but I mean, what were we gonna do? We all just wanted to be a part of this thing, and that's really what it came down to, you know. And even to that point, when I got the job at Ride, I didn't want to leave New York again because I was like, I left New York once. It was weird as fuck. I don't think I want to do that anymore, you know. And because now everywhere outside New York in my mind is like Davenport, Iowa. And I'm not knocking Davenport, and I'm not knocking Rick. I really ain't. And I'm not also trying to be nice. I really do think like I look back at it and I see places where I could have been better, and where those situations wouldn't have escalated where they have. And I see his perspective a little bit better, you know. But you know, I don't know. No one had a rule book to this. None of us were business people. No one in BMX was a business person. And how old is
Rick at that time too? Because he's got to be pretty young.
He's
like
old.
28,
he's
30.
Older than us, but he's in his 30s. Yeah, he's probably about 30. Right? Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, fuck, dude. Well, you're 30, and you have
this
this emerging brand that is like apparently on top of the world, and you have ego and professional, right? You know, there's a lot of fucking things in the mix right there that.
Yeah. And now in my life, I like do my best to check my temper and things like that. But like, there's been times on like set or workplace things where someone fucks something up that really affects me personally, and I'm like, loud. You know what I mean? And it's not cool. No. That, you don't do
what
that.
you do, you like
but,
set your boundary.
Yeah,
Like
but I get heated, and then like I've yelled at PAs and shit, and it's like I've apologized for it and shit, but it's also like, so I just know that there was like the stakes for him was so different for us. We're kids having fun. He's fucking like, if this gets fucked up, I lose a house. Like I could see that, why that would motivate you to be, yeah. So.
I know something that's super interesting that stuck out about everything you said about like so that whole situation with everything happening and with the team, you come to the crib, everybody got the head shaved.
Yeah.
You said no. What's so interesting about that is like I asked you about like when you first start filming and you could see yourself being into commercials and all these things. Have you like? I feel like that's a part of who you are.
Yeah.
Like, was saying, no, I'm not doing that. Even though, like, you're young and you didn't conform to what everybody else was doing. Mm-hmm. And even at the time, not really understanding why he was mad. And also, you guys being young, that is still super interesting to even have that state of mind, that confidence, be like, I'm not doing that. Because usually...
You got 8 people around you.
Yeah. No, dude, I ain't gonna lie. There's a moment where I thought, fuck, I should just shave it. But I was like, part of it's New York, like straight up, like you go because I had already dealt with that at like 7th and 8th grade. Honestly, you know what I mean? Like I like at one point you're like I can very honestly explain this now, but I remember very distinctly in like 7th or 8th grade, I was the lowest totem pole cool kid, right? Like there was a group of like 5 or 6 cool kids, and I was the shit on in that group, and definitely the shit on. They fucked with me, bullied me, whatever, and I did everything to be a part of that group, right? And I know how that made me feel. I'll never do that again. And I'm glad I went through that. At the time, dude, I mean, 8th grade, you're a fucking kid, you're crazy. I mean, I'm like freaking out, like, oh, do I belong on this earth? You know, like you just think this crazy shit. But then like, I'm glad I went through that because exactly that when that comes around, I'm like, I'm not doing what I don't want to do. I'm willing to bend with anyone. Like, we're going to go eat some shit I don't want to eat. Hey, everyone wants to eat, that's fine. You know, you make concessions every day in life. But like something like shave my head, no, not unless I want to, you know, unless I thought it was funny. And at the same time, if that had happened differently, like we were all drinking and hanging out and I was there when it started, I might have, right? But like the walk-in thing, I was like, I came in cold. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I mean,
You did shave somebody else's head, right?
That we can't talk about. That is a no-go.
I was like, the camera can pick it out when I was like, oh shit.
No one's head was shaved. Someone got several dreads chopped off their head while they were handcuffed to a fence, and I'm not going to tell that story, and only because it's protection on that person, because I think it's just not worth bringing up.
Yeah,
it was mean. He was a dick, and he was being a dick, and he's even admitted to other people I was probably being a dick. Yeah. So it's like he also probably doesn't remember it, so that's why I also don't want to bring it up. You know what I mean? But like people do know about that footage. Still exists. That footage just got.
It's not Todd Lyons. He cut his own dreads off.
That's hysterical that you have one. Because I know someone else in New York who has dreads on their wall. That's a crazy thing. I didn't even notice that. But you know that's also like that came from like there was years of that guy doing not great things to New York people too. So it was like it just was a
we'll move forward if we can't say the name.
Fuck, there's gonna be comments on that. I knew that would come up sooner or later in life. Yeah, see, all the other podcasts I do, they don't know that story either. So it's like, I don't know if you bring it up. You've seen the footage though, right?
I told you it was required to talk about it to do the podcast at a point. You can check the
I believe it. Someone just texted me the footage the other day. I still have the original tape, but there is one copy out there, and it always bums me out.
How many videos did you make under standard, and how much time? It's obviously domination.
Yeah, the time I couldn't tell you because obviously I was fucking 5 years off over there. Yeah. But like it was so it was domination first. A video called Exit 63.
Yeah.
My favorite. I looked at one time. I was like, it's not as bad as I thought. But then Standard Country, and then and Euro Trip, 99. So 4.
Is that the one where Gons got hit by the bus?
Yeah. Gons got hit by a bus, and then so there's another thing like looking back at it, I wish I handled it differently, but Gons and Els wanted the footage to sell to some TV show,
Yeah.
and I gave it to them.
Well, let's set the tone here, because maybe standard Euro trip.
Oh, that's online. You can find that. Yeah.
Just,
So standard Euro trip 99. That's what it's called. So we went to Europe. There's a lot of shit went on that trip. That was first time in Europe, things like that, and it's like, you learn a lot. With that trip, again, standard ain't fucking rich.
Is it in the intro?
I don't think it's in the intro. It probably comes later because we probably wanted to save it a little bit. But basically, Gons is fucking crazy. So Gons gets on the trip. First and foremost, no luggage. Just has a backpack and his bike. Backpack looks pretty full. At one point during this trip, he opens up the backpack. It's a clay pot full of leaves. Swear to God. And he gets a T-shirt from someone, puts it over his head, and he inhales the leaves. And that's all he brought to Europe.
Did he light them on fire?
Yeah, he lit them up.
Okay,
he got a
right.
lighter or something.
Yeah.
He smoked the leaves, whatever. But he's there. Jim Ryan should fucking killed that vert ramp, by the way. I've just remembered how that went down. Ted Nelson. I was just talking to Ted. Yeah, we had a good fucking James Hitchcock. Met him there. He was so awesome. He's still awesome. He does a great fucking Instagram page and stuff. But that was one of my favorite fucking skate parks ever in my life. I had so much fun.
There he is.
That was the pot. That was the first time we saw it. So I thought he had clothes in that bag, but that's what he did. But Gons the whole time is doing Gons things, right? Like Gons, we go into some kid's house, some local rider. Gons fucking gets naked and sticks everyone's toothbrushes in his ass and runs around the house. I mean, like, it was Gons just nonstop putting on a show, and it was really insane, right? But one point he's like, I'm gonna bomb this hill. So we're filming him from the car. We get pretty fast. I think it's like 35, 40 kilometers or some shit.
Yeah.
Because we didn't even know how fast because we don't know kilometers, right?
Yeah.
We only know with the car there. But
God,
interesting time in Europe. This is before the Euro. So every time you go to a different city, you have to get the money. And we kept showing up everywhere at night without money. So every night we starve, and every night we have to go exchange money and then get food. Like, it was terrible. You have to find like lock boxes for the keys and stuff. Brandon Poondai got arrested for fucking drunk driving, but then they let him go. They have like really loose laws there. Like, they test you and they'll test you 3 hours later. And if you pass, they'll let you go. I was like, yeah, America could use that.
Yeah.
Fucking enjoy my driving a little more. No, just kidding. Don't drink and drive. But dude, that trip was so fun. But then we had this catastrophe at the end. My fault mostly. Not the first time, but second time ever trying pop brownies. Super high at the airport. At the airport, I tell Jim Reinster, hey, watch my bag. I'll be right back. We're shuttling to the plane, right? It's one of those buses to the plane. I get on the bus first. I go grab my bag, running. Get in the plane. Hey, you got my bag? What bag? No fucking way. They won't let me off the plane because we're shuttled, right? Finally fight with them. I think they let us go look, but we can't get it. Lose a bag and a bunch of footage. My camera.
No.
We lost so much. Like, this video is easily 35% incomplete, including, which Paul Sika still hates me for this. If I talk to him right now, he'd bring this up at some point. And I don't blame him. He's right. Fucking Paul, well, first of all, Gons jumped downstairs blindfolded, 8-stair, blindfolded, and then Paul did a whole flatland routine completely blindfolded.
Wow.
And and there was other stuff like Bobby Fischer doing tricks in front of the Big Ben, which there's some clips because we had 2 cameras, so and some of the tapes were in a different bag, but there was like a tape or 2 that was fucking dope. And I always wished it would pop up somewhere, just hoping someone would put the shit online or something.
Shop,
yeah,
it ends up on eBay, like the DC tapes.
Yeah,
or something like that.
But it never did, and it was such a bummer because it was cool shit, and it didn't really ruin the video. The video ended up all right, and most of the bulk of it was there. And dude, it was such a fun trip. And this goes back to the thing of like, I see this as a missed opportunity only because I wish we did more storytelling on it, right? I wish we did the talking thing, more of the road food style, because that would have brought so much more out, right? Because this does no job. I mean,
and this was before you started doing the storytelling, right?
Well, I did a little bit, but I didn't know how to do it, right? Gotcha. I really didn't. I had to learn that as we went on. But there was just so many nice moments on it and so many funny stories and so many things that required a little setup, right? You know, so, but it was overall, it came out all right. I mean, it's a good, nice moment. I mean, it's a fucking, I don't know how many other people get Europe trips where they get to see their friend climb up about 50 feet on the Eiffel Tower butt naked. So
Yeah, ain't happening now.
that's it.
Sure.
Gons
Yeah.
climbs up the Eiffel Tower naked in that. And I don't know how we got away with that still. We had a flat and we had to wait for this rental car company to come to fix the car. There was no spare.
Yeah.
So we literally sat at the Eiffel Tower right outside of it because this is all pre 9/11. So security is insane. And we're like, what do you call it? We're out there. I think we were out there like 6, 7, 8 hours. Gons, I don't know if he got high or drunk or whatever, but all of a sudden he just strips naked, climbs up. He climbs up the brick pillars. He gets to the metal pretty much and then stops. But I mean, there was like 2,000 tourists taking pictures of him. So there's mad people. There's mad people's grandparents right now have naked pictures of Gons climbing up. People in France have a picture of a Mexican from Arizona climbing up the Eiffel Tower naked. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, how much of Gons was like posturing and like grandiose, like of like shock value, and how much was actual weirdness?
That's hard to say.
And did they cross at a point and it became everything?
The way I've heard it now, because I'm not in touch with him at all, is that it did cross and become his life, right?
Yeah.
But when I knew him back then, the one thing I did know, and very clearly, like Els and those guys, all his boys, Smoker Dave, all them, they'd be like, yeah, he's so shady, he disappears during the week. Well, turns out Gons is a soccer coach. Gons takes care of his kids while his wife works.
Yeah.
So Gons, Monday through Friday, don't talk to his friends. They think he's all fucking drugged up or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Meanwhile, he's super dad. He's just doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's any different now. I think he still just shows up somewhere, puts on the show, and bounces, you know? Like, and he just kind of knew how to entertain. And he really, like, he told me one time, he said, and I'm going to paraphrase, I don't remember the exact words, but he was just like, I just like to know how things feel. Like, how are you going to know how it feels like to be naked on the Eiffel Tower? And he literally, that he did say. And he goes, unless you do it. And then that was his thing. He just wanted to be the life of the party because he wanted to experience those things, is how he said it. And he did I mean, in that sense, he's a lifestyle performance artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I bumped into him like a few years ago.
A few
like,
years, yeah.
Me, Christian, and Corey Martinez was out riding.
Oh yeah,
Just
it's probably like 6, 7 though. Before, no pun with the child. Sorry, I have a young child, so every time I say that,
Oh, yeah, because you work off the kid. Yeah.
but it was like pre-COVID though, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'll say 2019-ish, right
Yeah.
there. Like
And
right
that was
on-
out
like,
here?
Out here.
Because I heard he lived out here, but I wasn't
Yeah,
sure.
just randomly, just like in the, like City Heights area, and he just like a guy walking across a lot, and I guess he saw the bikes on the car, and he like got out. Well, we got out, and he just walked up, and he looked at Corey. He was like, "What's up, fool?" And Corey's like, "What's up, dude?" And he's like, "You don't know who I am?" And Corey's like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's the Guns, motherfucker." Then like he was like, "Oh." Then they just hugged each other and was like, yeah, like they had been with each other for a long time. But he got on the bikes and started riding around, and he just disappeared.
Well, I heard this. I heard the story. I heard a version from Corey, and he was like, "Yeah, Gons was like, hey, you should go around." You know, it was like crazy.
That too.
Yeah,
that
he's like,
too.
you should go around here. There's a crazy spot.
Yeah, crazy. And sure enough, it was
Corey
a
was
crazy
like, spot was really good.
He
Spot
knows.
was really good. It's literally happened just like that. Spot was extremely good.
For all the stuff you could goof on about Gons, he was a good rider. He could do crazy shit,
100%,
and and he understood riding very well. Like he was not full of shit. And then he's
the reason why I learned flip the fakies. I didn't do it on a tree, but like he did.
And he did that so
He did it.
so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Gons, I respect him a bunch. So I've witnessed a couple of things where I was like, fuck, dude, could be a little bit off the rails at this point, you know? And hopefully, I think I said it recently, like in the last 6 months or something. I was like, oh, anybody have any Gons sightings? Let me know. I would love to know how he was doing and stuff like that. Because I think when you guys saw him, he didn't necessarily look bad. It was just like you know, you were like, whoa, where is this interaction happening?
Yeah.
So if anybody has any Gons sightings, I would love to hear it. He was messaging me for a little while, and I was like, all right, podcast, but
that'd be so good.
Also,
Yeah.
it's like with stuff like that, when you don't talk to somebody beforehand, there's been a couple instances where I'm like, man, I don't want to get them on, and they're just like in a time point on a point in their life and it be a bad.
But the thing is, if you invite him on, there's no doubt in my mind that
Oh, he's naked.
no, I mean, he might come in as a shaman. He might come in as a businessman. He will pick a role and go with it. Like he is that guy. You know, like it. And I don't know. I always found him to be awesome. I mean, honestly, anytime I talked to him, he was a fucking solid dude. He really was.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. He was fun. He was always fun to be around too. And I had real good conversations with him. And actually, real quick, I don't want to dwell on the Rick thing, but back to that. There's another example of like perception of Rick, how Rick was, Gons, all this. So Jerry Bagley quit the team, and Rick was pretty annoyed with Jerry at the time anyway. But when Jerry quit, Rick really took it personal. Like, he was upset. I remember being on the phone with him. I was at the base warehouse in Brooklyn. I'd already moved back to New York, and he was down about it. And then at the same time, gets a phone call from Els, and Els is like, Gons is off S&M, and he wants to ride for Standard really badly. And he picked up pretty much Gons the same day, or it was a day off. Like, it was almost exact, right? And then he was stoked, like, this is gonna be great. Gons is awesome, and it was like Gons was big news for them and or for us at the time, right? And it was sick. I mean, Gons put together an amazing part. Gons was always there, and he was repping it hard, and it brought Standard into Arizona, which it probably was there a little bit, but not to that
pushing
level,
into SM territory.
It was definitely pushing into that. I mean, especially with Gons, because he was an SM guy for sure.
Yeah.
Puking in the ads and shit. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah. We are
Take
back.
a fast pickle.
Oh, pickle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pickle juice.
Thanks.
We are back.
Hi, thank you. You know what? I just thought of something because we took a quick break and I realized, all right, so the bass videos, this is what confused me because I always think of Shady Bunch as the main bass video, but I forget Neighborhood Superheroes is. And Neighborhood Superheroes and Domination came out at the same time, roughly.
Okay.
And that's why I got confused about the years, because Shady Bunch came out years before, but just a couple years after New York Hardcore. Then we did another one called Off the Hook. And then we did this.
Hook.
Dude.
Off the hook.
The bummer about that is I'm looking for this tape personally because there's a spot in my neighborhood. It's two docks that are about 12 feet apart from each other. And I always remember hearing the base race guys had jumped it with a launch ramp. And I was like, you could bunny hop that shit. And I bunny hopped that shit with a fucked up free coaster and a Dow frame, 18.5-inch frame. And I was never so scared in all my life. But it's like my proudest moment. And I don't know where this fucking tape is. It pisses me off.
Put it out there, man.
I want that so bad. I don't even have a copy of that video. But yeah, but I want to find the original tape because I remember I was really scared. And the dock is shitty. It's a place called the Tamaqua in Brooklyn. And the dock, like, you're trying to pump off. It was like, ugh. And I just kept thinking, if my front wheel fucking clips, I'm so fucking dead. I'm going to have splinters all down my neck. But I was able to do it. But anyway, but back to that, I just remembered, like, basically it had all worked up to when we finished Domination and then I moved to Iowa. That was right when we finished Neighborhood Superheroes.
Okay.
Basically
All right.
Around that time.
You mentioned moving back to New York. I thought the ride opportunity came up while you were in Iowa, and you moved straight from Iowa to California.
No, I'd been back to New York maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
Why did the split from Standard actually take place?
No, and to Rick's credit, he realized I wasn't happy there, and I just wasn't getting along. And it was like I couldn't meet girls, and also I had kind of like me and my ex-girlfriend at the time back in Brooklyn was still talking, so I was like maybe I go back and hang out with her, this shit is. And then so it was like, but it was also just life. Like I just was never comfortable there, like it was just like it just didn't vibe well with the whole thing. And New York, I just could move around differently, and I wanted to be around people I knew again and stuff, so I basically had come home for a couple years, and then the ride thing popped up, and I was still working for Standard. I actually, when I told Rick I was taking the ride job, it was actually at a Christmas Classic in Ohio, because I had driven with Enos to that, and Standard will always have a big setup, and then that was when I basically said, oh yeah, I think this is going to be it for me, and blah blah blah. And he was cool about it. He was real nice about it. He wasn't shitty in any way whatsoever. And then and then we didn't really talk because it was getting vibey weird at that time, and we didn't talk for years. And then I do want to tell this story because it's a crazy story. So a couple years into ride, I'm very, even though you might have heard me talk shit on people, I'm very conscious around people not to say certain things. And Rick has this weird thing where there's just these people who fucking hate him. Like they like really mad. And there was this one dude, and I don't even remember his name, he's from Portland or something, and he happened to be in the ride office, and he's just going on and on about Rick. And I remember thinking, like, I ain't saying shit because I don't trust this dude. Like, there's just something about him, because there's a lot of people who, it's like that BMX thing where they pretend to hate someone, but deep down they're just mad that person don't like them. Right? Yeah. And I felt that from this dude, so I didn't say a fucking word. Brad McDonald was there for the whole time, the whole conversation. 2 days later, I get a FedEx of a shirt with Rick's face and says, "White trash motherfucker." A t-shirt, a fucking printed, someone spent their time to do this. And it says, "Hope you're good. I think you will enjoy this." I don't even know who sent this to me to this day. Just FedEx came in, got this. 3 days later, Rick emails fucking Brad and was like, "What the fuck? Your employees are talking shit on me. I spend money with your magazine." Brad comes to talk to me. He's absolutely right to do so.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's right, because Rick's right too. Like, I work at Ride. I should not be talking shit on him or anyone else. But I didn't. That was the good thing.
Yeah.
So and Brad was there, which was really the luckiest thing in the world.
So,
for
Brett,
me.
you got Brad. You didn't have to really stand your ground too much because Brad was like, "Hey, I was in the room."
Yeah, he was like, I was
Yeah.
there. He actually had emailed back and said, "I was there when for that entire conversation. Glenn didn't say anything." So that dude, whoever, I don't even remember who the fuck it was, but that dude
Was it a Rick Plant?
No, it was that. It was.
I mean, that's
No.
valid because how would it get back to Rick?
I think that dude just wanted to get back in Rick's favor and
Oh,
just hit him
okay.
up and was like, "Oh, I was at the Ride office and Glenn was talking shit on you." That didn't happen because at the same time, especially now, I talk shit on people. Everyone does. Like that.
You're from
happens.
New York.
Yeah, that too. But it's fun to talk shit. There's nothing more fun when you're sitting around with friends just ripping on someone.
Yeah.
It is the best. You know what? Me and Joe Rich, because of the standard thing, we were always a little at odds. Like, we weren't really friendly, you know?
Yeah.
But we weren't, like, he was never shitty to me. I was never shitty to him, but we just weren't cool. And I was on a Fox trip one time, and we both didn't like one person on that Fox trip a lot. And he came over to me and goes, "You know, I don't even think we'd be this cool if we didn't hate someone together." And I was like, "You're right." I was like, "You're 100% right, man." And I love that he said that because it was so true.
It's even funnier because it's coming from Joe Rich.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
one of those things
And then,
where
like,
it's
I like, you know what? You know what I have to say? I have to say to Joe Rich, it really made me sad that we weren't friends sooner because we could have hated a lot of people, man. You know, but like, it was like, but it is true. Like, when you have a common enemy, oh, you're friends.
yeah. Who was it?
Fat Tony.
Was it really?
He was.
I really wasn't expecting that. I did not know. I did not know, for the record.
To Fat Tony's credit, recently, I don't know where it was, some Instagram comment, he actually wrote like a comment about, I was pretty young and immature on that trip and probably could have done things better. And I was like,
Yeah, fair play.
hell yeah,
Yeah.
Adam Taylor, I think you're a good guy. I really do. I have nothing against him. I mean, I couldn't take him then, but like, you know, he's a grown man like all of us now, trying to live in the world. Like, good for him, man. You know,
Yeah, but he grew up a lot.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He
And
grew
we
up a
all
lot,
did.
but
We all
there's
did. We all
so
did.
many things about the way he operated back
Yeah,
then that were just
I didn't
you know,
appreciate it
there's-
either. But
there's lots of and to his credit, he was ahead of his time in a lot of the way he handled coverage of certain things and stuff like that. So I will give, and he was a hard worker, which I'll give him credit for. But he just was too goal oriented, too.
Yeah.
He'd see a person and then he could, you know, this person had $2 signs, this person had $3 signs.
Yeah.
And then that was his decision-making process of how he, you know, associated with people. And it was just too transparent.
Well, I think.
And it was, you know, everybody has themselves at the top of the list. Everybody has their well-being at the top of their list. Of course.
Well, there's ways
but
to go by it.
he was
Ruthless.
ruthless.
He was ruthless.
Yeah. So that's
No, he was totally ruthless. I mean, you know, but the thing is like, this is always a hard thing for me because BMX, especially from where I came from and where you came from, I know this. I don't know about you so much, but we all came from this very hardcore mentality, right? Like it was so fucking unforgiving back then. Like, you know, like you got guys like Mira. I always remember Mira, man. I remember going to his place and him, like, you could see it bothered him that there were riders that didn't like him because he was sponsored, right? Or had the opportunities he had, really, right?
Yeah.
Not because he was sponsored, but because he had good sponsors, good money sponsors, and it really fucked him because at the end of the day, he was still one of us. He was just another rider that just wanted to get by, but had this great opportunity because of who he was. But then you had like hardcore guys kind of shitting on him because he wore sunglasses or whatever the fuck it was, put a sticker someplace.
We could be real. There was Mira and X Games and money and Right Guard and all this stuff, and then there was Terrible One was kind of the antithesis of that at the point
100%,
where it
100%.
was like, this isn't about money, this is about friends and travel and experience.
Yes.
And it unintentionally, I think the you know, look at the Terrible One from Taj himself with a note above him. Taj was who I resonated with. I grew up as a poor kid. I wasn't successful.
Yeah.
Bike riding was passion and love and all this escape and all this stuff. And so it became this side rallying cry of like, if this is what I love, this is what I hate.
Yeah.
And that's it. And Mira was the polar opposite of that. And so unintentionally, I think Joe and Taj pushed people away from Mira. And I think it was hard for him to deal with.
100%. Because I won't lie. I mean, I heard those exact names out of his mouth when he was complaining about stuff. Yeah. And he didn't take it like, fuck them. He took it like, you could see he didn't understand why it was happening, you know? And I what killed me was when I saw him and Mike Laird just hanging out in the warehouse, not doing the big shit. When they took the little ledge on the side and they were doing all the tricks that we all love to do. And they were really like, you do feeble 180, you do feeble hard 180. They were doing the things that you would never think they would do, and they would do it, and they were so into it. And I remember I came back from a trip there one time, and I was talking to Castillo, and I was telling him about it. He was like, no way, they just ride little ledges? I was like, yeah, they're fucking psyched, man. They're just like, we're all fucking riders. Like, it is sad, though, that, like, for what a small niche of people we are, because worldwide, right? Basically, the BMX is huge, I still think, but like, it's like, it sucks that we would have these weird tribal things, because we should all be it should be BMX versus everyone else, not BMX versus BMX versus BMX. And I've been guilty of it too. No, I know, and I've been guilty of it too, for sure. You know what I mean? Like,
is that what inspired Flipside?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah. That's a good question, but yes, 100%. But Flipside, so fuck, man, Transworld was going through a bunch of changes, and Flipside was supposed to be a TV show on Fuel. That was how it was originally built and set up, and they were working. Transworld was working on a deal when we started filming it, but the intention was always that it was going to be a TV show, and then we were going to do reoccurring episodes with different pros mixing it up. I was going to be fucking sick, I thought, but. Yeah. But then it was like, the deal didn't really happen. And then it was like, we'll just make a video out of it. And we did, but it just felt very unfinished to me. And then Mira's schedule was fucking impossible. So we couldn't get him up to New York. So we had to kind of like, we did it a little different.
Find a way to get,
so we had like Dillaward and stuff, which is still to me relevant. Like all these guys were awesome. And it was great to have that mix. And still, I think that trip down was so fun. Like, Black Man, Nigel, Ralphie, E-Man and Boy especially, because they really hadn't been exposed to a lot of the industry like that yet, so like it was just awesome to see, But also when I say like being an older guy with younger kids, that was another moment where I was like, oh, maybe I gotta stop doing this. I'm fucking coaching the van. This is not good.
Like, so between neighborhood superheroes,
a really bad joke that I held on to.
Okay.
So between like neighborhood superheroes and to Flipside,
it's like big jump.
There's like 9-10 videos in there.
Who had the first section of neighborhood superheroes?
Oh yeah, it had to be Will. Will right out of the intro. It must have been. Now that I think about, because I think we go from like the city shots, and then it goes into
it's like the repeat.
We're like showing a lobster tank, and then we show Will, and I tell the story about Will, about the California freestyle.
Right. Yeah. So the narrating.
He was so funny because he had such a deep accent,
That's true.
He didn't really speak much, but when he did speak, it would just be the funniest things. Like one time he asked someone, he had this hoopty bike, and he asked someone one time like, yo, is this a good bicycle? Do California freestyle? And then like that was even one kid even called him California freestyle for a while, but regardless of all that, Will just totally stuck with it, and he just like surpassed everyone. Like he can just do anything, and he's.
Why do you sound more?
By the way,
New York
but
today.
But why? But look at the colors on the video and look at what I'm wearing. No one can claim bandwagon. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And then the anger.
So there's a part in this right here. Pause it. Neighborhood superheroes. This came out in '99.
Yeah, about 99. Right?
Flipside. Black man tries a 360 off of the
Tacos' his wheel. Yeah,
Tacos' his wheel. He's also dragging his bike.
Yeah,
and this is something I noticed, like watching this and watching that.
I've never put that together, but that's interesting.
But also with the narrating, it's like, like I wanted it. You consciously like at the Flipside clip of Black Man dragging the bike based off of this, or was it just something that you?
No, but I think it's how can I put it. Yes and no. I definitely not conscious between the two. That is the first time I ever noticed that. That is an amazing fucking connection. But I think it was more just, especially New York riders. It wasn't. I'm sure it is actually the same for everyone, but it felt different there because there you're like hanging out on your bike as much as you're riding. Like out here, you're more driving to a spot. You might ride if you live downtown and somewhere or something, but
They do.
Yeah, it's definitely more like
agree.
but it's definitely more go, right? But New York, it's like you could just chill all day on your bike and maybe not ride, but you rode all day, right? And to me, these are the moments that really put together the person, right? Like same with Black Man, like you take this out of Will's section, it has a different vibe altogether, right? And same with Black Man dragging the bike. It's also like this kind of like. If you really think about it, it's like that's the weight we carry as BMXers. Like this shit don't work now. Now it's just a piece of shit metal. A minute ago it was this fucking dope thing that brings me joy in my life. Now it's just junk.
Now I fucking hate it.
Yeah. And that's where you all go through that. So it, like conscious on that type of thing, but not conscious between the two. But that's fucking crazy that you.
Yeah, like wait a second. This is like look identical.
I'm glad you came.
Completely different times. Like
way
time
more
periods.
observant than I knew. But that makes sense. You're I gotta say this honestly because when he asked, oh, who do you want to come in and everything, and I asked for you specifically because I really do love watching you ride. I think you are one of my favorite riders.
Incredible.
I swear to God,
Yeah.
because the way you look at setups, I've just seen you hit like a curb setup that no one else would stop and say, oh, there's something here, and you make something of it. And I love that's always been my favorite type of ride. Someone who makes something out of something that just wasn't there before. So
I appreciate that.
praise, brother.
Man, that means a lot.
Yeah,
to me.
no, it's really, it's sick. It's awesome, you know.
Appreciate it. I mean, it all comes from like stuff like this.
Hopefully,
I think like we did talk about Mira, and I think he was a huge part of why I wanted to be in X Games.
Yeah.
But also, I didn't know what street riding was. I grew up dirt jumping, and then when I learned what street riding was, it was like, wait a second, like this works in so many different ways. Yeah. And I think when you revisit a lot of stuff and you piece it together, like you said, without this, you wouldn't know who he is. It wouldn't have the same feel.
Yeah.
But being able to take like him dragging the bike, and it's like all the little obstacles that we tend to overlook, and I think riding and being around guys like Albert or anybody that chooses to maybe go against the
Albert's
grain of
crazy,
how
by the way.
he
Another
is.
one,
He
crazy.
He is like go against the grain of how you're expected to ride a bike. Then you're like, well, what can I do? Like what? Like it almost turns into a joke to a point. Yeah. But realistically, it's like, wait, you end up finding yourself having way more fun, and you also spare yourself when it comes to like.
Some of these spots, I feel like it's like a puzzle that you don't even know if it has a solution.
Yeah.
In a sense,
yeah.
You know, like
Definitely,
you're like, oh, I'm going to start fucking trying to dissect this thing and move the pieces around, but I'm not sure if it's actually going to.
So that's exactly what I'm looking for, like a puzzle. So how you said piecing it together, like the video, that's literally what it is. It's like, oh well, we can exploit ourselves all day, like doing some wild stuff, which is cool if you want to do it, but finding like editing yourself while riding in real time, it's like, well, I can kind of do the stuff in between, which will kind of add more characteristics to maybe the way I see things, or maybe how people may see me.
No, that's
but it's all inspired by stuff like this.
That's awesome. No, that's great. Actually, no, I
Glenn's like,
totally get
holy
it.
shit.
No, I know. No, because you know that's the other thing about riding, right? Like it's very easy for us to sit here and be like, oh, it's just bikes, because a lot of people do that. We all do that to a degree, but it isn't. It is.
I hate the little kids bikes.
Well, I like saying
really
it because it's funny.
Like,
but,
dude, you've been doing this for 20 years.
Let's
be real at this point.
No, totally right. Like, wait, but that's what I mean. That's why I hate about the people who leave with this like salty thing, because I'm like, how can you hate on something that gave you so much? Like, stop it. It did. You had the best times with your friends. Like, even if it all ended in shit, it was good all that other time. You know what I mean? Like, Will's still funny. Like, I love Will because we really grew up in very similar places in Brooklyn. We definitely different experiences, especially him being from another country and not speaking English. I mean, that's so unbelievable to me still to this day. Like someone who doesn't like speak a language in a country and then comes and learns it and then has to find their way, and then somehow he found bikes. You know what I mean? And I actually know how he found bikes, which I'm very proud of. He lived across the street from this church spot we always used to hang out at, and he would see us ride, and he came down and rode with us. I mean, that's really how he started. He was like, you know how those dirty crom kids, like, let me try your bike, that type of shit. And then he on his own got better, learned it, and then suddenly was like, that motherfucker's doing rails. What the fuck? You know, and he's always mad, but like his philosophy and breakdown of riding was also very introspective, like yours. Like he really did like have a thought process on every trick he did, like working it out and stuff. And that's where his frustration would come from. But he that like the fucking wall ride tax up on the tree is so funny to me because he would always surprise you. Like you think of him one way, but then he'd do something.
Say, wait a second.
tree ride X up. Like that's not a Will trick, but all right. You know?
Was he bummed or okay with the intro?
You know what? He's never told me, but he'd never seen bummed. Oh,
Okay.
if he was bummed, I'd have known.
all right, yeah, fair enough.
My man never holds his fucking opinion back.
Have
Although
women-
he's different now, but he's very honest. You know.
Yeah. When was the last time you talked to him? He's always one of those dudes that made a big impact, but just in a very concise amount of time. And going back, hopefully he looks back on this shit and goes like, "Oh, this is."
No, he's happy. I was hoping to see him at the Banks Jam. I thought he was going to show up, but something happened. But we'll you know how it is now. You message on you DM on stuff like so.
He's on Instagram, I didn't.
Oh, he's on Instagram. He has it's called like his name's like Will T Music or something. He still makes beats, and he from working at Bass for Enos. He has his own print company. But now I heard he just got a job at the post office or something because he got sick of print. Yeah. But for the last like 20 years he's been printing T-shirts in New Jersey.
Oh, fuck
so. Yeah, and he has a kid and stuff. He's got like a life. What else he does? He does like I forget what it is, but some kind of kung fu. He's always posting videos like grappling with people and shit. It's like real funny to see.
Did you shit? Or
it drives me. It's like it's funny to see adult Will, you know, because I'm just so used to him being the young kid in the group. And now
that was
like,
crazy how it slips from the ledge to the fucking rail.
Yeah, he had so many like original things.
If there was something that you feel like modern day or current day that people could watch that can kind of put in perspective of BMX in the 90s, what video would that be if you had to choose one?
Wait, so like a video someone now should watch to get it?
Yeah.
See, that's hard.
Like, it's kind of like it's hard to maybe form it, but like I think I'm trying to find an easier way to ask it, like where it can kind of like give an easy answer, because there is no easy way to put it. But like,
no,
if you had to
there's
pick
not
one video.
Yeah, there's not.
Yeah.
But fuck, I'm trying to think what
even a section.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think what I even liked then. But see, like of a lot of videos, Neighborhood Superheroes is one of my proudest, because Neighborhood Superheroes was as I left New York and did stuff for companies and did stuff for Ride, and I really did take it serious that like, oh, you're at Ride, you have to be diverse, right? But if I could do it the way I would wanted to have done it, that would be the closest to a video I would have made, right?
Okay.
With the, you know what I mean? Because although we were definitely putting in, and I'm not knocking anyone, I'm just saying like I might not picked everyone in there, because like Will's section, mostly the street sections, I would have actually filmed Butcher and Lucky instead of letting them have other people film, because their footage always sucks, but they were so good, like if they just had a good filmer, fuck. But like, but like that to me that's riding, like period. So like I'm not trying to be ego on this. I would say Neighborhood Superheroes for me. But like when I look at something like Criminal Mischief, for instance, that is such an impactful video on BMX. But I don't, how can I put it? I don't when I watch Van's part, I'm not like I don't want to do any of that. Like I just don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just not something I lived with. I don't want to huck myself down anything. Every once in a while I'll jump down a stair set that's bigger than I should back then, but never like total dead man shit. I love the technical figuring it out, working shit out stuff. So like I wanted to make that stuff, you know what I mean? And I know some people were super anti that, and even Mira would like make fun of that shit, but he liked it too. Jay Miron made fun of that shit big time. He would shit on animal videos. but like he would do all that like tick 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 tick.
That's expected though.
This is crazy that you brought this up. I love
What's
it.
that?
All right, we mentioned Rooftop earlier. And we're talking about like
he's got an opinion on everything.
Well, as he should,
as he should.
And you just brought Jay Miron, like we have every right to like and not like what we like, right?
100%.
So constantly, whenever we do have a lot of the stuff here, like Yumi come up a lot, and that would be like a Japanese rider that has like a very different way of approaching to riding, similar to what we're like talking about. And I think a guy like that is so important. Like he's so important to.
You've definitely seen him.
Yeah,
he's so important to like BMX in general, just like any style. But like having it sum up to be one thing, like Jay Miron's Jay Miron. Like, and if I saw Jay Miron like not cool about like animal style riding, it doesn't not validate or take away from it, but what it does is like if I'm watching it, it's like, wait, he don't think that's cool and I think he's cool, dang, that sucks.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
But like these like
I know. Okay, I know this guy.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know names that well anymore. But I've watched this video. Yeah.
But the point is like even when you're at the top of the top, or even at the lowest of the low, everything in between is so important because you find your footing, you find where you can kind of relate.
Yeah.
And like you said, even Mira riding the flat ledge is like having the time of his life. That right there, you know him for one thing, but I'd never heard that story.
Yeah.
But it's like, whoa, that's crazy. Like
He didn't even really put stuff like that out. He wasn't into, because he really legit, like, that's the thing I'll give him credit for. He loved doing big shit. So
Yeah, that's his thing.
That's what he wanted out there. He wouldn't want someone to see him do some little things. I don't even think in his brain he thought people would want to see him do that. So he would, like, you know what I mean? But like, he was into that. I wish in retro, I think I might even offered to film, but he was like, no, don't film this shit, you know, something like that. Because it was like, yeah. But and then especially him and Laird, like, if you saw those two guys ride together, you saw them together, they were like any bro
Kids.
duo you knew,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah, like, which is awesome because you don't
Yeah, yeah.
think that when you see him on TV and doing that shit, you know.
It is, you know, I feel like I have two worlds about it, and I feel like we've like discussed this a couple of times where I'm like, I just can't give blanket approval to everything. You know, like there is certain things are better than other things.
What about blanket?
And that's okay.
Of course,
you know,
yeah, of course,
and
of course.
it's like
blanket respect.
blanket respect, of course. That's like where the Tate shit gets me in trouble. You know, like where it was like,
Why do you shit on Tate? Do you shit on
Do
Tate?
he?
I didn't know this.
I offered an apology because I feel like I talk in our text. He said, "Don't ever feel like you can't discuss my writing." And so when I talk about it, I talk about it in a blasé way, and it's like I just like I shit on it or whatever. But like also at the same time, like I respect it, but it doesn't mean that I have to like every single thing he ever did. You know, like that, just how you talked about like some stuff was like came across as corny, but you were trying to do something different and it just didn't land.
But what's so
And
cool
it's like,
about it, what's so cool about what you're saying, and like the conversation between you and Tate, it bridges the gap. And I think that,
it's
like
cool.
how I asked about Flipside. Flipside bridges a gap that you don't see past that. Like you wouldn't expect those things to cross.
Yeah.
But when they do cross, whether it's through video or conversation, it kind of like makes it like, oh, okay, now I get it. And it's never in a form of like hating, because you obviously don't hate Tate. You obviously don't hate his writing. But more so just like you understand. And when the line of communication is there, whether it's in video format or through conversation, it's like, oh, okay. Like, all right, this is something I have to respect because it comes from a different perspective, or people chose to do it a certain way.
Which also is, I think, part of the reason we all got into BMX. And quite honestly, and the first few people you ride with generally aren't people you see eye to eye with if you didn't ride bikes. I think to this day, there's so many people, we just are so different and we have such different backgrounds. Without bikes, there is nothing in common, right? But the bike is what made us realize, like, that guy's all right. I mean, there's people like now, older guys my age, they're very MAGA. I am not. I don't hate them for being that because I know they're good people. I know that. I know that in my heart because I've seen them in situations where I know they're good people. They just believe something I don't. And it isn't right for me to be mad at them for that, because the same reason they have no right to be mad at me for how I believe. And, and that's really how I look at it, you know?
Yeah.
But, sorry. I can't believe you don't like Tate, though. That's fucked up, bro. Tate's fucking dope, dude. And I know you don't like this, but you know what's real funny? The blasé thing is funny with you, because I gotta say this about you, Ryan. There's something about your tone and manner that makes it sound worse than it is from you sometimes.
Oh, I'm super punchy.
Yeah. So like if you go, oh, I don't know about that, it sounds like you're saying fuck that guy, but you're not, and I know that about you because I know you.
And a lot of people don't know that.
What I learned time and time again is that sometimes I approach things I just discuss stuff, and I have other things going on in my life, and I'm discussing things. Yeah. And I realize that what I say is very important to that person, or to when they have other things and they have their shit going on, you know, stuff that happens. It's like Dakota was in the comments about not discussing his part in the cult video, and I was like, dude, I sent him a text message like personally after I watched it, like, dude, that was so fucking sick. But then the time code in the podcast that I didn't put in there was afterwards, and it wasn't on purpose. No, you know, like, but I didn't connect it, and I'm like, fuck, like, but you know, like, he's like, oh, I would have appreciated that, you know, but I'm like, well, just send me a text, you know, that's the only thing, is then I'll make good. But like, that's the thing that I get reminded about, is that, hey, this is important, people see it, and sometimes I fuck up.
Yeah, yeah.
So
that's
for you, like
it's all ignorance. It's ignorance, not necessarily like
No, totally,
You know,
totally. But it's also it's hard to remember that because if you don't have an overly inflated ego, it's really hard to remember that this shit is important to people. And when you say something, it's important to them. And if you mention their name, you almost have to be clear about I'm not shitting on them, right? Especially in today's world, because if someone latches on that in the comments and goes, look what they said about you, that's even worse. And you know. And dude, we all love this shit. So like, I won't lie. When I hear I get brought, someone will text me like, "Oh, they mentioned you on the ourbmx." I go and look for that comment right away because first of all, I'm like, "What the fuck did they say?" And then second of all, I'm like, "All right, that wasn't bad. I can accept that." And then sometimes it's like someone shits on me on the other ones and stuff, and I'm just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
You know?
Every once in a while, that one is just like,
yeah, oh
right
yeah,
there,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, fuck you. I'm turning off the computer.
Because there's also things you wish, you know, there's things that you wish you could have explained better, you know, so you wish you could be like defend yourself, you know, but whatever.
Well, like you can't always get it right, but like you said, it's not, a lot of stuff isn't on purpose, but when the conversation is had, it's like, okay, cool, like you know that this wasn't done with this intention.
Yeah.
And two, what I was gonna ask about, because I really like kind of sticking to the flip side thing, because it's like it's so
I never
different.
thought flip side would come up this much. This is awesome. Though.
Well,
I love that video. M22 said really shitty things about it, but we'll get into that another time.
He said it was racist or something.
He said it was the most racist BMX video ever made.
Who said that?
Adam 22.
Oh yeah.
At the time, because that's when he was like in BMX, you know. So he posted that on his page.
Why do you think he said that?
Because he said I brought a bunch of black and brown kids to fucking North Carolina to hang out with white kids.
Oh no.
And that's not the case.
No,
like that was not
no.
it. When he said that, it then occurred to me. Oh yeah, everyone is whatever.
Yeah,
like,
but the reality is coming from a black guy. Like,
Yeah.
Reality is like we can all expect like a street rider or this style of riding would come from a black kid, and this style of riding would come from a white kid. That just like normal, right? Because even a lot of people like I've dealt with younger didn't know that I grew up only riding dirt jumps. And
yeah,
like,
I didn't know that. When you said that, I was like, oh shit.
So it would be
Yeah,
assumed that I would be more
I don't
so
think
riding
about that, but yeah, there probably is.
Yeah.
To play it safe, he would say
versus-
he tried to get ahead of it, like, oh, he tried to make a racist video. It was like that's not the case.
No, he was just being shock
yeah.
jock or whatever the fuck he is.
But what it did for a person like myself, the reason why I bring it up a lot, because I saw myself in it. So seeing like Ralphie learning front flips, and like knowing the process I took to learn flips, it didn't seem like, dang, that's cool. He tried into a foam pit, or like seeing these people in these videos, I relate to that so much because I got one guy that I saw in X Games, the reason why I wanted to be in X Games. Then these other guys that I watched, and it's like, I would say Nigel came. I saw him a little bit in like Animal All Day.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's the first time I saw him.
That's right.
And that was like, I had already been riding, so it wasn't something that was like so new to me, street riding at the time. But like, Animal Cannot Eat.
Yeah.
It was like the first time where I was like, wait, this is street riding.
Yeah.
And then eventually seeing older videos, it's like, oh, this has always been around. So seeing flip sides, so like I was dragging the bike. I know that because I could relate to it.
Yeah. You drag your bike.
Yeah, so it's like, dang, it'd been cool if I could have got to go to like North Carolina and ride that. It's like, but that's why I keep coming up a lot.
If it fucking became a TV show, you probably would have been on episode 7.
Yeah, it could have been.
That's true. That is.
God damn it! I heard Fuel's back. Holla at me. Actually, Fuel is back. That's a whole other thing. I heard that too. I saw a thing about, but I hope so.
It could be in the DMs on the Instagram account. I don't know.
So proof.
Yeah.
What you do 10 years before possibly can affect the others around.
Oh, dude.
100%.
So like even with that video coming out, who knew that like I personally would watch the video and be like, dang, that's crazy. I wish I could have been like there watching it firsthand.
No, and
it affected me in a certain way.
I 100%, being the person who made videos, forget that people watch them, right? Like I really do. Like you just do, because you get so caught up in making it, you don't think like that. And back to that, one of the things I'm very, very proud of is New York Hardcore. I got on consignment. There was a hip hop shop on Flatbush Avenue, a few blocks down from King's Plaza. This is really only relevant to people in Brooklyn, but there was this random hip hop shop, big store though, big footprint, and they took 5 videos from me on consignment. One of the videos got sold to a 13-year-old kid named Edwin De La Rosa. I did not know that till 2 years after I met Edwin, and that he was like, X Games in that video was it. And I was
Holy
like,
shit.
yeah, that's crazy. He lived right there, and he just went in that hip hop store to get a sweatshirt or something, and saw the bike video, bought the bike video. He'd already been in. He had admittedly already liked BMX from X Games, but then that was it. Right?
Showed him a brand new version.
And it also showed him New York riding. So it was like, yeah. It was like, and to me, that's like, Fuck yeah. Even the fact that you say that, honest to God, it makes me so happy to know that, because that was the intention of the video, to show that we're all the same. And in that video, I got to shout out Mike Laird to this day, because Mike Laird has his like breakdown of the riders in it. He talks through it and he just says how like we're all riders at the end of the day. Because when we grew up, especially Laird, we were all the same. It was all the same bike. It was all the same. You know, even if you did ride something different, more something flatland or ramps or whatever, or street, it was all the same shit. Then it got all split up and weird, right? Like the flatlanders, you just don't even know them. They're like mystic people that hang out in corners but do insane shit. But like, I always loved that breakdown. Like, to me, that was the essence of what we were trying to get at. It's like, yo, we're all the same, man. And you can take that to the world, but I'll keep it with BMX and go all philosophical.
And it's funny because Laird, to me at least, was he was a dude that was always so different than us, and I felt like I apologize, Mike, but we probably talked so much shit on you and like didn't relate to him and all this stuff, and I was like, this dude is, I'm not gonna get along with him, and I hang out with him, whatever, however many years, ride the local exposure tour. I remember what it was. And I want a bus, and I'm literally, after hanging out with Mike for like 2 days,
it's great, dude.
And I'm like, you're cool as fuck.
Yeah.
In like a super awkward way. I'm like, I'm sorry for everything I ever thought about you.
But that type of shit is the best, because that's you growing as a person. You know what I mean? And that's so important. And I think BMX teaches you that so much. You know who I had that with big time was Thorne. Because when I used to see Thorne on...
That was another person I definitely talked a lot of shit on.
Yeah, when I saw him on TV, I would think like, what the fuck is up with this guy? Because that just like, yo. I'm like, what the... Yo, slow down, my man. You know? But then when I met him, and I realized that's him 24/7. There's zero hate for that. He's not putting on an act. He's not putting on a show. And his enthusiasm towards other people is just as genuine. That's what really struck me. If he says, yo, I love what you do, he fucking means it. He does not just say that shit. You know
I watched him like when he did the podcast with you, and the way he stopped and he like asked you and he talked to you, and it's like to watch how he respond to it. It's like, dang, I can tell he really want to be there. Like, he really want to be right here sitting across.
No, he. I mean, the guy. Look, and the thing I'll say about Thorne. Here's another one. Back when he was getting made fun of for being not hardcore, right? You have these company owners that they'll screw a kid over for $15 straight up, and not on purpose, but just because of business, right? Thorne is risking his career. He's going on these TV shows, and he keeps interjecting BMX, and they're telling him not to, because they're like, there's a moto thing, there's a skate thing, but he'll always bring it back to BMX because he always pushed BMX. And dude, I swear I don't have some bigger mission in life, but I always thought, like, if you're in BMX and you have a voice, push BMX. Like, please. Push BMX, I cannot stand when people shun it. Like, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? Like, we're not that big. We need all the help we can. And people like Thorne helped keep it mainstream, and that helped keep money in the hardcore side. So it's an ecosystem, right? Like sharks eating small fish and stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
The Walmart bikes to the fucking...
Yeah, dude.
So important.
So many people's first bike is a shitty bike. Like, it should be.
True.
There's like a car. You should not get a Lamborghini the first time. Like, that's not a good idea.
So true.
Valid. I feel like I want to talk about ride. Obviously, we have that in common, but also at the same time, like, keeping with the New York scene, when you take the job at Ride, and then New York really becomes like the fucking the tastemaker for all of street riding, and you're not in New York.
Yeah, sad and jealous.
Yeah, all right. That's what I was
straight up sad and jealous. I hate Jeff Z. I hate Jeff Z. Jeff Z made it happen. I wasn't there. Fuck you, Jeff Z. No. It really made me happy. Yeah, dude. It's like, and like, I want to believe I helped with that, because just being here helped shine the light, hopefully. But by no means is it because of me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just happy it grew to that. That's what I had hoped for since New York hardcore. I wanted to see that because I knew we had dope people there, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I look at like a dude who passed away, like Eddie Rios, right?
Yeah.
Eddie Rios was so good. Easily could have been in contest. He wouldn't be beating Mira, but he would have been third or fourth. Yeah. You know what I mean? And had he had the opportunities that other people in other cities had, his life would have been. He had a great life. He had great people around him. He had great fun riding. But I know he wanted to be in that scene, and that opportunity just did not fucking exist. You know? And the fact that it did exist for then like a George Trovell and then a couple other random guys, you know, that and even newer people now. And then once the whole Animal Edwin thing came up, and then now suddenly you have dudes who like would never have been seen getting light shine on them. That's the best. You know what I mean? And that's all I wanted to see happen, because it's better for BMX too that we have scenes in every city. People love that shit.
Yep.
You know, that jam, the Banks jam that just happened was so fucking great. The first of all, because it was thrown by a Japanese company.
know.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Right,
Amazing.
like it took a bunch of Japanese guys to come over and show New York, yeah, you're cool.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone was like, what the
Well,
fuck?
Panza had the one beforehand.
No,
too,
no,
for
no, no,
something,
no,
but just-
yeah, and I'm not
taking. I was just
no,
saying,
and
yeah.
you're absolutely right. That everything's timing.
But
right?
it is
Like,
crazy.
yeah.
It is crazy that a crew from Japan is like, this is what we want to do.
Yeah,
Like-
but it reminds you how cool your shit is. You know,
Yeah.
one of the most fun things that when I first moved to California and you're here for a while, when you have friends come and visit and you get to show them around, whether it's riding or not, right?
Yeah.
You get to show them. You remember how dope where you live is suddenly, and you're like, oh yeah, this shit is cool, you know. And then you remember old spots. You're like, oh, I forgot how fun this little legend. I drive by it every day and stay riding. Now I should ride it again, you know? So that type of stuff is so important, but you need that. You need that community. That's what, you know, when people talk about BMX fucked up, to me, it just lost the sense of community, right? When the magazine went away, you just lost this central hub of where people went for their information. It got too diluted over time, and then now no one knows where to go, right? So
Yeah.
you kind of then you start, and you just maybe start in the wrong place, and there could be 100,000 kids going in
miss
the
that
wrong place.
connection.
Yeah,
You don't go to the
yeah,
local
yeah.
bike shop.
So it
You
needs
don't
like
get
a
this like
central thing.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you bring it back, but that's what it needs.
Fucking destroy the mainframe.
Destroy the mainframe.
Hit it in
Do you feel that people gonna think you're part of the mainframe?
I am.
I am now.
This is the point where it's like I'm the I like self-hate when I see the watch hours on YouTube, you know, where I'm like, holy fuck, I wasted that much humanity. Like where, you know, like it's wild. I've over the years I have like grown into like the non-willing YouTuber. So,
Right. No,
like,
I mean,
I try and spend as little time on the phone as possible.
no,
And it's like-
I do understand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very. But all right.
Because riding isn't this shit. At the end of the day, riding is being on your bike, hanging out with your friends. It is not this podcast. It is not a video. It is
Exactly.
not all these things.
Yeah.
But those things help perpetuate it so we can continue to do it. That's, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so you have
yeah.
to,
The
it's-
ecosystem
yeah,
of it,
yeah,
and the you know the things that motivate you to get out and ride.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
you know, I don't want to turn it into like it was better than it is
No,
now
it's
or
different. It's
anything
just
like that.
different.
It's just different,
You know,
yeah.
because I also look at younger people now and I try to figure them out when I watch them ride, and I'm like, or I watch their videos. I'm like, what is their motivation? Because it's not the motivation of guys I knew 20 years ago, because there's no video parts to be given out like there was. The sponsors are different, you know, things like that. So
Yeah.
I always wonder, well, you now, like, what's your motivation every day? Like, is it to get to a next video part? Is it to get to a next sponsor, or is it just to do the thing? Or is there like a there's a real question. Is there a thing you're trying to get to? Do you have like maybe an idea of something like that you'd like to get to in BMX, something you'd like to accomplish, you know?
It used to be like I wrote down a list of things, and I was like a lot.
So you actually
younger.
visualized it like that, like wrote it down.
Yeah, but
Wow.
like that came when I was like 24. Like that
Okay.
wasn't when I was like a younger kid.
Yeah.
But I would say now, just finding myself. Like when I say finding myself, like BMX was never shared between like family for me. And now that my son, like he's really into it,
that's
it's
sick.
been real difficult to share bike riding. But lately, like I've been like, I'll take him out and ride, and I started to bring my bike with me. So I would just take him to ride without my bike. So
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes
so,
sense, 'cause
like-
you gotta watch them.
yeah. Well, too, like it would take the focus off of him because he would have me do stuff. It's like no, like I would take him to be around other riders, like, or if we bumped into somebody at a skate park and they're like teaching him stuff, and it's like, dang, it's kind of sick. Like I have nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
And watching that helped me find a lot of myself that I wanted when I was a lot younger, because like didn't really have a crew. When I
Yeah.
say crew, I mean more so family. Like my mom didn't really know what I was doing. She was like, riding a bike.
Yeah.
Like forever she thought I was just pedaling around.
Yeah.
So that was a huge struggle for me to accept as an adult. So it was like, well, what am I doing while riding? Obviously I set goals. Like I said, Dave Mirror, who has inspired me to be in X Games, achieve that goal, video part, all these different things. And more so now, it's just like trying to make sense of how I feel at the end of the day after riding.
Yeah.
And that is like, I don't even want to go to sleep. It's like, I just want to stay awake. BMX never sleeps to me.
Yeah,
And then now seeing my son's really into it, it's like, wait, like now I can be for him what I needed for myself. So that's what it is for
That's
me now.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
But like, man, when you really think about that, if you just take a full step back, how fucking beautiful of a moment is it that you've had this experience for you, and yeah, obviously it troubled you a little bit that you didn't have it the way you wanted, but you're now able to give it to someone. To me, that fixes. Maybe it does, it doesn't, but
right.
to me, it's like so amazing that, and again, it's bikes that gave it to you. Like, you know what I mean?
Is,
So it's
100%.
like pretty fucking sick. Like, and if you got nothing, if everything went away and you only had that from it, that's fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
Like, I think, you know, like,
No, you're absolutely
100%.
right.
but it's probably because I'm getting old and close to death. I'm trying to make it all make sense. No.
Yeah. Well, I think you're absolutely right. It is one of those things where you can sit by yourself, and obviously, if you can think of something long enough to bring you to tears.
Yeah.
But to see how he asked me about bike riding, how it makes him light up, and it's like, you really think that's cool? All right, man. Okay, well, I'll take you riding with me today. And I've treated riding so much like work because I come from working.
Yeah,
I know what it's like to not just even having an opportunity. I'm so thankful for it.
Yeah.
That's
And I
awesome.
never felt like I'm bigger than the program. So it's like any opportunity to me is like a huge opportunity.
Thank you for saying that, by the way, because that's another issue. People who are bigger than the program, I'm like, what's wrong with you? You are not bigger than the program.
Yeah.
The program is always bigger. Trust me.
Program is always bigger.
Yeah,
And I think
that's awesome.
constantly being reminded that, I think from the outside looking in, like we can all assume like how other people can be, but realistically it's like, no, I can't be bigger than the program, because each and every day we'll go through our struggles. But like watching my son, how it makes him light up, and it's like, all right, so here's your chance to kind of like take a huge part of yourself, even though you feel like you finally are grasping how you feel, you now got to let that go and share it. So letting go and sharing it fixes those things for me. So it's like, okay, cool, I guess this is okay. Like I see him communicate with other bike riders. It's like, this is kind of cool, because now he will look at bike riding as like a unity thing. So versus like me, it's like, oh, you don't understand. Oh, you think it's weird that I ride a bike, but you want me to go play basketball? Okay, I'll be good at basketball. Just let me ride my bike. I'll be good at baseball. And that's actually what happened. So it's like, well, I was great at those things, but like you didn't even come to like a contest.
Yeah.
But it was just more so situational, because like if you don't know, then I can't expect you to understand. But now knowing that, it's like, oh, well, don't create the same situation. Just share bike riding, support, and therefore it will. And it has fixed some of those things where it's like, oh, I used to not want to share, but now it's like, today, you know what? He don't even know, but he's going riding with me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's
cool.
awesome.
I appreciate you asking me that.
I hope he
Yeah.
never sees this until he's like 30. Like, I hope he watches this at 30. He will ball.
He watches everything.
Yeah, he watches a lot of videos and stuff,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How old is he? 10?
9, about to be
9.
10, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so he's absorbing it all. But,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Conversely, my kid got his first stitches from BMX.
I saw that. I saw that.
Like father, like son.
in the face too, of course.
Oh,
So,
that
yeah.
must have been scary.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. It was. He handled it pretty well. So by the time he got to the truck, he was done crying, and then he didn't cry again.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's good.
so-
That's good
but
life
yeah,
lesson
a lot
for
of
sure.
blood, but
Yeah.
that's how it goes.
Yeah.
But you know, I hate it, but it's good for kids to get hurt. You just
It is.
learn life.
It's hard to
stuff.
explain
Yeah,
it to
yeah.
the life. But
It's hard to explain to
it's
anyone, but it's
definitely-
like, it's a good lesson.
It's funny because he scraped his knee or something afterwards, and I was like, "Oh, did you cry?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
You know, like one of those, like a week or something later. And then I was like, how'd it feel compared to the cut? You know, he's like, oh, it was nothing. And I'm like, all right, that's good. You know, because now he has like in this more coherent era of his life, he has a scale of like, all right, this is pain, you know, and then this is a scratch. Yeah, like, because at points he kind of didn't have that. And I'm like,
No,
hey,
of
dude,
course,
you
of
shouldn't
course,
cry
of course.
over this.
Something
This
that
is not
happened
worth it.
recently, like about what you're saying, is a question my daughter asked me. She was like, do you cry when you get hurt now? And I was like, no. And she's like, why? And I was like, when I thought about it, I was like, that's such a deep question that like there comes a time period where crying doesn't exist when you're in pain.
You just feel the pain.
But it's more so emotional based. For whenever you're older.
Yeah.
So just like if we think about like all the things that you've done, like all the, you know, like the clips we talked about earlier when we first started, like, I'm so glad I saved those clips.
Yeah.
But if, like I said, if you think so much more deeply about those, it could bring you to tears.
Oh, it definitely
and,
will.
And that's not pain. That's just more so just like the
beautiful. Oh my god.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
No, but there's definitely, that's the funniest thing too about any video is like, you could watch a whole video, forget the banger, forget all the good stuff. There's a clip in there that's more emotional than all the others for whatever the fuck reason, right? You just maybe remember that's the day you broke up with someone, or that's the day someone in your family passed, or that's the day you realize you got a job, or whatever the fuck it is. There's so many things that go along with it. Like, honestly, if I watch an old video, I start remembering things like that. Like, oh, and that's that day that such and such happened. Like, it all floods back, and it can be very emotional. But I think, I also think that's awesome. I think a lot of people shy away from emotions that way, and they just shouldn't, because it's part of your experience. It's great, you know.
Editing process for you. Speaking about emotions,
interesting.
Are those like while editing a video, and if you can't remember something that kind of made you sit back and look at it, like, wait a second, like, this is a lot. Whether it was like a fun time, stressful time, transitional time for you, like, if you could think of something, what would it be? Like, you don't have to be in like a particular era, but like just in general.
For me, editing is very special because, well, first and foremost, obviously editing over the years, but then learning different editing processes, like starting with 2 tape machines and then getting to computers or computer-based editing. And the first few videos I ever did on a computer, it was 3 minutes at a time. So a whole different thought process of how you spit that out and how you organize your shit and how you do it. And you have to be well more organized. Like back in the day, every tape I had, I would write out every clip on it on a piece of paper and then put those notes on another piece of paper and rearrange them. I would paper edit before I would edit because it wasn't. But now I'll throw everything in, the name that the camera spits out, and just fucking rearrange it, and that's how we go, you know. And then also you get so used to things. I mean, you know, I used to edit years back. I would edit kind of in order, but now I edit reverse. If anything, I start a lot of times at the ending or the middle, and then work my way out on anything I'm working on, you know. And by trade, like, I do a lot of different things work-wise now, but editor has been a pretty common thread in my work life after BMX. So editing's very, like, it's important to me. It's a big part of who I am and what I do. There's so much emotion that goes into that. I mean, I lose my fucking mind editing sometimes. And anyone who's ever edited knows this. You will sit some nights and you spend 2 fucking hours and you realize, I just fixed 2 seconds of this shit. Like, you know, you get stuck on things.
Or you went backwards.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, and learning editing, my friend told me this phrase a few years back, and it's apparently a Hollywood phrase. I've never really heard anyone else use it except for him, but it's kill the baby. Other people know this. You say you got to kill the baby because no one wants to kill a baby, but that's probably one of the most important things I learned in editing is just being like, that's got to go. Like
despite how the emotion you have.
Because back in the day I used to feel.
Is it like married to the clip? Is that
because I think I would be very like. I would also feel like an emotional responsibility to the riders that, like, if we went out and filmed and I got 25 clips with you, I'm putting 25 clips in. But now, no fucking way. I'm putting in what I think is good, and that's it. That's my job, is to put the best thing forward. But back in the day, I would be like, I don't want to shun you. I don't want to be the decider to say, no, that scrappy clip doesn't deserve to be in here. That's not my say. I used to really think that, right? But now I'm like, no, it is my say, because I want to give them the best possible thing back. And if we can, and I used to be closed off with editing. I used to be more like this. Now I have no problem showing something. Hey, do you think I should change it? What do you want to do? Yeah, I want that feedback, because it really helps, because you sit alone. And the one thing I fucking wish I had learned early, or I wish I learned it, but I didn't do it. The one thing I wish I had in practice earlier that I do now is fucking leave it. Just walk away. Walk away for a few hours, overnight, whatever, and come back to it, because there is nothing that beats a good night's sleep and coming back on something fresh, because you get so stuck and you just worry about shit. And I cannot believe now, especially in work life, like, I'll work on something, I'll be like, fuck, this whole thing's fucked. I wake up the next day thinking, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but then I go back and look at it, I go, oh, done. And I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? You know, but just because you give yourself a beat, you know. And I think that's good advice straight across the board, because I do think editing teaches you how to work everything in life. Although the one thing that I'll say, and I don't know if I think other people go through this, but sometimes I get so into editing, like if you get in like a long session, like 6, 7, 8 hours straight of editing, I'll be walking around the house thinking I can fucking Command Z shit. Like, I think I can undo things. I'm like, put something down, and I'm like, no, move it over there. I'm thinking in my head, like, oh no, I actually have to do that, you know? Like, you just start thinking crazy, you know?
That's amazing.
That is funny.
I know you mentioned ride BMX.
Yeah, I mean, the ride days are a huge chunk of time. I mean, I think you were there for a decade in total. Is that fair or no?
2000 to 2007 or 8ish, so almost a decade.
Close, yeah.
Ride BMX,
and that was Pinnacle. You get that job. I mean, move to California. I'm getting a salary.
Couldn't even believe it.
Healthcare.
Jeez.
To this day, I can't believe someone paid me to do anything.
401k matching at the time.
That was
really?
401k matching, but I lost all that.
I never. And also, when I signed up, when I did that, I was like 21. I was getting paid, relatively dog shit. When I first worked at Ride, I was like, I don't even know what this is. 2, I need all the money.
Yeah.
So I didn't even do it. And now looking back, I'm like, there was 401k match.
You could have started,
but I wasn't making very much money.
Yeah. No, but I've just had things leading all the way up to like COVID that at some point those 401ks got dipped into. 2000, there was other things.
Yeah. But go ahead. So you're in New York. You're going to. I'm never leaving New York again.
That's how I felt.
Ring, ring, ring.
That's how I felt.
Hey, Glenn. It's Trans World.
Say
less.
Losi and Brad interviewed me. It was a very professional interview that also felt weird at the time, like bicycles being professional, because with Rick it was like, do you want to make a video? Yeah, all right, you're in. That was the interview, right? Them, it's like, so where do you see yourself in 5 years? No, we did over the phone call. Call first, and it was. But what was interesting, because I had been out there a couple of times, and I think actually Todd Toth, who Todd Toth was a main sales guy at Ride, now at Vital, but I think he had a hand in me too, because fuck.
Master Beta.
BMX, come, you got me twice. By the way, I pissed myself watching those videos. I'm like, damn, they listen for that shit all day long, and I just gave you 2, and that was not on purpose.
Yeah.
I had it in my head to make sure I said something to get on there. Now they won't, but good. Also,
wait, so you gave him head too?
This is getting weird. No, but I think Todd also had like a hand up for me a little bit, because I had been out there a couple times, and we had done ads through Base, so I had a little, and through Standard, so I already had a little bit of relationship at Ride through all that. So like we'd known each other, and I'd been to the office I think twice at that point. So it felt comfortable to speak to them too. It wasn't like strangers, like oh my god. But so I went through the process, and I didn't know if they were even hiring anyone else or talking to anyone else or whatever. I as far as I knew, I thought I was the only one up for it. So I thought I had it, to be honest. I thought it was more like mine to say no to. And then I just wasn't sure if I wanted to come out, And I do remember one distinct thing. I don't remember what I made, but I do remember I set a number that was a little bit higher than what I was making at Standard. And Brad instantly said, yeah, no problem. And I went, and I just instantly went, I went like 2,000 right over on the spot. Like I think whatever it was at the time, I just was like, if it was 28,000, I went 30. No, I meant 30. And then he goes, like I knew it. I knew I fucked up, and I wanted to Command Z. So then he was like, okay, we could do that. And I was like, all right, I can't go further. Fuck. Okay, yeah, great. But I was like, I didn't even know what I needed to live. I had no gauge on that shit. I'm moving to California.
I'll say it because you hit it right on the head. That's what I made when I started working at $28,000.
Yes, that's about what it was then.
Yeah.
Probably
because I remember thinking about it now is like, that's insane. And then,
different time.
Even at that time, it was very low.
It's low, but you could definitely live off of it. You couldn't now, but you could live on it. 100% you could, especially like living with other people, things like that, and that was a whole nother experience of like moving in with strangers and shit like that. You got to figure it out, and it's definitely scary. And you new people make a whole new set of friends, because when you're home, I mean, it's dumb shit like where you get your oil change, where all the stuff you got to do in life. When you move to a new city, it's like, oh fuck, yeah. I don't know where to do laundry. I don't know anything, so you figure it out. Very New York, right?
There's no ice falling from the sky here.
Yeah, that
was Ride No Problemo your first like real.
What? That's a Red Bull.
Oh, really? I thought it was Ride
No
BMX.
Problemo.
No Problemo.
No Problemo was a Red Bull video. Yeah.
Okay.
And
that's late.
That's late.
I know this answer.
That's late, but I didn't do much on that.
You filmed or something, right?
That's the Spanish one, right? Down in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was one of the films. But listen, that was it. Fucking Red Bull is. Were
you at Ride BMX at the time or no?
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't care. Like, they were cool with it if I did other stuff. Because I honestly, on trips like that, you could always squeak out clips of someone else for a ride. Like, and I would be honest with Brad about that stuff. To be honest, BMX...
It was pretty loose because and I didn't have the ins in that sense either, but like Losi and Mark, I think at the more strict days, which was a little bit before my time, was that the deal was like, hey, if it's a ride thing and you sell a photo on the side, it's a 50% cut. Like 50-50.
Yeah.
Really?
But even then, like, how many times I filled out those forms? Not very much.
Yeah.
And it'd be kind of weird. It'd be like an ESPN thing or, something where I was like, I was it was 100% paid for by Ride, and then I sell photos on the side.
Yeah, but Brad was honestly open about it. Like
Yeah,
he understood that we were all making. He was paying us, but he understood it wasn't the great salary. So if we can make extra money, he was cool about it.
That's
Transworld had a way better. I mean, skate in general had a better deal. So just to give you an idea, my friend Retta, who shot for a bunch of skate magazines, like he would get paid money to go on a trip, an obscene amount of money based on anything we do in BMX, and then every single picture was his. Like he only had to give them 3 pictures at the end of it for their ads. Every other picture he could keep. So if you go on a trip with 5 fucking pros, now you have ad pictures to sell to everyone else.
Yeah.
100% yours. That's unbelievable. Yeah, and I renegotiated my split on video stuff. When we did sell video stuff, it was a 3-way split. 1/3 rider, 1/3 me, 1/3 ride. And that's how we did it.
Wait, 1/3 what?
I'd give it to the rider.
Oh, the rider.
Yeah, because
that's some
when we,
stand-up stuff right
but
there.
no, but also because when we were selling, it was different because like if you sold a picture, you were most likely like you would sell to one of his sponsors, so that helps him.
Yeah.
If we were selling it, we were selling to like a fucking Slim Jim or something for like a commercial clip. So the rider
Talking about
needed
the
to get
Vans
some.
butthole clip.
The Van butthole clip.
What is
that? Is man, there's been some
Hey,
shit
he
on
said
this.
that. He
Hey,
said
yo.
it. He said it, and that's the clip he's talking about.
No, yeah, it is well, that was one. No, that was different though. So that
Oh.
was really crazy. That was a really interesting one. So basically, Slim Jim, van crashed really hard on a rail. Not different than that rail behind you. Who is that? Is that Kaczynski? I don't even know who that. But
right here?
yeah.
Oh, that's me.
Is it?
Yeah.
Dude, looks like a white guy from here.
Yeah, the Flash, I think.
Yeah, right. Dude, I'm sorry. But I'm also
It's
blind.
actually right across the street.
No, but there is good rails over there. I didn't notice that on the way in, but I can't see. It looks like
That's some Kaczynski stuff.
no, but it looked like light skin. Sorry, man. That's fucking dope.
No, I'm not sweating it. You're chilling.
But I forgot my.
You made flip side. We're chilling, bro.
But now I forgot my train of thought because I accused you of being white.
Van
You're good.
Oh, the Van Butthole clip. No,
Here
so
it
the
is.
Van Butthole
Bet.
clip. Do you have it? Oh god. Oh yeah, because they change him in the commercial, right?
It's so bad. I mean, the quality is
Well,
fantastic.
Oh, I remember this.
They put a helmet on him. He didn't
Yeah.
have a helmet when we
Yeah.
shot this. Well, it's not even him, right?
No, but then the clip is him.
Yeah, the clip's him. It's so clearly Van to me when he hits the
Yeah,
rail.
yeah. But then
Then, so Slim Jim hit up props for that clip because I was filming Van for something, but I think it was for the ride video. But he wanted this specific rail for a props interview or something to do with props. I don't remember what it was, but so we'd agreed he could have it for that, and then he had crashed. And he wanted the clip, and I was like, yeah, no problem, you'd keep it. But then props had sold it to Slim Jim. And that was where it got sticky because it was like, well, props, you didn't fucking film that. But they were actually cool. But
Yeah.
this is where it got weird. So Van got whatever money he got. Props split the money with me. It was pretty decent, like in the thousands. And then the fucked up thing was the school tried to sue someone. They went after props, and props was like, oh, that wasn't us, that was this guy. But I was like, you got half the money, you should take half the fuckers. I said I have a 1994 Nissan truck, you are more than welcome to it. And then that was the end of the conversation. That was literally how I answered their email. I was like, that's all I own, you're not getting shit from me. So that was the end of that.
Dang.
and you want to give any details on that clip?
Oh yeah, fuck! I forgot the best. Well, the best part. So Van was fucked up. I mean, he fucking hit butthole. So we go back to his house. It's me and Losi, and he's like, "Dude, I really don't feel good." And he reaches back, and there's blood. And then we're like, "Fuck." Bend over because we got to look, and he had the spread cheeks because we weren't sure if it was internal or external, and it looked internal, so it was terrifying. So he went right to the hospital, and then lucky enough it was still external but way inside. So
Gotcha.
lucky enough didn't have to look very much into Van's
Yeah, yeah.
asshole. But I did look into Van's butthole, which the way he was worshipped in BMX, there's a lot of people who are probably jealous about that, but I wasn't so hyped on it, but more than anything, I'm really happy that he was all right because that was you don't want to see you don't never want to see that for anyone, you know.
I love how casually I queued up that segment.
Yeah,
I
you
was
just
like,
made that happen.
hey, but
Yeah,
you
man.
forgot some details. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
Because I
left out
do
something.
forget because that was it's a very surreal
Not
moment.
a bad thing to forget.
But it's a surreal moment when you're in someone's house and their pants are down and they reach out and blood's pouring out. I hope not make people know
imagine
this.
Imagine the thing where they're like it's he's on a shoot and it's like and somebody's like, yeah, my friend got hurt and he was like cut right here on the bottom of his foot. He's like, oh, check it out, look at it. And he's like, yeah, he had a huge cut on his foot. He couldn't even look at it. And he's like, Glenn's like,
Yeah, you don't want to. I know.
That's something crazy.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell the Van
I
Buck
don't
whole
wanna,
story.
I don't want to
even
one
know.
up it, you know. And Van of all people, the guy does all this gnarly shit. He's, he gets broke off sometimes, and I got to be there for that. Like, come on. But no, I'm glad he's there. Actually, I just seen him recently, and that came up because it's
hilarious.
It's something
Yeah.
you'll always have a connection on.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah.
That's my connection to the Olympics.
Yeah, there we go. There you
Garrett Reynolds signature Monticule jeans. Straight leg, little bit of stretch, high quality cut and sew. Straight leg's not your thing. You want the big old wide boys. They got the Max Miller ones. Jeremy Malot's got his signature pants. Dan Kruk's got his signature pants. Head over to monticule.co. Enter the code Unclicked for 10% off. Whichever pants you want. They got hats, they got shirts, full lineup of gear. But it's not just a code thing. Kicking off Monticule clip of the month. Head over to Instagram, post your best stuff. Hit it with the old hashtag Monticule COTM. Clip of the month. Then you go to the URL. You submit it to Monticule. It's just the URL. It's not like you got to upload a video or anything. Name, email. Should only take you like 30 seconds. And at the end of the month, we're going to watch 3 clips. Choose a winner. That person gets a $100 voucher from Monticule. You're going to get a package from me. I got some Monticule gear. I'll kick in some ourbmx stuff, whatever random bits and bobs we have. And everybody's happy. Shout out to Monticule for sponsoring the podcast, for all they do, supporting all those bike riders, making cool stuff. This is how we keep BMX doing well, support brands that support BMX. That's it. Thank you. Back to the podcast.
All right, the ride time. Like, so now you have this unlimited budget, not unlimited, but like,
Calm down.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying. But you have a budget, which is like probably something you didn't necessarily have with
No,
Standard.
I could just
It's
go
like,
somewhere.
you could just
And honestly,
make decisions all your own.
to everyone's credit, no one really got in that too much. They would get in on the cover a little bit, like but that was, working at Ride. Cover conversations was a very big thing, so everyone would get involved in that, obviously, but BMX videos didn't really have shelf sales, so it wasn't like that necessarily. It wasn't like a magazine where you're competing against other magazines on a shelf. So for the most part, I had a lot of freedom on what I could do, but I did take it very serious that I should always be diverse. Like my very first video out the gate at Ride was a how-to video, which I thought was very important, but what was really important to me was to get like hardcore dudes in. So Gons does a how-to bunny hop, which is one of my favorite things in the world. I actually got fucking lucky and Butcher to talk on camera about how to do grinds, and
You made that.
Yeah. You know that video, basics. Yeah,
I used to
that's my
watch
first
it
ride video. That's
over.
Yeah. No, it's
yeah.
And dude,
That was inspired me in my how-to video.
I'm still
Crazy.
very proud of those videos because I think
This is it? This is
yeah,
it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh, he did such a good job, though.
Dude, it's so wow.
Shout out to Deck Park.
Yeah, I love that spot.
Rob Morales did a How to Dirt jump too.
Yeah. Well, Morales hosted this.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Morales was the
Oh,
host
he
of this.
did?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we did one a few years later with Thorne hosting, Trans World BMX one. But this but like Losi doing acting, that shit was so fun. That was all impromptu, and then I just put it in. They were just dicking around. And then
I had this on a VHS just over and over.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah. There was no. Well, there ended up being DVDs of this, but it was pre-DVD.
Because it was a split. It was basics and how to dirt jump.
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
Wow.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem.
I think I actually
that
have
is
the
my
I have
first-
the DVD. I think.
Nice. I think I have a copy of it too, but I don't know. But yeah, that was my first video actually. So on the way out, when I drove to California, we stopped at a lot of places to film with people. Like I went down and filmed the Groot, because Groot's in there. But yeah, that was fun to make. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And
I
that
remember
probably
watching
was
this
the
over and
highest
over.
selling video of all the Ride videos too, because it sold all through the years.
Wow.
Fucking sick.
That is insane. Like it's so crazy. Like stuff that I watched and like we'll see, and it's like now I'm sitting here and like knowing that you made this.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
made this.
That was filmed on a Canon GL1, most likely.
I just got rid of a GL2.
Oh, really? Yeah,
like,
nice.
Like gave it to one of my friends, but like now you have like the tapeless setup you can make.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You put the box on.
Mhm,
You have
put the
that.
box
All right,
on.
nice.
So like, now he has a GL2 and some other camera that's similar to like a VX2.
That's it. Does that work pretty good, that fucking box stuff?
It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
It's like some can be finicky, but I think they've worked out the kinks on how to make it work. So you can like, there's a camera store here in San Diego that they get them beforehand and they test them to make sure they function right. Because some can just be like, the camera can work with the power play, but sometimes the power play won't replay.
Does it give you back a widescreen or a square footage? It gives you what the camera shot? Or
Yeah, it gives you exactly what the camera shot.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So it's like, and two, when you rewatch it on the power play, it's like in full on HD, like 4K. You're just watching it.
Damn.
And yeah, so it's crazy to skip over even having a tape.
Fuck
you can replay it literally on the screen and it records on a mini SD card. So
that's
insane.
pretty awesome. Yeah. Dude, ever since things went digital, it's still to this day I'm so happy. I hate tapes.
Yeah.
It's just because it was just always like, every once in a while you get like a glitch in the tape and that's it. It's a fucking wrap. Or you get like a bad tape that you get the weird lines on it and there's nothing you can do but accept it. Yeah.
Damn. That's crazy.
That's so funny. Gon's doing how too. That a proud moment to BMX. I got Gons to teach people bunny hops. That's gotta be worth something.
I watched that video, so it definitely is one of the things that like I still watch it every single day. Go home, like playing over and over and over. And two, like with like the dirt jumping stuff, like I watched it. Like obviously I grew up dirt jumping, but like even just watching something based on how to with dirt jumping still contributed to like making it way more fun for me.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I there was a way old video, BMX Plus. There was some sort of instructional video that I watched a billion fucking times as a kid. And I didn't even want to do half the tricks because it was all old school like hopping tricks and stuff.
Oh,
but
101 freestyle.
Yeah. But that shit, like you just want. Again, it goes back to you want to be a part of everything.
Did you? Like you moved to California, you're going from neighborhood superheroes domination. Now you're making a how-to video though. Was that like the first assignment is like something objectively less cool than?
Yeah, but I took it as I really did take it as like, hey, I'm in the big leagues now, and this is like the price to pay to be able to do the really cool shit.
Okay.
And very quite honestly, I felt intimidated is probably not the right word, but not intimidated is fine. I was a little intimidated by a lot of people I didn't know, so like I wasn't sure how I was going to go about getting big pros in the video, right? Yeah. And I wanted mirror in the video, and I knew mirror array, but I didn't know how to like approach that necessarily. So I knew I was going to need like the help of Ride to do that. So I was very happy that this is what we started with because I could comfortably get to people,
meet
for
people,
this. And then get to the next stage. So it really worked out in my favor that we did this first. And I'm proud of this video. Like I really still
with stuff like that, where,
or just finding out he watched it all the time. Like that's fucking amazing,
Yeah.
And because it makes me happy to know that like we didn't just do it because some asshole in the company wanted us to make it. Like it actually made a difference to people, and that's fucking cool. And if anyone learned a trick from it, praise the Jesus. It's like the best thing ever. Like it works out so well.
Lucky you teach how to do the feeble grind, like just grinds in general.
Yeah. And I thought everyone did a good job of explaining little tidbits that help. Like, because I'm a rider, but I was like, oh, that does make sense.
I will say it did work.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
So there we go. Yes. No, and this is a crazy thing for me though. This is something I mentioned to you before I came on. Like, it's crazy because I forget that I made this sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And this is so like this is 2000 this video.
Yep.
So this video is 2000, and then I was doing like Big BMX show in like 2009 or something, right? So like 10 years later, I'm a completely different person in BMX, and there's people I meet that are like they only know me as the Big BMX show guy. And it's so weird to me because I'm like, nah, man, I've been making videos way long. Like, so I was like, but like, yeah.
So in that time period with Ride, how many can you list all the videos you made?
I'll do my best. So it was actually. It was this one. This was called Basics. So it's Basics Rhythm, which was a snap video.
Okay.
Just all dirt jumping, not an instructional, but oh wow, look at Rhythm back. What? That's my handwriting. Why the fuck do you have my tape, homie?
That's crazy.
Keep
going.
So wait, after Rhythm, then it would have been Industry. You don't have that one. I have that one. And then after industry, it was
Wait,
turbulence.
hold on. Oh, I have that one too. Sorry, that's.
Ooh, Rhythm Master. That's
Yeah.
a motherfucker. You've been holding out because you even gave me some tapes back. But all right, so yeah, so it was basics, rhythm, industry. Then it would have been turbulence,
I think I do have turbulence somewhere.
turbulence parts, in the
That's
life,
the backup.
in the life. After in the life, it would have been digital interface. After digital interface, it would have been. There's another one, kind of a blue cover.
Momentum?
Momentum. Thank you. Actually, yeah, momentum.
Wow.
Brian Tunney wrote the review for this in Dig and said, despite being a surf video name, they decided to go ahead and make. I was so mad. I hit up the editors. And I was like, what the fuck? And I actually went and looked up a bunch of companies named Dig, and I sent it all to them. I was so salty about shit like that. And right now, if someone did that to me,
that's
I'd be
the
like,
thing is
I'd be
like,
like, that's funny. But I was so
you cared.
mad for no reason, especially Tunney, because I knew Tunney before I was a person in BMX. Like, I knew him from back then. And I was like, why are you coming at me, man? But now we're friends. Although one time I was in Redondo Beach, I was living in Redondo Beach for like a year, and one night I went to the supermarket to get food and stuff. Went home, and I see on Instagram I'm tagged in something from Brian Tunney, and it's me shopping at a supermarket in Redondo Beach.
That is so Tunney.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? I felt so creeped out. And it turned out we live like 4 blocks away from each other, and we kind of like reunited as friends. So it was really nice. And we didn't talk about the Momentum name, but
Momentum, obviously dropped the hammer.
and then it was Drop the Hammer, and then there was like little projects in there.
No bikes allowed.
No bikes allowed. What was the one you brought up?
Those are just
Flip
at the
side.
top. Those are at the top of the thing. I did not have that idea. Well, I peed, and then I was like, oh yeah, I should go get the masters.
No bikes allowed.
Hand to Glenn, and they're just like, I have like 600
Oh wait, there was another video where we mixed up a bunch of stuff but put new footage in. Reincarnation.
Reincarnation.
I like that video too. And then that Reincarnation ended up being the video that we brought. We did this tour for Butterfinger. Butterfinger came to a magazine with money and was like, hey, can you bring a bunch of riders? There's another place where I negotiated crazy because they were like, so how much do we got to pay these guys? And I was like, guys are making $200-300 a month from their sponsor. So I was like, like $500 a week or something. And they were like, okay, done. I was like, 1,000. Like I did it right, and then everyone in the room laughed at me, and then they were like, "All right," and then that way everyone got paid. Because I was like, I don't know, I don't want to negotiate for these fucking guys, So fuck, there was a lot of videos. I forget them. I really do. It's weird.
Yeah, that is a lot.
You know what's weird too?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'll watch clips sometimes, and I'll think I filmed it, and I didn't, and vice versa. People have sent me stuff that I filmed, and I'm like, yeah, I think so and so filmed that, and they're like, no, you filmed it, and I was like, oh shit, I did.
Like we had this conversation with like Mastroni, like who do you think have filmed the most BMX? But now we used to think it was like Stu, but like now looking at it,
I think Stu did, because if you props, you can't even put a number to.
Can't put
like,
a number,
that's
right?
So like I might have more individual titles, but by far Stu filmed way more than me, just with props alone, because even in that sense, Bob Sherbo probably did for the time he worked there. Like those guys were just constantly on the road at contests and stuff, although I didn't. That's the stuff on the trade-off, I was at contests and stuff, and I wish I could have seen more of that stuff. And interestingly enough, people have one time I asked I was like, hey, how do I be a judge? And they're like, you're not really a contest dude. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, just because I do all this other stuff, like, I love the contest stuff, and I'm objective as fuck. Like, I've heard the judges literally
if
say,
Van Homan can run the fucking Olympics, I can fucking
there's that too. But I've literally heard the judges. One time I said something, I said something when Garrett had lost the contest, and I said, oh wow, Garrett actually lost, and they're like, we can't win every time, and I was like, actually can. Like if he wins, he wins. That's true. It should be judged on what it is. It doesn't matter if he won the last 100 contests, So true. And I feel like that does happen in BMX where people get on their shit, and I know guys get judged against themselves, and I always thought that's the only reason I ever wanted to judge was because I actually thought I want the people to be judged on what's happening, not on who they are. Because that's, you know what I mean? And it's hard to do. And I know that. I know that it is hard to do. Because there's definitely people I will look at and be like, fuck that guy.
I would be the worst judge on the planet. I admit that.
No, but
many times over.
I think you have to judge it on the contest, right? Because even now when I watch stuff because it's the weirdest feeling.
I'm literally like, damn, he barely survived. Great. I literally like,
no, that's
holy shit. He barely, he like on
made it
front
out,
wheel,
man.
but he fucking survived. Win.
Yeah, but
Win.
but I also think sometimes when someone pulls something off really smooth and someone pulls it off sketchy, the sketchy kind of
It's
wins
better.
for me because
That's
it's
what I'm
like
saying.
they fucking struggled for it, and that's that. But it's in the moment, not overall what they're capable.
That's
of.
what I mean. Like talking about video parts is like I say all the time. I'm like, people get like 3 to 5 sketchy clips per video part, in my opinion, because then it accentuates. Even if it's not your banger, it accentuates the fact that like I am not doing that shit again. And so it makes it. I'm like, whoa, like this dude has been flawless the entire time, and all of a sudden he's taking a foot slip. That was
Something's
fucking
about it.
crazy. Like it adds to it.
I'm
And
down
I think,
for the foot
I think
slip,
people
too.
don't. I think writers don't necessarily think about that in the moment. They're like,
True.
"Fuck, that's so scary." The fucking the Marius dude. Did you watch that raw shit,
He did it first try.
Which one?
Did it first? He did it. Was it first or second try?
dude?
Insane.
Yeah, this was fucking crazy.
The
man.
fucking dude. He did. If you watch the raw video, he did the Smith like 2 more times.
Yeah. I did. I watched the sequences.
And then he did the fucking Lion 25 outledge thing and blew a hand. He did a fucking same side one-footed one-hander and rolled away like it was a 1997 X Games or something like that. And rolled away and then did it again, blew off another hand, rolled away, and then did it like 4 more times. And I was like, bud, who's your friend over here? Like, if I was a video dude, I would have been like, you fucking take that. Let's go get a sandwich.
I agree.
And enjoy the rest of the fucking day.
I fully agree. That's one
Like,
something I
literally,
looked at.
like, you fucking survived. Let's fucking go home. And it's like, I say it with like kind of a bleeding heart of like the fact that he ended up getting hurt on that Smith.
Yeah.
And it's like, buddy, like, so
You didn't have to. That shit
you
was
didn't have
dope.
to.
That
was
shit was
fucking
dope.
amazing. It was fucking
Yeah.
amazing. You did not have to fucking do it again, and people don't have to do that shit again. That's like my.
I respect
Yeah.
the attitude, but I'm telling you, as a person who filmed, I never wanted to be. I hated having to take anyone to a hospital. I hated when someone got hurt. I hate anyone, especially KO. That shit scared the fuck out of me anytime I've seen it. I've heard of other filmers pushing guys, and I
hate it.
I was never one
it.
for that. I don't tell people to do anything else. I'm like, if they're like, I don't know, I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. We don't gotta do this shit.
I've said the Churchill El Toro story. I think maybe one other time on the podcast, but when he went to go and truck El Toro, I was there the first time, and he 3'd it. And he rolled away. I think Hodor had already 3'd it at that point, so it didn't necessarily matter. And Chris, the come up dude,
Chris Long.
Chris Long.
Yeah.
He was fucking pressuring him so fucking much. And I think I was with Stevie and at some point, and I was just him and me, and I was like, hey, you don't have to fucking do this. It's not a big deal. We can come back any fucking time. Don't listen to him.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it.
Good.
But I was like, this is not fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, this is fucking make or break type shit. And I'm like, I'm not into it. I've never ever I'm pressured anybody like, hey, I think you have it, but if you don't and you are questioning it, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I will be fine. I am not disappointed in you in any sense. Do not even apologize to me for 1 millisecond. I'm not.
I agree.
I'm not worried about it. Like,
truth be told, this is why I've never made my own video, right? Like a lot of filmers made their own projects. I never did that.
oh, that's a crazy. Yeah,
I had a thing about this since New York Hardcore. New York Hardcore, I only did for the scene, right? And then after that, I was like, fuck no. Like, I'm not asking someone to break themselves off so I can make another fucking $7,000 that year. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that. Like, I don't appreciate it because, like, but if we enter into an agreement, you're gonna film for this video part that they're paying you. Have at it. You know what I mean? Like that helps you, that helps me, that helps everyone. I love that relationship.
The circle of life.
Yeah, and same with Ride. Like Ride for some riders was a great way of kind of expanding their portfolio, right? They'd have to do a video part for their company, but since Ride was making videos, it was somewhere else to be seen. And this is pre-internet, pre-social media, so it was the only way
echelon of
the only way to expand. So I was happy that we were able to give that opportunity and it give them something. I never wanted it to be, you're doing it for me. Fuck that. I don't want you to get broke off of me. I want no one to get broke off of me, you know? Yeah. I'll break myself off of me. I do it every day. I bump into shit.
It's funny, when Tyler came for the news thing and he was talking about wanting to film a video part, and I was looking at him and I was like, first, my next 3 months are fucked. Yeah. I can't do it. He was talking about a short timeline, all that stuff. And I was looking at it, I was like, well, I can't do it anyways. And then the second thought was like, he's so gnarly. I'm like, I don't think I have it in me, you know, like in a weird sense. Like I also don't, you know, like there's been stories with Morgan over the years where I was like, I don't think you can do it. I don't think you should do it. And he literally was like, I am disregarding your opinion and I'm going to do this. And he did it, and he laughed in my face afterwards. And I'm like, fucking fair play. I'm glad you're okay. But like, I have said it to riders over the years. I'm like, hey man, I trust you, but not with this one. You know, like,
dude, if I asked someone to do something one more try and they got broke off, I would 100%. Never forgive myself. Like,
Rob Darden, do tour, I think Colorado or something like that. Tore his ACL or tore his shoulder. Doing a one-handed table for me that I asked for. Yeah, and I would feel terrible. Like it pisses me. I apologized to him last time I saw him. I was like, remember? I'm sorry. You know, and so when I go to events now, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna stand right here. What you did was cool. If you decide you want to do it again, I'm going to be here. Like, I do it in a very weird, roundabout, like, mental, like, thing. Like, you do not have to do it.
I guess sometimes as a rider, it's kind of hard to read the writing on the wall.
Ooh. Another video.
Writing on the wall.
Fuck, so many.
It really is. I feel
that
like
wasn't a ride video, but it was a Nike video.
It was a Nike video.
So let's
that was a life-changing thing.
I feel like we have been like very philosophical in this, but
this has been a very philosophical in general interview. I like it though. I like this stuff.
With the time in ride, you know, you left at a point, you came back, then you go to Vital. Is that time period? Is it you know, like, what are the thoughts that you left with, I guess?
Now, you know what it was? At a certain point, when you make a lot of videos, it becomes the same thing. Even though it's different riders, different maybe theme, name, whatever, it's the same thing. It's like 6 sections, whatever, 5 sections. It's stack clips for 3 months, get it together, find some good music. Hopefully it's awesome. Hopefully it's some new trick. Hopefully you're throwing out a banger. After Drop the Hammer, I really didn't want to make another ride video, only because that one was so good. I wanted to end there. Good. Fuck that video. Like, there was introduction of new people, amazing tricks. Like, Morgan is fucking rageous in that, you know. And what, for the first time in all the ride videos, I finally got it to a place where people were getting paid to film other sections, and it was a group effort, not just me and Brocam, right? Like, and it was something I was trying to set up the entire time. And quite honestly, the only reason that happened the way it did was because I quit Ride and went to work for Primo as team manager and brand manager, and made a Primo video in between the time of this. So everyone had more. Nice. Oh, no, not Nice Try. Sorry. We didn't actually make a video when I was team manager. Tip Plus Family was the only one I did. Because then that one, we had everyone contribute, right? Mm. But yeah, so like this video ended up getting another, like, normally the ride videos were on a schedule, but this one ended up getting another like 7 months. So that's why it was so good, because we gave it the time it needed. You know what I mean? And I didn't have to pull like a Navaz, like dip off with the tapes or anything. Which I don't blame him. I respect him for it, but it's like, that's a hard move too, because I'm like, you're paying for this. It's yours, you know. It's not mine to steal. But I'm always proud of this video. So, film footage. I was a film guy for a minute. That was a high 8 camera, Super 8 camera.
Navas texted me while we were in this podcast.
Really?
Yeah, he's in Austria for the Swatch 9s for us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. He's got good travel shit going on now.
That was why. That's a whole other thing. But so this is the one for your time from ride. This is the one that you're probably most proud of, I assume. Correct.
Industry, and then this.
Oh, industry.
Industry, because it was Mira Castillo, who ended up becoming one of my best friends, period, in California at the time, especially. And he was so not wanting to do it. Like, it took a lot of convincing to get him to make a video with me. Mm-hmm. And then once he did, we just became friends. And then it was like, I'm just, because it all went well. He trusted me. We made a good video. He looked good. Everything worked out, you know. He was, you know, he was
that On the Clock?
No,
industry.
that's
Yeah.
Industry, okay,
industry
yeah.
video, but that's why I ended up doing On the Clock and
Gotcha.
all the other stuff,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, no, this is like, but this is like the pinnacle of how it should have been. This is how it should have been the whole time. We should have given them a little more time. We should have had just a tiny bit more budget to pay other people, because it got to the point where the riding's so good. As one person, you can't be everywhere. You got to get people out there to do it, and the proof's in the pudding in this one, because every section's awesome. You know what I mean? And this is probably the video I filmed the least for. I film all the mix sections and stuff, and I have like random clips in people's parts.
Walter was a big contributor.
Walter was a big contributor. Will Stroud was always a good contributor for all this stuff. He was the most consistent contributor, I'd say.
Rooftop did
There he
nothing.
is.
Shout out to Barney.
Yeah, Barney got
Yeah.
clips. Like, that's what I mean. This is so cool. And then we were bringing in, and this is something that was real important, is introducing new people into the mix,
Yeah.
you know? Because I just felt like, I really felt like that was my job working at Ride, right? Like, you have to get new people in there too, because you're trying to, you know, be a journalist, so to speak. I mean, we weren't journalists, but, you know.
Well, yeah,
I
the
wasn't. You guys
ecosystem
were.
of it. You want the new pros alongside the old
Yeah,
pros.
yeah.
Established pros, not
Yeah.
old necessarily. But any funny stories? I feel like I know a couple, but I'm not sure if there's I'm sure if there's any like time period stuff. I don't know. Drop the hammer. There was always the Nyquist Ender versus the Morgan thing. There's music. There's fucking Morgan. Morgan didn't like his song. He wanted a different song.
Did he? I don't even know
He
that.
had like, he talked about it in something. I think we did something like least favorite, most favorite, or something.
I
And
don't
it was
blame him.
like, but he had a song that he wanted. I know Gary's song was like funny and stuff like that.
Well, Gary,
And
I'll,
Nyquist, too,
I'll tell the
right?
Gary story. Nyquist was a misunderstanding. Well, first and foremost, to put it in context, the hardest part about the Ride videos, which became the hardest part about my job, was clearing music.
Yeah.
And there was no one to do it for me. But at one point, we did get help with the contracts, but I had to set up all the deals. So like, I literally had to call labels and get music and talk to them and tell them what
First,
we
you
were
had
doing.
to find a song that was tolerable.
And then I found this one company that like helped with it, so they would send me like a DVD, so a CD with songs, and then I sent that to the riders for this. Nyquist got the pick, but I don't know, man. I don't know if the name got. I really, to this day, don't know how it happened, because I swear I picked the one he said, but it wasn't. You know. So, and he was so bummed about that. He ended up not bummed, but well, he was bummed. But he used that song in the video that Josh Harrington made next.
Search.
Yeah, and Search. He ended up using the song he wanted from that.
That one, that got you.
Yeah, which
So it
is
all worked out.
It all worked out, but it's another cleared song, because because for everyone who doesn't know, before Instagram, you had to fucking get the rights. You couldn't
Yeah,
just
the
use
rights,
what you
What's the
could.
name? Lori?
Lori was a person we
God,
used.
that is deep. I was
Lori-
like racking the brain. I was like, what
I
was
just
that
made
lady's
friends.
name?
I just made friends with her on what's the thing where everyone
Facebook.
No, LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Business one, and she's still doing that. She still does music.
Did
clips.
she did she ever do stuff with iTunes?
Yeah, because I think she helped with Market Zero.
I also
and stuff
have
Oh, she
had
probably
a
did, yeah.
conversation with Lori.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
she
She
was-
was
yeah,
the
yeah,
go-to.
yeah.
She was
No, she's awesome. She's
Decades
the
long
best.
of
Yeah,
BMX.
She was
yeah.
up with me and Christian with our video.
Yeah.
She did all the
100%.
Transworld skate videos too.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, so yeah, so she was instrumental in some of that, because like, even oh fuck, there was another after In the Life. There's another Ride video. I forgot the one that Rooftop has the last part. You have to let the bikes in.
Oh, I know this.
Video. It's
I know
pretty good.
this.
Those are good sections in that. But she helped with that, and we actually got a share song. But we found we found a cover, so we couldn't get the share song, but we found the cover and we got the rights to that. We were able to use that.
Yeah.
So it was always super hard. So doing that stuff was just always difficult. I mean, people would say. People have told me I had the worst taste in music. I'm like, motherfucker, you think I listen to this shit for fun? Like, I listen to the radio just like everyone else. Like, that was just crap music I had to use. But yeah, so Gary called me the night of the premiere crying. Or the day before. He literally was in tears. He was real upset. And I felt bad, because I know how much this meant to him, because he was young then. This was his big thing out. I mean, I was very nervous about the clip I left in where Sarah goes, "Good job, Gary."
Oh,
you know, because
yeah.
that time in BMX that could go either way, right?
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
could find that funny, or they could be like, "What the fuck?" So I was nervous about all of it, but it all worked out. The premiere, everyone shut up, and that was the best thing. And Brad McDonald even came up to me and was like, "This is by far the best thing we ever put out. Thank you so much." Like, look at him. He's fucking savage. I don't even know who would look at that and say that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I can't remember. I was sitting on that wall. I can't not remember the context of how we ended up
That
there.
the mountain bike down the backside of this crazy
yeah.
jump. I was like, so sick.
And the music
Chipmunk,
worked out.
yeah.
It sounds. Is this the Good Job Gary one? This has got to be.
No, it's
it's
the,
at the skate
it's the
park.
360 nose bonk in the backyard.
Oh, and Gary was actually supposed to be in Digital Interface.
That
That gap to ice was in the promo for Digital Interface. Yeah, but he had gotten hurt. I don't know what I heard his leg or something. That was in a Digital Interface promo. Yeah.
That was before I worked for Ride because it was
That's
like you
right,
came
that's
down
right.
and I was just like, I think I'm just standing in the background.
Yeah, that's probably true.
just hanging out.
No, because I knew who you were then. I knew you before you worked at Ride. Like I knew who you were anyway. That I do know.
Yeah, maybe.
But that is awesome. And Gary was like unknown at the time. That's what's weird watching this now, right? Gary's such a veteran pro, but this was like Gary's pretty.
Yeah,
Gary was like
emerging.
known, but he was
He's
emerging. He was
emerging.
emerging.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man
better
cub.
put- Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
And
funny.
Morgan just killed it. Nyquist obviously was a beast anyway. Joe DeLigbird, that fucking section, that self-film part to this day is still like, I'm still like, that guy is fucking amazing.
It's funny how much I feel like going back to what you said, like I feel like I filmed this and a lot of
But
it.
you're not sure, yeah.
I filmed
You
a
probably
lot of
filmed
this,
it.
I feel like, but
You
then
probably did.
also I'm not entirely sure.
I filmed a couple clips, but not much of this, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure it was a lot of Walter and me.
Yeah, but that's what made the video better, you know?
Yeah.
Anytime you can bring together a bunch of people, it's great, you know?
True.
Yeah, pretty funny. Sorry, I'm getting memories.
No, I'll fucking
Looking
sit
back.
here and watch it, you know?
Yeah. This was the thing that I always remember about Drop the Hammer is that we wanted to do video of the year for Nora Cup for the first time ever.
And it was basically
And we just-
because of this, yeah.
we didn't. Well,
It was-
maybe,
it-
but the. I wasn't the boss at this point, so I'm not sure. I can't.
I don't
vague-
even care.
Vague
Yeah.
memory.
I don't care about
but
this stuff now.
But I remember is thinking that
I was
like,
mad then.
is that we shouldn't do it this year. I think I was of the opinion that we shouldn't do it this year because if Drop the Hammer wins, then we're basically looking like, hey, we created a new category for us to win a Nora Cup.
It did get held back because of that. 100%.
Yeah, and then so we didn't do video of the year until the following year.
Yeah, that's right. That's actually true. Yeah, that's totally true.
Very noble.
Okay. Yeah. Were you pissed? You were.
I was bummed. I was bummed. I was bummed because I always wanted. This is the only reason I wanted BMX to get to the point of that. And as a video maker, I wanted to win one or something or be mentioned. I wanted to be nominated more than anything, definitely. And it didn't get there, you know. And actually, we didn't. If I remember correctly, we didn't do video of the year. We did video part before we did video.
We did video part.
Yeah, because
And then
Rooftop was
that was
up
a
that first
conversation.
year. The other video I can't remember the name of. Fuck, how can I not remember the name of these things?
Samurai.
It wasn't
I
Samurai.
don't
No. It was. I remember what it looks like. I remember the intro.
Rooftop's video where he does the grinding the benches and shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Hey, it's his favorite video part.
Yeah, he should be. His riding it is amazing, and the only thing I regret about that video is I didn't film every clip. And not that other people did a bad job, but just would have helped, you know.
All
Fuck,
right.
what is it called?
Living in Exile.
Living in Exile.
That video is so good.
Thank you.
So good.
That was also to make a point because at that point it really felt like it was like, what the fuck? BMX is so dope, and we get shunned every fucking place we go. We're not allowed on skate parks. We're not allowed this. So I was just like, what the fuck, man? Like, you know, and that really was what. Actually, if we line them all up, there's kind of a story behind every name. Industry was because this was my introduction to the industry. Turbulence because now I was in the industry and the shit was fucked up. In the life because now I felt like I was really in it. Like that's really how I named everything, and that's really how it went. And Drop the Hammer, I was like, this is finally going to be the good video. That really every single one had a real name. That is true story.
Yeah.
I always wanted to tell. I wanted to bring a bag of tapes. I couldn't fucking find the tape because I have a bag of all the tapes, and there is a chronological reason for it. A couple of them don't really. Let the Bikes In don't really fit in that because we had to do it. Yeah. And then there was weird things we did. We did like random videos, internal things and stuff. And we had a Transworld. Transworld had a deal with Fuel where we did segments on Fuel. So I had to make these edits. Mostly I would just do like music edits of like random, like a montage edit. But every once in a while I'd come out and film something. Like one time I dressed up as a cop in Ardeline. I throw him out of a skate park and stuff. It was on TV, but I fully had a pillow. So I had a big stomach. I'm eating the donut and he's riding the skate park. And I thrown him. We ended up putting all that stuff in Let the Bikes In.
Okay.
Because we didn't have enough footage for Let the Bikes In. So we just used everything we didn't use anywhere else in that.
What was the ultimate reason that you left Ride?
like final, I guess?
First time was so I left twice, but not never bad. Like first time was. It was the opportunity at Primo. Like I liked at that point it was like everything was wide, so I liked the idea of narrowing focus onto one brand, and I did want to learn a little bit more of the bike company side because I was feeling like I'm getting older.
You were brand manager, or
brand
something
manager,
like that, so it was an upgrade.
Yeah, like went to Taiwan, went to the factories, all that stuff. We had some products come out under me. It was great, but it was also more the for Tip, the distribution was the moneymaker, and they had a huge falling out when Greg Walsh left. Like T1 left the building, but and not to talk shit on T1, I don't think T1 was a big part of the sales because I think a lot of people got T1 direct from T1. Yeah. So Tip was just like kind of extra for them. But the Orchid had just left, and that was a kind of a weird, shady one. Basically, what happened was Orchid didn't have any distribution. Orchid gets into Tip. Tip gets them into 300 shops. Then they go, now we'll do it ourselves. Now they have 300 shops ordering orchids.
Yeah.
That's so true story.
Cutting the margin.
That's how we started Low Tech. So I was like, we'll just do another shoe. Fuck them. And then Rich Hirsch, I had heard, was working on a shoe. Had a conversation with him. He came in, talked to the owner. They worked out their deal. That's how Low Tech was born.
Oh,
because
wow.
Orchid fucked over Tip. That's straight up how Low Tech got started. It was great. A bunch of people got paid. We made a shoe company. I can proudly say I helped launch a shoe company and learned a lot about that shit. It was sick, you know?
Yeah. Wow. Very cool.
And then that was fun to do. And then the second time
was it 2 or 3 years at Tip?
Probably a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
And
Rich came in and took the job, though, right?
Rich didn't get that job for probably about 4 or 5 years after me. There's probably like 3 or 4 people in between because he just stayed on Low Tech.
Eric? Who?
There was an Eric. Eric was there for a minute.
Yeah.
But there was another guy, random dude.
The one that spent all the money?
That's that guy. I don't know that guy's name, but I talked to him. Yeah, but I'll never forget the day he told me. He goes, I met him one day. He was just talking to me. He goes, yeah, you didn't really understand Colvin, the owner he's talking about. And I was like, well, I understand Colvin very well. Yeah. And he's like, he goes, I'm going to have better luck than you. And he was fired like 3 weeks later. I was like, I didn't get fired. I left.
Yeah.
You know, like, homie, I left on my own accord. I'm still friends with the guy. I can email him, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, but that's how everyone was. You always, everyone thinks they're good. There's a lot of arrogance with people sometimes. They think they know. Because I love, this is a very important thing to talk about, I think. I, coming from New York, have an opinion on the magazine. I have an opinion on BMX in general, my own opinion, right? And I come to the magazine thinking, like, I know better. I come into that machine, very well-oiled machine, very professional, well-oiled machine, and realize, yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. They know what they're talking about. I remember things like I saw a cover of Lucky laid out, ready to go, and Alosi's like, don't tell anyone. You can't talk about this shit ever. And I almost called Lucky, be like, you got the next cover. And the day before they went to print, they got this sick picture of Matt Hoffman. They swapped it. Had I called Lucky, I would have been, imagine, you know what I mean? And just dumb shit like that, you start learning. Why is the fucking logo always yellow? Well, you find out the logo's yellow because it sells 15% more than any other color. And that's a fact straight through. And then while I'm sitting there going, yellow sucks, I'm wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
red's the second place one, and so
please pay my salary. Keep using yellow. You know, so it's just stuff like that.
And it complemented the blue sky too.
Yeah, it does.
Generally you have that, and it's like it's funny thinking about like YouTube thumbnails these days.
Yeah,
talking with Albert,
shit,
and I'm like, dude, he's like, how do you just like come up with shit? And I'm like,
there's a blueprint for this.
Doing fucking cover lines. Yeah. We spend all day. There was a specific cover line for a Shadow article, and I can't remember the exact words, but literally, we were there for hours. Dude. And finally, it was like, I came through, and I remember Losi's, like, approval of, like, there you fucking go, Ryan, way to go, you know? Like, and it was like, holy shit. Yes. Like, and it's nuance shit that just doesn't exist anymore because everything moves too fast.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, the quality and the thought of and spending time almost
that's true.
Almost flagrantly spending time.
You
know, like you don't even need to spend this much time. You actually already had the answer about 4 hours ago, but you're just doing it just because you want to make sure.
You're never sure, And that's the thing. People would never understand. I mean, no one who grows up reading magazines, who loves them, would realize how much people went nuts figuring out that cover or figuring out any page. There's always weird shit that got stuck, or how to fill this page because it just worked out that there's kind of a blankish page. Do we fill it with a picture? Do we fill it with another article?
How many times a magazine got read before it went out?
There
was a person who had a career of finding spelling and grammar mistakes.
Yeah.
That was their entire job.
Yeah.
And they were in the building, and they would fuck up.
And now,
and honestly, they wouldn't fuck up. It would be the graphic guy not copy pasting.
Yeah.
You'd think he could retype something, and then all of a sudden there's a fucking error on the cover, and you're like, and I love him, but Dwayne was the worst one. He was after your time. I just instantly, Dwayne, copy paste. Do not retype. Copy paste.
That stuff was, but that was how it got done.
Yeah,
like that's the business of it, right?
Yeah, it's a crazy time period looking back. Just how
no one would
I
believe
shoot
it.
one great photo, and I was like, great day.
Yeah.
You know, that was a fantastic job. You go to Arizona for 5 days, come back with 5 photos. Fantastic photos. Good job, Ryan.
Yeah.
You know, because it'd be 10 pages or, 8 to 10 pages. And that's
now you got to be posting 3-4 times a day if you're a brand, you know. It's
like
like
a different world, different time period for sure, but a good time period.
Or even riders back then. You only had to come up with video part every few months. I mean, I know guys who literally worked that way. They were like, I just got to be good for the next 3 months, then I can fuck off for the rest of the year. And then it's like, but now, no way. You got to be on all the time. You got to constantly be posting, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a different thing, too.
Yeah.
So writing on the wall.
I mean, dude, you had a whole Nike phase.
Writing on the wall.
Nike face.
And
Nike,
the Nike phase is super detailed. So writing on the wall. How was it? How did you get into that? Like, how did it come? Because obviously you've been. Proof is here. Been doing it for a very long time.
Luckily, they hired Mark Losey, and Mark Losey hired me. I mean, that's really it. And Mark, to his credit, I'll always give him credit because I just saw he posted today. Actually, he posted pictures from a France trip that I wasn't on, that Will Stroud was on, and he was really good about that. He wanted to spread the love to the people he was cool with. He didn't want it to be just me or whatever. But for one video project, it was one person, right? So he got me in, and I was lifelong Nike fan. It's crazy because I'm actually wearing Adidas right now, which is very uncharacteristic for me.
You're a Nike guy,
but I'm trying to be different in life. I'm trying to change, and I also knew you'd be here, so I was like, I'll support the cause. I'll support the cause. No, but I'm
by the way, wearing shoes.
But fucking true. I didn't even notice that. Accurate. But I love that. I love that Adidas is supporting BMX and supporting you guys. I think that's fucking awesome. So, honest to God, it's the only reason I'd even wear them. Because other than that, if you guys didn't have that program going, I would never wear this shit.
Amazing.
Never in a million years. I really do try to still support BMX. That is how I look at it. I wish I could tell the person at the counter, it's because of BMX. You know, I really do, because I think no one understands how important that shit is. Like until you've been in the industry, you realize like, fuck, this matters. Mark gets me in there. I think when we started, we knew we wanted to make a video, but at first it was more like, let's just collect footage and see what we do. I don't think writing on the wall was an instant kind of thought, right? And then the name came way later. And unfortunately, and it's, I shouldn't say unfortunately, Nike approached it like a business, and they had like an editor in Portland that did the editing. I had some say in it, but in the end, someone else had it, which drove me crazy because it was definitely things.
It doesn't feel like yours.
Yeah, like Garrett Reynolds will back me up on this 100%. He's seen the part when I edited it, and he's seen the part when it went out, and there was two different parts. Like not
release it.
Well, no, but no, I'd never do that because it was what it was. It was just more that the editor up in Portland put his graphics in and just backed up the music. Like shifted the music. So none of the riding hit the beats, and everything hit the beat.
Which is like extremely important.
And for me, I was always about hitting the beat, right? Like when I first learned how to get the waveform up on the timeline, that was the most important thing in the world to me, because that puts the emotion in, But I look at that, and there's so many good times, and we had a crazy
Speaking of good times,
world travel. Nice. But
is it true
that
you would get Garrett and Dennis to make fun of or like give Losi a hard time?
No, I don't know if that's true. I think those trips, because all those guys were young on those trips, right? Like not the guys they are now.
I got that from Garrett, by the way.
No, yeah, we would fuck around like everyone,
joking, yeah.
Everyone got roasted. I got roasted. It was like any other real. You know what's great about considering it was like a corporate thing and everything? It was always fun. I mean, even Spinner would take a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But deservingly so, only because he would start a lot of shit. Like he would go in on Garrett or something, and then everyone would turn on him, But it was like, but it was always in good
All
fun.
love,
Like you
yeah.
can even see it. I think Dennis and Spinner just went to Disney World together. Like that's
Yeah,
amazing.
they did.
Oh, you were
Spinner
there too?
took me to Disney
Yeah, that's
World.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. You guys were there. No, and I love I love these guys. You know, what
They
I
all
mean?
had good
it's
chemistry
so
too.
much
Like
fun.
you can tell.
Oh,
like
so good.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I'll always. Dennis and Garrett are a different breed of human, right? Like I've said this a million times, and I don't think anyone could disagree with that. But one thing I always noticed with them two on those trips, especially, they would back off from a spot so quick if they saw Nigel or Mike have something. You know, they were so good about that.
Respectful.
Like so many people don't. I mean, like there's so many young dudes that just can't even do that because they're just so eager. They jump at
Yeah.
it, right? But they would. I would see Garrett go and be like, nah, he got this, and then just put bike away, you know, like, and I was like, that. I remember seeing that and being like, that's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but I mean, we were honestly spoiled on these trips too. Like on anytime we were in America, we would get a driver for the truck. Like we didn't drive, like, you know, like it was kind of crazy. And you know, we were staying at good hotels. We'd have our own hotel rooms. I mean, one time I got to go to Dubai because I had a chaperone, Nigel and Garrett, because they were both underage. You know, like I was like, and Lucy couldn't do it, and I was like, I'll go. You know, so it was just like an amazing thing, and it gave me my relationship with Nike, because then what ultimately happened is when 6.0 ended, or when this kind of part of it ended, someone in LA had known me from the premiere down here in San Diego, which, by the way, the premiere was on a goddamn battleship.
It was.
I
I
just
heard about that.
drove by that a few months ago, and I was like, no one can point at this and say they had a video premiere.
Yeah,
You know,
true,
I was like,
true.
that freaks me out to this day. Like I'm so thankful about that. And then, but basically, we call it like I fucking lost my train of thought because I started thinking about that battleship.
Well, you were saying about like somebody that knew that you had filmed this. Like,
Oh yeah. So
The
someone,
Midway.
Yeah. So Midway. Thank you. So I always want to say Intrepid because it's the New York one. But someone in LA was just like, oh hey, you film, right? Can you come film this party? And it was crazy because at the time, like, Vital, I'm getting maybe like $300, maybe $400 an edit, maybe. And an edit takes months, you know, because you got to go out with people and all this stuff. And they were like $350 to just come film this party. Just give us the footage. I was like, I will
Easy.
be there.
Easy.
And then that.
Really? Like I feel like I mean, I guess maybe Vital wasn't paying like for like a multiple day edit.
It was something like that.
Oh,
like
crazy,
the
yeah.
freelance rate was like like if you gave me that, it was a few $100.
Yeah, but you had other income at that point or something. Well, I guess you were doing Nike stuff, obviously.
I might have had a retainer on and off at Vital. I was part-time at Vital. I wasn't full-time at Vital ever, but I was definitely shooting for them and getting stuff. But then they were like, because I think, so for
Okay, well, hold on.
as an example, Big BMX Show, I get paid $500 an episode straight up. So like, you can imagine how much work that was.
Yeah.
So and a video edit was around $350 or something.
Okay. Why'd you align yourself with Vital and not Ride?
It was done. Writing was on the wall.
Right.
No. You know what?
It was Vital's domination.
No, I really. Losi was there at that time.
Yeah, Losi.
Losi had already gone there.
Well, Losi quit before Vital.
Yeah, and then ended up at Vital.
And then ended up at Vital.
Brad, I had a conversation with Brad, not about getting a job, just why did you do this?
Yeah.
And he had a very clear. Brad McDonald's a really smart guy.
100%,
Really smart guy. And he was like, you know, the thing is, because he ran. Here's the thing, he sold Ride.
I can hear Brad's voice.
Yeah. I had lunch with him like 3 months ago, and then so he basically had, you know, he created Ride from scratch, sold it to Transworld, and then became the publisher of all of Transworld. Like, so he, you know, guy knows what he's doing.
So it was a magical time when the BMXer was in charge of all the skaters.
Yeah.
It was a magical time.
Yeah,
They fucking
I'm
hated it.
sure they hated it, but we actually had budget. Things went well for us.
Yeah.
And but
part of the reason you left Transworld was because you had that fucking Rob dude, right? What was Brixton guy?
No. No. The Brixton thing's weird because there was 3 guys who started Brixton, and the main guy who started was my main boss, Mike Chapin, and Mike Chapin was awesome. Mike Chapin was a great guy. There was a guy over me who was a sales guy at Transworld who we didn't get along that well. He also helped start Brixton. They all left and did Brixton together. But he's not my reason. But we didn't get along very well because also part of the reason why a lot of tapes disappeared from Ride when I left, they were very clear that they were selling that footage and not splitting it with anyone and not telling the riders. And they were going to sell that footage to anyone who will buy it. And I was like, the fuck you are, period. I'm not letting that happen. I don't care who owns it. You know what I mean? Like, that's really how I felt about it. And I'm not, and there was even ride staff that might have been on board with that I was not. So I was like, we're not doing this. Like, I don't know if they were on board, but they weren't saying no. So I was like, I'm not letting it happen. That's why it all disappeared the way it did. Because I know you know that. But Brad broke it down. He was like, because I was like, how the fuck you're in charge of all the trans world? How are you going to go start this little web company? Like, what are you thinking? And he's like, Transworld's way too big of a machine. We'll never get online the way we need to. We'll never be in the way the world we need to be in. He goes, I don't think I can steer that ship quick enough, and this is where everything's going. He saw that shit. He understood it better than anyone because no one knew that was going to... I mean, you didn't know Facebook and all that shit was going to take over at the time. Although you did know kids were online, and you knew they were watching stuff online. Yeah. So, and then once Well,
let's be real here. The president of the whatever his title was at Transworld at the time is leaving to start his own action sports competing website. Why is he going to take of course the company can't do that, dude. You're the president. Like he could have steered the ship in that direction. I feel like
those Transworld people would never let it happen.
I'm saying that I know magazine and all that stuff was the dominant revenue source, and that they would put up walls at points. But I also feel like Brad didn't push it because he knew he was going to start
you might be right. You might be right.
Web outlet that because I felt like it was stifled. From the ride thing, it was like from the ride perspective, I felt like he stifled it for a year or so leading up, and then all of a sudden he leaves to start Vital, and I was like, oh, this makes sense.
That may be true, but do you feel like the leadership at the time was going to go in the way of the web ride only? Because you weren't in charge.
No, not ride only, but like I think it could have worked in conjunction, and and it's like easy to look back and think about it differently or whatever. In my frame of mind, but. It's also, I think being able to weather that web storm of the early internet and the come up days and stuff like that. If the magazine was able to the magazine was able to weather that storm, it would still be around, and we would still have this like pinnacle of certain things.
No, you might be right. You might be right, but I believed him when he said it, but I also saw it too, and also I also knew
I think maybe he's guilty by inaction. Maybe not in the sense that he like purposely did anything, but he's like, well, I'm not gonna help this when I know I'm gonna do this.
But you gotta remember, in Transworld at that time, there was a lot of legacy people that weren't. He had to fight people all the time for everything he did, and they weren't feeling him coming from BMX anyway.
True.
So I do think that would have been an uphill battle, and it was for everyone. No one knew where this shit was going. Before they come up, there was a board. What was the board?
BMX board.
BMX board. Yeah. So back to the getting hired at ride thing. So this is random. There's always this one dude who always starts these threads that was like, fuck me personally. Like, fuck Glenn PP Milligan. Anything comes up about any video I did, anything, just rips me a new asshole. And it goes on and on and on. And this is just going on forever. And finally, I figured out somehow that the guy lived in Minnesota. Why I knew that. I just somehow through someone, I figured this out. Turns out he was up for the video job same time as me. And I got it and he didn't. I said that earlier.
Yeah.
And then you know what was great about that though too, is I realized that's the internet right there. Like people go on, they'll shit on you for whatever reason, but there's actually another reason why they're coming at you. And one time I had a conversation with M22. This is a funnier one too, BMX board. There was a conversation about a rider where the rider is getting torn up, and then all of a sudden a bunch of people start defending him, and it's like 50-50 now. Hate him, him. Every single person on there came from the same IP address.
Defending?
Every single bad and good.
Oh.
So that person went on, had the wherewithal of creating a conversation about themselves. And I remember him telling me this, and I remember thinking, this is why you
Jim
can't...
C.
I can never say you. But there was...
I feel like Adam said it at some point.
It wasn't Jim C, though.
No.
But maybe it was. But no, but he didn't... He don't necessarily know that the...
that it was the rider.
He doesn't know the rider, but it's the same person that did the whole conversation.
It was a plant.
So the rider, it was a plant. So, but that, and then when you think about how like rap music and all that stuff went, like with the SoundCloud artists and how they manipulated everything, that's the internet, and that's the world we're living in now. That's why some people are in political power that shouldn't be, and things like that, because they found this way to weave through shit and get more popularity than they actually have.
Dead internet theory.
Yeah.
Okay, so vital question semi-answered. I get it. So Nike stuff, is that the more fruitful area or like era, I guess, fruitful era of your life? Like you're like, all right, I'm moving into this. I'm working for this big company. I'm working.
Oh, my toilet's gold. I have a jacuzzi. No. I mean,
I'm just trying to get at like,
no,
when did you decide to buy the Lamborghini?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I still didn't. No, and I'm still figuring out. No, because at the same time, when I was like done with BMX, and for all sorts of reasons, I was like in $70,000 in debt or something.
Wow, how do you get $70,000?
A lot of it was taxes, and I'm marrying a girl from another country and not claiming her income as my income and doing dumb shit. But like it was it was a lot of
not
shit.
Not BMX's fault necessarily, but
I didn't have enough money to fix my problems from BMX. Let's put it that way. Yeah. It took a long time in mainstream world to get that all settled. Yeah. But no. So it's like. Yeah, so it wasn't that, but even then, even the going to Vital thing was also, I wasn't going to Vital full time. So it was like I knew I was getting older. It was also like just time to kind of like I wanted to do something different, you know what I mean? But I still wanted to do BMX stuff. So like that's around the time that I did like the Nigel Gatorade videos, which
they go all day.
Yeah, which I don't care what anyone says. I know that was a tap into a new thing and launched his career. He literally does the same video still to this day, and you know what I mean. It's like that. That's what I wanted to be doing, because I realized, oh my god, that's the reach. That's how you get kids into BMX now. This is and I really did see like YouTube and the internet as like a whole new. I felt like a rebirth of everything we've ever done, you know. But I didn't know
like you're like he wrote it, but y'all collaborated on like creating the whole thing.
Oh, 100%. I had like a basic idea, and we talked through like what he could do versus like how we could work it out, and we got a lot of people involved. And then Gatorade got involved, and they had Tiana Taylor there, which is fucking nuts. And I remember this conversation so distinctly. They're like, we're going to have this girl here, Tiana Taylor, and she's going to come with her mom. She's really young, but Kanye just signed her, and Kanye says she's going to be the next big thing. And I remember thinking, like, what the fuck? We got to deal with this shit? Yeah. So these are like more scripted, and we gave them more of a personality, and we had tons of cameos, and that was all Gatorade's, thing. And we did this for very, very cheap.
And this is like the same time you guys did New Era stuff too, yeah?
Right after, yeah. Because then that was it. All his brands every brand wanted him to do a video like this for them, So it was like, it became a thing, But this shit was fun because we were showing it in a different way. And it goes back to even the bike dragging thing, right? It's like this, because this, like riding, this is riding. Riding around this is what New York riding is. You never get to see it like this at the time. Now you do all day, like Billy Perry and those guys, I think do an amazing job of showing that. But
there's such a good point that you're making about like New York riding. Like Albert and myself, we ride the city a lot.
Yeah.
And
you guys are downtown. You make constantly. No one knew SD was as good as it is until you guys did, since the Dirt Brothers. Like, honest to God,
You would have people that like, oh, they want to come and ride, but they were like, what's the next spot? And it's like, wait, like, to me, riding is more than just riding a spot. Like, that's the easy part.
Yeah.
Like, I can go to all these schools, and I've been to 1,000 times and ride a spot, grind whatever rail I want to grind. But like, hanging out and being around, like, this is literally riding. Because what it do is it bridges all those gaps. Not like the kid that come and ride that only wears his helmet. He'll just wear the helmet the whole day. It's nothing wrong with that. But what it does is like, it create him to be like, we need to do something. It's like, hey, you can wear it, but you can also chill. Like, figure out something to do here, hang out, talk. And what you do is like, you build a connection that's deeper than it just being like an exchange of just riding a spot.
100%.
But this is like a real good example of that, like seeing them ride through the street, like seeing literally what they're actually doing, because they actually do this.
Yeah.
It's like,
and it was
such a good concept.
And it was no easy task. And to be honest, there's also like a technological aspect that DSLRs had just come out. This is the first time I ever shot anything on a DSLR, was this video. And that also made it better, right? Because now
you film at night.
Yeah, and you had exactly. And you had this more cinematic feel because you were doing like shallow focus and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I wouldn't say it's overly cinematic, but it contributed
Different
to the whole
vibe,
feel. Yeah.
That early 5D footage.
Yeah, 7D actually, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And actually with this one, I had rented a kit of lenses. Someone had converted a bunch of Nikon lenses so they work on Canon, and I had just happened to rent that. And Nikon lenses are actually at the time better. So it was a perfect mix of it made great footage actually. I could have color corrected a little better looking at this shot, but there was also shit going on. But and then we leveraged every fucking relationship. So Nike, New York City let us have the store for a night so we could film this shit. Like we just made this up, this fake photo shoot. Like it was and it worked out amazing, you know? That photographer went on to be pretty big in New York too.
Who is that?
The chicks?
Oh, the
No,
girl.
no,
Or the
the
guy.
Oh, I don't know his name. I don't know his name anymore. He was a little weird. That he was like he was a little put off by me for some reason, but whatever. I don't care if you don't like me.
But this stuff is so relatable though.
Yeah,
it's
like
just
this is the real hanging out thing, you know? So like that, and that's all I ever wanted to show. And then I was really inspired after this. Like I wanted to do more of it, but then nothing really ever came about again. And quite honestly, to Nigel's credit, you also need a certain type of person to do this because it just doesn't work with everyone. It could, in my opinion, but you know, you had to be willing, and because this wasn't easy. This night was actually fucking freezing, and I remember Tyrone and Ralphie were just like, "What the fuck?" Like I was freezing, and but we had to stay consistent with the earlier footage, which was 2 nights before. So it's like, you know, it's just always like the whole
shit that nobody sees.
Yeah, the shit that no one sees.
I
Exactly.
do have a question. Like, around the same time, like obviously you're still working with Nike, right? Because you didn't only just do stuff for writing on the wall. You also got to work with like the late great Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. So that comes it comes around this time. But yes, so what happened was, so Nike started hitting me up for like random things. I would get hired from different agencies. Nike, it was funny because Nike would introduce me to an agency and be like, "This guy films, use him." So I would film like soccer events, and this is right around 2010. It was actually, funny enough, World Cup time, which it is now again. And they were doing a lot of programming in LA for that. So I would film that, and then I signed on with this one agency, and one of our main accounts was their main accounts, I should say, but working there, you say we, right? They created this space at the Staples Center called the Nike Vault, which was a store. It was an energy center, but it was a Kobe specific store at the Staples Center, and we ran that. So I was there 3-4 nights a week to film stuff. And if Kobe came in, at first Kobe didn't want to come in because there was a whole thing with his contract. He didn't know they were doing this, and they just did it. And the shit was like the ceiling tiles were like black mamba snakes, and there was Kobe shit everywhere. They hired this artist. This was a fucking when when you're struggling and you get a job, you're like, yes. They needed someone to do a time lapse, and they got a quote of $25,000 to shoot this artist. This artist had done T.I. the rapper. He had done his
Favorite rapper, by the way.
Really? All right. So his album. It's an older one around that time, 2010. It's all ripped paper of his face.
Yeah, paper trail.
Right. So they hired that artist to do a Kobe mural. The whole ripped paper, and the fucking guy, 2 weeks in LA, I had to go in every day and swap out my cards. I had to learn how to do time lapses. I'd never done a time lapse before, figured it all out. They paid me fucking $15,000 because I beat the other price. Best one-time check I ever got in my life at this point, which I don't think I've gotten another 15 straight up checks since. But I remember even the girl at the bank was like, "Hey," it was crazy. But the guy worked 2 weeks. It didn't work. It just didn't look like Kobe. He just fucked up the ripping, everything, and did the whole thing over in one night. So the whole 2 weeks of fucking footage was garbage, and it was all shot in one night. And he did it in one night. And Kobe's wife still has that in her house. Like, it was in that store for like 4 years, and when they shut the store down, then his wife got it. Well, he got it, but then he passed away. But yeah, I filmed Kobe quite a bit. And it was actually interesting because being a Knicks fan or a New York fan, no love for that dude. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Like, no way.
For sure.
And did not like him. And I didn't like him the first like 9 or 10 times I ever filmed him. He's very serious, very stiff guy. I just was like, weirdo. Went to his basketball camp to film him. Someone got separate to Nike.
You filmed some of the basketball camp?
Yeah, I was at his basketball camp. That changed my life about him. This man was the biggest basketball nerd I've ever seen in my life. I've been to other basketball camps shooting stuff because I shoot a lot of athletic stuff. He knew every kid. He knew every fucking kid in there. This one little kid, I'll never forget, this kid was like 10, and he was like, yo, come here. He's like, you see the way you're crossing over? Remember last year when we were talking about your left hand to your right hand? I was like, this man is the biggest dude in the NBA, and he knows what this little kid's dribbling pattern is. Like, I'm like, that's nuts. He was so into these kids, and I could literally see him having fun playing with them, which he never did, you know? And then
in any other environment.
No, he
dead
hated
serious.
the NBA.
Yeah.
And dude, I have interview footage of him where he's like talking to high school kids. He was like giving them inspiration, and he told every one of them, he goes, I'm gonna tell you right now, the NBA is trash. He goes, none of those dudes work. He goes, a bunch of them got natural talent and they don't do anything with it. He goes, every single one of you can be a pro player right now. All you have to do is put in the work. He goes, but I'm telling you, I get up at 4 o'clock every fucking day. Every day I'm in the gym by 4:30. He goes, I take a nap, I eat, and then I'm back in the gym. And he broke down his whole program, and his program was insane. And this is like a almost 40-year-old man at this point, excuse me. And like, I was just like, so in awe of that guy after that. And bringing it full circle, Jalen Brunson is a student of Kobe, and that's why the Knicks fucking won. So now I love Kobe.
Dude, that's epic.
No,
That's
it was
crazy.
really epic to
Yeah.
see. And I'll tell you a funny thing about him too. He was honestly though, he was always professional and he was friendly. Like
He's stoic. Yeah, you can't get a read on him. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also you see what those guys get pulled, especially when you're around those companies. They get pulled in so many different directions. It's hard for them, right? But what was funny, because this photographer that would shoot with him a lot was friends. His wife was one of Kobe's like PR people. And just one time, I was with that guy, and then he introduced me to Kobe, although I've shot Kobe 9 times prior to that. And then Kobe like proper hugged me. I was like, weird. And then the next time he saw me, he did it again. And I thought, and I was like, damn, that's fucking kind of cool though. Like he's definitely
he's recognizing the face,
but he's like, once he knows, oh, my people or whatever, then it's, he wouldn't know me, but I literally got told, they said, yeah, the white guy, bring him back, it's cool. Like, because it is like that too. Like if you do something out of step, they're like, don't let that guy back.
Yeah.
We also had a thing where when I first started working for that agency, one of the owners, we're sitting in the elevator, we're going up. We had this weird thing where we were shooting Kobe on a green screen, and he had a whole day of meetings in Newport Beach. And what we had to do was set up the green screen, wait 6 hours while he goes through his meetings, then get him at the end of the meetings, get him to say 3 things on tape, and then leave, right? That was our day. So it was supposed to be 2 or 3 hours turned into 6. So we're waiting in Newport Beach the whole fucking day. This is like agonizing. We're in the elevator, some people in there behind us. We're going up to the thing, and the guy, the owner of the company, and I'm all new with these people and still new in this world. So I'm like, oh, yes, sir. And he goes, man, fucking Kobe making us wait. Fuck that guy. We should make him wait. And we get out, and the woman with the kids behind us walks ahead, Vanessa Bryant and Kobe's kids. And I'm like, oh, this dude just fucked us. We're done. And she never said anything. So that was dope. Because I think they probably get used to that type of shit anyway. Yeah. But I was like, damn, he kind of shit on Kobe right in front of the wife. And I was like, oh, yeah. It was pretty interesting.
Wow.
What's your take on, early days of Nigel? Mm-hmm. You were a part of it, and then, he's pushing forward. I don't know. I feel like
really tight with Nigel. Nigel in interviews has made it very clear that like I was instrumental in his coming up or whatever. Like I don't think there's any doubt about that. Anyways, right? Because his first video parts, and then especially the Gatorade thing.
It's funny because this.
I know, yeah, and that's,
it was
you
like
shot that,
up,
and that's him,
and that was Nigel. That's Nigel, and that's the first ever photo he had in a magazine. It was that I shot in New York. I can't even remember the context of why I was in New York.
That was when we did but I don't know why you were there, but that's when we did the quad thing. It's the same trip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was when we were shooting quads in the Bronx, but it was the same exact trip. I remember that. Look, Nigel. So funny story. At one point, I'm living here. He's there. He's now blowing up. He's getting all these different brand deals. He's got different videos going on. We're very tight. I know his family. We're all cool. His brother hooks me up with Nissan parts. Like we're good. Yeah. He has management. He has people that tell him things. At one point, I get on a phone. We were trying to work out a video for one of his watch sponsors. I had some ideas. His manager gets on a call with me and basically tries to rip me a new asshole, says like I'm too endemic. He says I don't think outside BMX enough. This is the funniest shit ever. That day, I literally had my bosses waiting for me while I'm on the phone with them because we had to go over how we were shooting LeBron the next day. So I'm kind of like, my man, go fuck yourself. Like I think outside BMX, I promise you that. Yeah. But even if I didn't, Nigel's BMX, you know what I mean? So think about it for a second. Yeah. So whatever. So I came up with an idea. And this is just how it went down. I came up with an idea. I gave it to them. They said they're going to pass. They said ultimately the budget, blah, blah, blah. We can't fly you out. We're just going to find someone local to do this. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. I'm also pushing towards my own personal career at this moment. So I'm like, yeah, this is how it has to be. we don't talk a lot because the Gatorade video after that, it was an uncomfortable experience. Ralphie's doing all the riding. Nigel's not really riding. Nigel's tweeting shit late night like, I'm bigger than BMX, but fuck this BMX shit. Like, and it bothers me. Like,
Right.
you know, and I've tried to talk to him, but he's getting unapproachable, honestly, at this point. I mean, I could call him up anytime. We were cool, but I don't know what was going on, you know? A year goes by. I've never watched the video that came out. I watched 5 minutes of it, and I'm like, oh, this is the concept I fucking wrote. And no one told me. Oh, no. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then Ralph Sinisi hits me up and was like, yo, my bad. I was supposed to call you when it came out to let you know that they ended up using your concept. And I was like, whoa, there's no my bad. Like, hold on a second.
Yeah,
like,
it's not your fault, Ralph.
Yeah.
And I was like, you might have been asked to smooth this over, but like, and here's the worst part. This is absolutely the worst part, and the very, very true part of it. Like, I'm growing out of certain things, and I can't adhere myself to BMX like I once did. So if he had just called me and said, yo, we're going to use that idea, but we can't do anything or whatever, I'll get you a watch or whatever, or even we're giving you nothing. Yeah, acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And Nigel was my friend, and I felt like he could have called me with that, but he proceeded to call me and say, my bad, sorry about the misunderstanding. That's it. I haven't talked to him since.
He being Ralph.
No, now Nigel. Now,
Ralph. He did eventually.
Yeah. So when he eventually tried to, he said it was a misunderstanding. Well, I'm like, there's no fucking misunderstanding.
Yeah.
It was taken. Your fucking manager tried to light me up like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You guys steal my idea, and then you do it, and then you're gonna tell me a year, because I honestly never watched. I still to this day have not finished the video because it made me fucking sick. Like, I was like, damn, dude, like,
Felt betrayed, probably.
I definitely did, because you know, here's another thing. After the Gatorade video, there's a lot of riders hit me up to do similar things, and I said, nah, I do this shit with Nigel. That was my thing on it.
Yeah.
Clearly, we weren't mutual, so my bad. My bad for feeling that way. I will never make that mistake again. But you know what I mean? And that's just how it went down. And as a result, we're not cool. Now, it bums me out we're not cool, but at the same time, that was his choice. And he never really, he tried to apologize, but he also shifted the blame, and it's like, no, you're my friend, not these other people. I don't care about your fucking manager. I don't care about these other people. That's between us. You know what I mean? So that bothers me. So I'm not like, you know, I don't, how can I put it? I don't want to kill any of the good times from that stuff, like riding on the wall, all this shit. The Gatorade feels, I'm proud of those still. You know, I'm happy it worked out the way it did for him. I really am. I hope the best for him. I just know we were also in a better, we had a better trajectory if I could have been involved a little more, to be honest, because I don't like where he went with it, because I don't like that he's like a little anti-BMX. Like, I go back to New York on my own dime to see a Banks Jam just because I want to see it. That fucking guy ain't there. Fucking Mr. New York, Mr. Brick by Brick ain't at a Banks Jam. Get the fuck out. You ain't a part of BMX, my man. I'm sorry, you're not, you know? The end. Like, and I know why he's not there. He's not there because he don't like to get clowned by the other riders. But the problem is, like, no matter who you are, the coolest guy in the group's getting clowned. So, like, let it go. You know what I mean? Like,
instantly I flash back to Mira. You know, like it's like he shouldn't let the opinions of a couple people of whatever their motivations are or whatever, you know, dictate his actions, and he should go to that stuff because it is good for him. It's good for BMX. It's like so it's hard. You know, it's. You know, the rhetoric 10 years ago regarding Nigel was crazy. And I feel like I left a comment one time that was like, and I think I remember you were like, hey, what you wrote about Nigel was really good, but it was like street riding beckons progression too much to a fault. You know, like
definitely.
And it's like, hey, we don't get mad at fucking Doyle for doing a turn down. You know, the expectation is not that in other aspects of BMX, and it's like if Nigel is done progressing, he did push the sport in a lot of ways. Like he, you know, crook bars on up rails and stuff like that, and bunch of crazy shit over the years.
I don't begrudge him at all on that.
And so he 100%. Had his progressive phase,
yeah.
And now he's progressing in a different light. Yeah. And for BMX to like try and shun him for that is like I think objectively wrong.
Well, it's just like more so like the time period that you are at in your life, and not you, just in general, like for a lot of us, because like I think we've had a conversation about like something similar back in the day, like I think on the last podcast about like we can find a reason to hate on Matt. Well, not me, but like people in general can find a reason to hate on Matt Hoffman getting pulled in and doing like a crazy air, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's like, that is whack.
I'm sure somebody did talk shit.
I'm sure.
Yeah, like so.
Sure
I was
someone
like,
does, yeah.
but then it's like what happens when you go too hard at like voicing it. It now opens up the door for more people to be like to feel the same way versus like them being. Then what sucks about it because like you should be able to have your opinion. You should be able to have your perspective. And you have lived experience, which isn't arguable. Like nobody that hears this can argue that like you're doing something wrong. It's like no, that's something that like
it's
that
personal
you
for
two
me.
have.
It's
like,
personal for me.
It's like that can't be shifted to be like this is a everybody thing. It's like no, that's your actual lived experience between you two.
Yeah,
and I think that being when you're passionate about bike riding. Such as you're a New Yorker, so you know very passionate. So when people would hear what he will say, they would take it as in like, who does he think he is? And it goes out of context. It's like, well, you should be this good on a bike. And it's like, no, that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is like, you should always take what a person's doing first, and you base it off of that. But it's hard to see between that whenever you already have a perspective of how you think a person should be.
Yeah.
And we are a progressive thing. Like, I'm one of them. In my head, it's like, I never want to feel like I'm not progressing on a bike. And the easiest way to do that is to not give everything away. Always make it feel like you're...
Yeah.
But you also kind of, hold yourself back to a point. But...
I mean, Nigel, and there was like the stuff with like, he's standing next to Kendrick Lamar and he's like, oh, your favorite rider's favorite rider type thing. And it's like, dude, people get pissed at him and stuff. And I'm like... He's fucking next to Kendrick Lamar. He's got to say something, man.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, that's the bravado of New Yorker, though.
Yeah,
like, that's. I think a lot of people can't relate to that because they don't see it in that light. And I think that when you come from a different culture, like music wise, that's part of what it is. Like, look at you got the New York Knicks jersey on. New York won. Some people are like, that's crazy. You like a basketball team. It's like no. Like. When he's
on the Knicks.
Yeah. So when you grow up and you're fully involved and engulfed into a culture of things, and that's a part of you.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for people, they won't see that outside of it because they can't relate to it.
And honestly, it's less about basketball and more about the energy, right? Like
exactly.
For me, it really is. It's
exactly,
like what I just saw happen with them.
Make you probably be a New Yorker.
Yeah. It is, but it's more than just New York. I mean, I think New York, like the rest of the country, has gone through a slump for a very long time, especially since COVID. And New York has just had a lot of positive things happen in the last like 150 days. And this Knicks thing is like sealing the deal. And it just makes me so happy to see New York come back. And I really do think the bigger cities in America are the predicators for the rest of America. So it really makes me feel hopeful for like, because fuck politics. We're not in a good place.
Right.
Any way you want to blame, doesn't matter. We're not in a good place. But that felt like, oh shit, we can get to a good place. I mean, people in New York right now talk about how it's crazy. Everyone's saying hi to each other. People are helping each other. There's a video went viral. 2 drunk guys helped the garbage man throw the garbage out in the back of the thing. Like, I mean, it's insane right now, right? It's like, that's dope. And it also is a little bit of getting older thing. I want to see the world a better place. I want to see things better. So I don't like this like weird. Like, I don't like everyone to be separate and mad at each other. I want people to be good. Something like the Nigel thing, I honestly don't like speaking on it because it is personal, right? It really is for me. It really is. Because it was like the end of my BMX thing ended on a really bad fucking note because I really considered him a friend and my opinion is he did something shitty and his attitude sucked.
To the side.
That's really how I felt about it. And there's more too because it's like, Navaz. I had like issues with Navaz, and it turned out it was just people playing games and talking shit. And it was Nigel and his buddies just telling me shit Navaz said that he may or may not have said, and vice versa. Because since we've talked, I know, Yeah. So it's like, damn, man, like, all right, so you played me, you win. Good luck, enjoy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, But I'm just definitely more interested in people who want to make shit better, because I just think we need that as a society in BMX, everything, So, yeah.
I think a good question to potentially end on, the things you took from BMX that you feel like are invaluable in everything that you do now. Because obviously you have a lot of success in the video world. You got your chops in BMX. What did you take away from BMX that you're in a room with a bunch of people and you're like, nobody knows this thing or feels this way or whatever?
It's a funny thing because it's two-sided for sure. It's a double-edged sword, but it's the ability to just get it done in the end. It's the like, because when you go out and film like at night somewhere and you want to set up lights, and when we were figuring this all out back in the day, it's like, fuck, he wants to do this at night. This is going to look like shit. These cameras look like shit at night. Get lights, get a generator, figure out, this is before batteries did a good job, right? So you literally had to figure, oh, I got to buy a used generator. Fuck. But you always make it happen. You always find a way. And so now in my professional life, just as an example, especially when I was working at the agency for a lot of years, I love hiring BMXers and skaters specifically because they always have the mentality of get it done no matter what. And quite honestly, for me personally, yes, you always want the best possible product, but I will definitely sacrifice a little bit of quality for a lot of get it done. Because when you're trying to get stuff done, that's the most important thing, And I still believe that, Like, I always want it to be the best it could be. I want to push for that, but I also want it to happen, because I've seen a million projects. We've all seen a million projects that go nowhere. We know a lot of guys who started videos that didn't finish them, or a never-ending video. They're always filming for it, and I don't want any of that. So that to me is like a really big part of something that I have now, and the ability to like really like when you, and this comes more from riding than my work side of BMX. Flatland especially, you try a trick, you try 1,000 times until you get it right. And same thing. And I just feel like now I have that in me. Like if I need to figure out an edit, or if I need to go work somewhere and we have an issue, I'm not leaving till it's done. You know what I mean? Like I'm fixing it. Like, and you just got to do that. The bad part of that is going back to how BMX, we were talking off camera about this. BMX is, people will say it's a sport. It's not. It's a lifestyle, especially for the people in it. But it's a hybrid of both. It does have sport aspect for sure, but it doesn't turn off when you're in the industry. You are doing it 24/7. It is all your friends are BMX. Everything you do is BMX. You eat, sleep, and drink it. If your wife, girlfriend, significant other, boyfriend, whatever it is, that person needs to be somewhat down for it, because it ain't gonna work any other way. Because they are marrying something they don't even. I mean, even now, my wife's just like, she's amazed when I bump into someone from BMX how we could talk about for like 6 days. It's like, but it's because like there's no other subject. Maybe some Marvel movies I'll get into, but other than that, there's nothing else I'll talk that much about. But it's like. And then taking that into other jobs is bad, right? Because then you don't turn off. Like I didn't know how to turn off for years when I first started working, but that made me probably a little more. I think they liked me because I never stopped working. Like they were like, "Oh hell yeah, we get a bonus with this guy." Yeah. But I get that way. Like I want this shit to work. I want the whole thing to work. So how do you do that? You make yourself available. You do whatever you can. You push through. That's obviously
at your own detriment sometimes.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, I've learned to be better, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's funny because in my head I call that put the bikes in the van.
Yeah. You're right.
Like in a sense, because it's like you get the riders that help put the bikes in the van, you get the riders that don't.
Dude, but I have a thing now. My phone's on do not. My phone's on do not disturb every night at 10 p.m. and it's on do not disturb until about 10 a.m. every day. Just because I've just learned, I don't want to be always accessible, and I'll check it.
Oh, mine's.
You're do not disturb. You're not do not disturb all day.
There yet.
Yeah.
I'll get the. Why are you still awake right now?
Because I'll still check it. I'll check it.
Yeah, I check it, but I do it at my own pace.
Yeah.
Okay. Because otherwise, because there is something about that. You hear the buzz and you're like, "Fuck, I got to deal with it." And I that is not a good. And I'm so happy I grew up in a time where we didn't have that, because having that difference in your life, I think, allows you to do that. But growing up with it would have been weird. Crazy. Like, oh God, if I was in high school with Instagram, I never made it out. I've been DMing every girl. I've been just talking shit. I definitely would have got a list or something. I'd have got a charge. I would have gotten in trouble for something, because I made some elaborate joke up that would have got me in so much trouble. Man. Like 100%.
Just imagine Rooftop with.
Yo, I love Rooftop with all my heart, but man, the dude's always down for a scheme.
Always.
Well,
down.
I feel like it's funny because you were talking about how people were running out of questions. I feel like I could dive in further and further and further. Like there is so many. We talked about the first time we met. We talked about we didn't even mention that. We didn't mention about the time that you knew I was a really good person.
You think you're really good
exactly?
We can't talk about that.
What? Yeah.
No, we can't talk about that.
So it's fun. It's funny. There's so many stories.
Stand-up guy.
Yeah, we'd even talk about the quad thing. I got hit by a quad in the five. What was that called? The with all the
Hunts Point. Hunts Point.
The hookers at the point documentary.
If you have, there was a hook.
I got hit by a quad in midnight with Rough Riders.
Yeah.
Like we have a lot of experience. The downtown apartment.
This kind of adds.
Oh, the downtown apartment. I can honestly say I have vague memories of.
Yeah, there is a lot of experience in life and stuff that we've spent together and stuff like that. The catalog of videos, even it's
right.
funny. It's funny how
If I had only made these, I'd still be a part of BMX. But I just decided to make 30 more or something.
Insane catalog of stuff. I appreciate you sitting down.
I appreciate being here so much. I really appreciate both of you guys being here. By the way, I said some nice stuff about him. I do want to say something nice about you. Not the good story, but not the why you're a good person thing. But I'm just going to paraphrase it. It had something to do with two girls being into me, two at the same exact time, a one-time opportunity in life. A lot of other guys would have stepped in and tried to been like, well, one's mine. Not Ryan Fudger. That's all I gotta say.
Stand-up guy, right?
Like, it would be a great night. It could be an okay night, good night for me. It could be a great night for him.
And to be honest, nothing happened. But the fact that he did what he did was the best thing ever. Because it made me. Because I've also had other circumstances where dudes just tried to swoop in. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? On, but one thing, this is a very BMX thing. But I remember when I first met you, I didn't know you or anything, but I knew you were down with the Dirt Brothers. And so me coming from New York, not knowing California much, the Dirt Brothers 1991 video was a huge influence on me. And it still to this day. A crazy full circle moment. The opening song of that particular video is the Ball and Chain album, David Mira's favorite band.
Social Distortion.
Social Distortion, and it's, I can't remember the name of the song, but the drummer owns the bar directly around the corner from my house, which is crazy. Yeah. And I've literally driven by blasting that song, and he's been out there, and I seen him look, and I was like, I never talked to him about it. He always looks grumpy, but he seems, maybe he's a nice guy. I don't know.
Little Kobe, He's just a guy.
The Pike, the owner of the Pike is Social Distortion drummer.
Oh, really? I did not know
from that song that's in that particular video.
All right, so we're gonna do, as always, shout out to Fast Pickle.
Fast Pickle was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I'm not being nice.
Shout out to Dale's, X Games, Monticule, the whole spectrum. I feel like we might have to
reverse it a little bit. I got one last.
Okay, let's do it.
It's pretty straightforward. I think this
is it written out. Is it written out?
Yeah, we're here. We're here. But this is at the
pro.
bottom right
You
here.
guys are pro. I wing it whenever I do this shit.
This is like a general question for like anybody watching, including myself, Fudger, like anybody that's like, so what are some tips to longevity in BMX, editor, videographer, creative director, or just the world?
Yeah, all right. Thank you. That's a big question, though. But I will say, I really honestly, after years of trying it multiple different ways, I think honesty is really important. And honesty, I also mean transparency. I think just being clear with people where you're at, what you think, and how you feel. And it doesn't mean you won't disagree with them, but letting them know, oh, I don't really see it that way. Oh, you see it that way? Okay. And then finding a common ground. Because I do think a lot of people, especially creative people, you get caught up in your own head sometimes. And then, someone's opinion differs from you and it frustrates you because you're like, fuck, they're not going to hear what I'm saying. But no, they don't need to. You need to get it out. And they need to get out their side, and then you need to find a common ground. And that fixes everything. It fixes so much. So I really think just being very open and honest, but then it also means to yourself too. We were talking about something way earlier, and that about like leaving BMX and stuff. And I think that you also have to come to honest conclusions in your own life. Like, do I belong here anymore? You always belong wherever you want to be, but do you truly even want to be there? And I think a lot of people aren't honest with themselves, because also the scary thing is, dude, the scariest thing in the world was leaving BMX and going into the real world, so to speak, right? Because it's not that different, but it felt very different at the time. And then there's people that they've gone to school, they get the master's degree, and now you're stepping in. It's like, oh, I used to jump fences with my friends, but actually that skill set is very relevant, right? Because it's still, they never did. They've never had to push through something either. So you bring a different thing. So it's really important to always put out who you are as you are. Be honest about that. Be transparent about that. And let them judge you as they will, but be confident in who you are, because that will work every time. Everyone who's ever succeeded will say that, and I'm still trying.
Wow.
Can I mention one thing?
Sure.
I'm officially a part of this thing. I'm just a piece of it. There's about 40 people involved. It's called the New York State BMX Hall of Fame. We just started it. November 7th in Albany, New York is going to be the ceremony where we're going to have a bunch of inductees. There's going to be more information on that soon. But I'm really excited about. Lots of states have been doing this now ever since the USA BMX Hall of Fame. The New York one's really, really cool because even I forgot how many great people came from New York. So it's going to be a blast.
Cool.
So I hope people check out Facebook and look up the New York State BMX Hall of Fame. It's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Thank you, sir, for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. This was way
Thank
more fun
you
than
for
I thought it was
having
going to be. And not that I thought it wasn't going to be. It was just exceeded expectations.
Hell yeah.
Same.
Love you.
Love you too. Thank you so much.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you so
me.
much. No,
Yeah.
thank you for coming. I really do appreciate it. And thanks for watching Basics.
For sure.
You helped pay off some of that $70,000 debt.
Sick.
Dude, I love the New York hardcore thing with Edwin. That is a trip.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is-
It
that
was
is
crazy
such a
when
trip.
it happened.
That's
you know?
isn't yeah, that's
That is a trip.
yeah.
Because one day he just brought it up to me. He was like, yo,